Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, and Brandon Pajemski saves the day for the Golden State Warriors against, well, a Rockets team that they got a lot of fight, but they don't just quite got enough to get past the Warriors. But we'll get into that. And the Rockets being up, or the Warriors being up 3-1 right now. And also, there's another team that has met me down here in Cancun. Another team that's getting sent to the beach and their summer came early. And, well, they don't necessarily have to come to Cancun because they live on a beach. But the Miami Heat have been packed up and shipped out for the summer. Fellas, how we living today?
Good, yo. Moss Blackman, what's up, brother?
Hello.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not too
Running
bad,
good,
not too
Ron. Running good, Ron. Everything's good, man. Yep.
All right, cool. Well, let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. Mars, I hate to have to start here, but we got to start somewhere. And the Houston Rockets, they don't really quite got enough to get with the Rockets.
The Warriors.
Yes.
It's that Cancun air, Moss. The Cancun.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm looking out here on the beach. I'm seeing all type of stuff right now, boy.
Okay.
You wouldn't imagine.
It's that Cancun air, no doubt. Mars.
Yes.
What'd you think last night, brother?
Yeah.
I think it was a good game. I think the Rockets still can't make free throws, and it's hurting them. I think all of these games have been close. So if you're looking at it from a Rockets perspective and you're trying to take minor victories, you say that you've played a legitimate contender close in all 4 games and won a game. But you also look at it as if we were better in the things that we can control, making free throws, Jalen Green scoring double digits in at least 2 games, then you would have a better chance in this series. I think Şengün did a really good job in the second half. I think Amen Thompson looked really good in the fourth, using his athleticism, getting downhill, all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, I think the Warriors have been better in the moments that count. That's really what it is. Jimmy Butler was amazing down the stretch yesterday. Pajemski was amazing throughout, besides that wide open layup he missed. I don't know how Draymond Green stayed in the game.
I don't need
but
tell me about it.
I'm gonna leave that to someone else. I don't know how he stayed in the game, but when he was in the game, he was making a hell of a difference defensively. I'll say that. The job he was doing protecting the rim, guarding Şengün, you could see that there's a reason why he was a Defensive Player of the Year finalist. I'm gonna be honest. I expect the Rockets to win Game 5. But I do think the series is over. I'm going to be rooting for the 3-1 comeback, as I always do in these situations. Sure. But I'm pretty sure this is Warriors in 6. And a lot of it, and maybe it is just from the bias perspective of I'm watching it from the Houston lens, it feels like Houston are beating themselves more than the Warriors are beating Houston. That's what it feels like. But at the end of the day, the Warriors win, whether it's them dismantling Houston or it's the Rockets giving them the win. As long as they get through to the second round, it doesn't really matter. And the Warriors obviously have done their job. They're not shooting themselves in the foot like the Rockets are. They're executing. They're playing well on both sides of the ball. Guys are knocking down open shots when they get them. Steph Curry's been amazing throughout the series. Last night, he had a mid-game, and then Jimmy Butler steps up. Pajemski steps up. So it's just a team that's doing what they need to do. And then the Rockets, on the other hand, are a team that is not doing what they need to do.
Man, tell you the truth, Mars, like I said, like I'll be honest, you can't lose a game by 4 points or 3 points and you miss 11, 12 free throws. Like, it's just unbelievable, like, that happens. Like, there was a game that we weren't supposed to lose last night. That's number one. There's no way we're supposed to lose that game last night. Like, there was a game I was talking about. Steph plays bad. Everybody else, you try to make them beat you. It's not that they beat us. We beat ourselves. Like, 11 missed free throws. You got to take Steven Adams out the game, who was your biggest, who was the biggest threat. And he can't make free throws. And it's just like, man, I don't know, man. Şengün was on a heater. Draymond gets in the game with 5 fouls, and he just stopped attacking Draymond with 5 fouls. I don't get it. I don't like. He's so terrified of Draymond Green. Like everybody else, he
scored
bumped,
once.
hit the
He scored
like
once. When Draymond came back in the game with about 4.5 minutes for the game, he scored one time after that.
Yeah, and it's like, bro, like the last possession, he had no reason to pick his dribble up, like none. He just picked it up just because he just was nervous or some shit. Then I think like 2 possessions before that, he drives baseline. He got Draymond Green behind him, and instead of coming to 2 feet like he normally doing, just laying the ball up, he kicks it out. Like you haven't done that shit all game. Like he has 5 fouls, just go at him. Like you got to go with bad intentions too. You can't go, with being soft. So it's just like, man, I was just disappointed because it's just like, like the experience come into play. I would say it does because you can't make free throws down the stretch. You can't make shots down the stretch. Y'all fumbling the ball down the stretch. Like the experience just come to play. And that's the reason why you lost the games, because you can't make free throws. So kids, practice your damn free throws, apparently. Like, just practice your free throws because this is ridiculous. I thought that was a bullshit ass call too on the 3-point line. That's a bullshit ass call.
Yeah, it was a foul.
100% was a foul.
Yeah,
now,
and a player with Dylan Brooks' experience should know better. A player with Dylan Brooks' experience should know better.
Yeah, but they do that shit every time. Like, come on, man. That's a bullshit ass call down the stretch like that.
Shouldn't give the refs an opportunity to make that call. But
I agree, but it's still come on, man. I didn't like the call. Like, as physical as the game. I didn't even like the one with Jalen Green foul Pods. Like, as
that
physical, but as physical as the game has been on all drives for Şengün and them, you gonna call a touch foul like that? Like that's the part I don't like. It's like, bro, I'm okay with letting them play, but it's been physical, and you call some bullshit like that. Like Şengün is Gary Payton is doing the exact same thing to Şengün when Şengün's doing them spin moves. No call. The exact same thing. But y'all call that. And it's like, first of all, Pods ain't Steph Curry. Don't give him that bullshit ass call. He don't earn that call. Like, I don't know, man.
I just think that when you are in the playoffs, especially a young team like the Houston Rockets, I understand that my margin of error is very small. I know that the thing, especially when I'm going up against a team like the Golden State Warriors, the things that I do good, no matter what it is, whether I'm getting on the glass, whether I'm great as a defensive team, whether I'm great in transition, I have to do those things, and I have to do them good. On top of that, we get on the glass. With us getting on the glass, we also get to the free throw line because we generate a lot of fouls. With generating a lot of fouls, you do have to make free throws. I'm saying all of this to say we have to do the things. We have to do the things that we can control. We got to take better care of the basketball. In addition to taking better care of the basketball, we got to make free throws. They didn't do that last night, and we still had a nip-tuck game.
Man,
we still had a nip-tuck game with all of that, which leads me back to I think Steve Kerr is coaching his ass off. I think Steve Kerr is doing a great job as a coach. I think that he's countering almost everything that Coach Udoka is throwing at him. Coach Udoka threw that big lineup at him with Adams, Jabari, Tari, Amen Thompson, and then he throws back at him Post, Moody, Buckets, Podziemski, and Payton, and then turns around and put Buckets in the dunker spot where he's got Post dragging Adams away from the basket. So now that's rebounding that you don't have, and now I got Buckets in the dunker spot, and I got a guy creating and Podziemski getting downhill. Oh, that was a great adjustment from Steve Kerr in that aspect. Now, as far as Jalen Green,
hey, chill. Hold on, right quick before we move off of Steve Kerr. I just want to say, like, Steve Kerr been coaching his ass off. He been one of the better coaches, and I'm not going to say he gets disrespected, but I don't think we talk up Steve Kerr enough. I know it's been some years in there where we've been like, oh, well, maybe Steve Kerr is just a beneficiary of having good teams. No, these good teams are a beneficiary of Steve Kerr.
Oh,
he coached them into a dynasty, and this dynasty is still going in large part because of Steve Kerr. I know Steph's there, I know Draymond's there, but Steve Kerr been like that on the coaching end, and y'all, well, if you're not respecting him enough, you need to.
Well, here's the thing, Ron. I've always been an advocate, and Jordan's a football guy, so he can appreciate this. I've always felt like you only as good as your backup quarterback. If your starting quarterback goes down, if your backup quarterback is whack, you whack. I say that to say, you're as a coach, I think that you're only as good as your assistants. I think that as good as you are, if your assistants aren't as good or your assistants aren't up to snuff, then it's going to be bad for you. So Steve Kerr having Kenny Atkinson, Steve Kerr having Mike Brown, he had the luxury of understanding from these guys. Because remember, Steve Kerr has no coaching experience when he gets this job. When he gets these guys on his staff, these guys are helping him tremendously. So then he gets a guy in Jerry Stackhouse over there, and Jerry Stackhouse also, who played in the NBA for the years he played in the NBA, knowing what he knows, understanding adjustments, understanding mismatches, like Steve Kerr, 100%. But him being that third eye, that really helped Steve Kerr out. And I do think Steve Kerr is a damn good coach, and I think he's coaching his ass off. But I don't want to leave out what
coaching college.
Yeah, he coached at Vanderbilt. And what I don't want to do is I don't want to leave out how good these assistants are. I damn sure don't want to leave that out.
Chill. Shout out to the assistants, but even everybody that came under Pop and all went and became good coaches, there's one common denominator in there. You came up under Pop. All these assistants are coming through Steve Kerr. He's been a constant, not the assistant coaches. The head coach has been a constant.
Sure.
So yeah, definitely want to shout them out. But this is Steve Kerr's system. It's his program, and it hasn't failed the Warriors yet.
Well, I don't know if they came up under Steve Kerr because all of them were head coaches before Steve Kerr was even a head coach.
Okay, well,
Mike Brown was already a head coach.
When they get fired, they run back to Steve Kerr.
Jerry Stackhouse.
Actually, more like Steve Kerr calls them, like, "Yo, man, why don't you come get with me?" I don't think they running back to Steve Kerr more than that.
Only coach that became a head coach under Steve Kerr was Luke Walton.
What I was getting to
fluke shit.
What I was getting to, and you guys are gonna roast me for this, but just so we clear, guys. All right, just so we clear, Jalen Green, as bad as he's been in these playoffs, right? As bad as he's been in these playoffs, and as bad as he's been in these 3 games, the other side of this coin is this is my first trip to the playoffs. I've never been in the playoffs before. I've never been in this kind of atmosphere. So 2 years ago, I was on a bad team. Last year, I've gotten better. I like to think that this year he's improved. I'm not ready to just give up on Jalen Green just yet. Has he been bad in this? Yes. And a lot of that has had to do with what I just talked about, with coaching. The fact that Steve Kerr is blitzing him. The fact that Steve Kerr is making him get off the ball. Jalen Green is more of a one-on-one player. He wants to play one-on-one, and he wants to get out and transition. I think
he's not very good at playing one-on-one, though.
Well, he's improved at it. He's 100% improved at being a one-on-one player. And I think Steve Kerr has done a great job in getting the ball out of his hands. I think Steve Kerr has done a great job in double-teaming him and making him read defenses more. Now, as far as a scorer, there's things that he's accustomed to doing that Steve Kerr is not allowing him to do. Not allowing.
I don't even think they making real adjustments on Jalen Green. I just think he's just stinking it up. Like, I just think like he's not making his open shots. Like, if you're not making your open shots, like the shots that you normally make, like it's not like they just throwing different coverages at him because he's that special.
He missed 2 free throws yesterday.
Yeah, I think the Warriors are just. I think the Warriors are just conceding that he's up and down, and they don't really have to make real adjustments on him. Like, they just allow him to shoot himself in the foot, and they know that Ime is not going to play him long. My thing with Ime is, with Ime is bring him off the bench. Like, Jabari's been outplaying him the whole series. Just you need a spark off the bench. Jabari can't be the spark off the bench.
Well, you think that about him anyway, Jordan, and because
I've been saying that for a while.
And you're gonna throw a monkey wrench in what you doing. It's just
I'm not throwing a monkey wrench. Yeah, I'm not throwing a monkey wrench, but I'm telling you,
this is your leading scorer. Now what you want to do is you want to bench him. You want to bench him
because
you want him to come off the bench. You have no idea what that's going to do to him. It's your leading scorer.
It doesn't matter. What is it doing to the team? Like, it's not about him. That's the problem that I can't.
Actually, it is. That's why you guys aren't what you guys are.
No, it's not. That's not why we are where we are.
In what world where your leading scorer is not playing up to snuff and you're not better? What world is that? Tell me what that's going on.
Chill. You're not listening to what I'm saying.
No, I
the games where he's getting 7 and 8, that's more detrimental to when he had an anomaly where he scored damn near 40. Like, we losing these games by a couple of points. I'm saying bring that bullshit at 7 and 8 off the bench and put Jabari in there, who's more productive, who's a bigger defender, who's a better rebounder. Like, my thing is, you worried about what it does to Jalen Green confidence, or like it's not about him. Like, if he wants to win, you adjust. If you don't, sit your ass on the bench. Like, you gotta adjust.
Well, he only played 25 minutes yesterday, so it's like
that was too many minutes for me.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he started like What difference does it make if he starts and just plays barely any minutes?
No, because 25 minutes is not even barely even minutes. That's
no, but I'm not saying play 25 next game. I'm saying what if he just starts next game and plays 18 minutes?
Okay, I don't think he should start because the start when we go down
a
lot of
games bad.
Mars, I mean not Mars.
No,
Jordan. The question he's asking you. The question he's asking
let me answer the question. I know exactly what question he's asking me. What I'm saying is this: if he comes off the bench, he can be the spark for us that come off the bench that we can turn him loose and score. Anyway. What has? Yes, I do want him to be that anyway. But we in this series where we down.
But I feel you.
I think he'll be a better spark than him going 0 for 8 in the first quarter.
He could do that coming off the bench.
He could do that coming off the bench. He barely took straight. He didn't go.
That's fine, but Jabari Smith has been playing good, and he has been getting enough.
I'm saying give Jabari more minutes for sure.
Yes, and he hasn't been getting Jabari Smith. I think he'd be better in the starting lineup than him coming off the bench. I think the role for Jalen Green coming off the bench is just sometimes you just need a fresh start where you just get in there and you just cook up. But as far as Jabari Smith, like he need more minutes. He need to start. We need he need his defensiveness. Nothing's wrong with Jalen Green coming off the bench. It's the playoffs. You got to adjust.
I think it's interesting.
Steve Kerr just started Buddy Hield.
Give my good Steven Adams
off the bench
too. Give my good Steven Adams.
Like it's nothing wrong with that.
Yo, Jordan, to a certain extent, I agree. And you know I'm higher on Jalen Green than probably anybody up here, actually. But with that being said, I'm also probably lower on Jabari Smith than anybody up here. I got to give him his credit where credit's due.
I don't need
it. He has been hooping this series.
Facts.
But if y'all put him in the starting lineup and give him 30 minutes a game, I promise you are going to do the same thing with Jabari Smith eventually.
No, I don't think
eventually.
So.
And I'm gonna tell you why. Now, and he obviously has room to grow and he has room to mature and stuff like that. But y'all seen that turnover that he made last night and in the clutch where he just threw the ball into the backcourt. Yep. You'll start seeing more of that as he gets more minutes. And that stuff will cause you to be lower.
But Ron, I just think turnovers like that is turnover. That's not why I'm not mad at Jalen Green because he did one specific play. It's just I see in his patterns.
Yeah, those 3 turnovers in the first 2 minutes were quite bad.
Yeah, I agree with that. But what I'm saying is like the pattern of a guy that's doing this. Usually, most coaches come to a consensus. Try him off the bench. But for some reason,
most coaches don't. No, yes, they do not, Jordan. No coaches. There are no coaches.
So why did Steve Kerr? So why did Steve Kerr do that with Buddy Hield?
I'll tell you why. Because Buddy Hield is not.
Why did he do it with Pods?
He's not doing that.
First, not Pods.
First of all, Buddy Hield is not
Jalen Green ain't shit, really. I don't know why y'all trying to make him an anomaly because y'all trying to make him a special player. He's not that special. Chill. You keep going on that train. It's been 5 years.
You want to dump him?
Special.
He's
I don't want to dump him.
He's the same age as Anthony Edwards.
Of course.
I don't want to dump him. I want to put him where he's supposed to be.
Of course, if he's not Anthony Edwards, let's take him out of the lineup because that's the measuring stick.
That's not what I said.
Like that's not even a measuring stick.
So what are you saying, Moss? He's 23 years old. He's the same age.
I'm saying he's the same age as Anthony Edwards.
Okay, he's the same age as Anthony Edwards. He's not progressed like Anthony Edwards has. I'm not going to argue that point. No, he has not. But you're not going to sit here and tell me. You're not going to sit here and tell me he's the same dude today that he was 2 years ago.
He was.
That doesn't have nothing to do with it.
What do you think he's better at, and how much better is he?
I think he's better this year at reading defenses.
What does that have to do with him sucking in the playoffs?
Okay, is he good? Is he good at reading playoff series?
Well, I'm sorry.
Okay. Why can't we bring him off the bench then?
As you were saying, Moss. Is he good? Is he good at reading defense? I think he's better than he was last year. That doesn't mean that he was. Let me rephrase that. He sucks less than he did. Let me say that because he was bad at it.
Why does he? Why can't he not come off the bench? I just want to know that.
I think he's a good scorer. Anybody?
There you go. Not Jalen Green. According to Chill, not Jalen Green.
So to answer your question, the reason why is because where do you bring? The reason why is because where is your leading scorer? On any team. I'm not just talking about the Houston Rockets. Any team.
A quick one, Lou Williams.
Please.
Yeah, I was gonna say Lou Williams.
Lou Williams.
Yeah.
Lou Williams?
Yeah.
So Lou Williams let.
And how did that work?
No, Ross.
How did it work?
Stay right here. So Lou Williams is your starting. So Lou Williams is your starting 2 guard all year long. He's leading your team in scoring.
No, he wasn't a starting 2 guard. He came off the bench the whole season. He led the team in scoring, though.
And that's not what Jalen Green did. Jalen Green is your starting 2 guard who's leading your team in scoring. That's what he is for your crew. Now, what you want to do, because of these 3 games, which, by the way, I've never played in this atmosphere before, you want to now relegate me to the bench because you think that I'm going to be better.
I would feel you if you keep talking about that he never played in this atmosphere before. I would feel you. But one thing has been constant. He been doing this shit all year, Chill. I don't know why you thinking that he just pulled this shit out of his ass. He been doing this all year. He been playing up and down, up and down, up and down for 4 years. I don't know why you like. What's
the G League year? 5 years.
Something that's in your brain. You thinking that this is some shit we've never seen from Jalen Green. I've been telling people since he got to Houston, his ceiling is a 6-man. I'm not saying it to be detrimental to him. I'm saying it because I've seen players like him before. His standout skill is his athleticism. That's his standout skill. It's not like he's a prolific jump shooter.
Athleticism isn't a skill. You're not skilled as an athlete. You could be an athlete.
Okay,
and not know how to play
that's what he. So. But that's
so because he's an exceptional athlete. Him coming off the bench. If you want to move him to the bench, you should have been did that. Why are you doing it now when the playoffs?
Because we losing, it, and we need more guys in the lineup like Jabari Smith because he can defend, he can rebound, he can make shots. That's why we also need a spark coming off the bench.
He gets guarded.
Yes, and also
Jalen Green also gets guarded.
Also, I don't think Jabari Smith. I think we'll see a bigger impact from Jabari in the starting lineup than him coming off the bench and hoping he can make us 2 or 3 threes and then you sit him down again.
So
I want Jalen Green. Jalen Green not even getting enough shots in the starting lineup. By the way, 8 shots for him ain't good enough.
And why is that?
I mean, that was just one game.
And wouldn't that?
The first game he took what did he take? 11 shots.
Like 8 to 11 shots.
And wouldn't that be relegated?
That's not enough shots for him.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying, though. So wouldn't that be and wouldn't that be subjective to coaching? Because I mean, as a coach, at the 2 guard spot, aren't you supposed to run things for me? Shouldn't I be in the action? It's not. Well,
yeah, damn, what's cracking hell? I don't have a problem with with Jalen Green only getting 8 shots last night, bro. Jalen Green was god awful. He started off that game god awful. He started off the game putting us in the hole with those turnovers.
Us
leading the. Yeah, us. I'm still rocking Houston. Come on now. Come on. I'm still rocking Houston, man.
Yeah, you got my spot for sure. Okay, CFC. Let's go.
But look. I'm just saying, like, the guy. I left Jalen FC officially last night, and it hurt. It hurt my heart. But he's not good, Ron. I know you want to come up here and you want to
good.
Jalen Green,
at best he's a
like
6-man.
Propaganda. The problem, and also the problem I'm having with this is that Jabari Smith, like I heard what you said earlier, like, oh, Jabari will be doing this. But Jabari Smith has started this year already. It's not like we're asking him to play a player that
and then like, man, obviously
he didn't have any trust in originally. And like he was starting. That's when we had one of the better defenses in the league. That stretch of games where he got hurt. People were talking about how the Rockets defense had fallen off. Like they had fallen from second to, I think that stretch was like 14th. They were like middle of the pack defensively when Jabari was out. He's one of your best shooters, one of your best floor spacers. He rebounds. He can protect the rim. Like you already played him and started him this year. So for you to not just acknowledge that he's playing, he's one of the better players in this series for you and give him more minutes. I don't understand, especially when Jalen Green's playing like that and how Amin has been playing majority of this series. Amin finally showed up in the second half of that game last night, but Amin has been god awful for majority of this series.
Amin and Jalen have been the.
That's what I'm saying.
Why can't Jabari get more minutes?
Fred VanVleet had his one good game and we lost him.
But shit, Amin, shit, I was thinking the same thing about Amin. Then I started seeing his ass say, I'm going in the paint because they sweet down there. And I said, you know what? Jalen Green ass need to come off the bench.
You see that layup he made in the fourth? Was it
crazy? Yeah, crazy. But I think both Şengün and Amin just figured out the Warriors is a little soft. They a little cushion down there, and they just started going and attacking. So that's why I said what I said about that end. Jabari has the when I think about it, like Jabari has to feel like he get 2 feet in the paint. He can turn his back, turn and shoot. He can do a lot of things that that we need when they go zone. How good is Jalen Green when they go zone? Not very good if you're not making the shots. So you got to take him out the game. You got to put somebody that can be a big body down there. You can throw it in the middle, and they can turn and shoot. Now, Fred did have a hell of a game last night. And he might have not played good the first game, but the second game, he was decent. You know, he kind of he didn't make shots, but I think he managed the game well.
Kind of like Jalen Green.
Jalen Green had one good game in the series.
Okay, chill. If we take out Fred VanVleet, what point guard we putting in? We take out Fred VanVleet, what point guard we putting in?
Reed Shepard, man. Respect Reed Shepard. But
Jordan.
The only players who have been good in every game are like Steven Adams, Jabari, if you want to give him game one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Everyone else has had bad games.
Yeah, but the problem with
Jalen Green had one really good game.
We don't have a sub for Fred VanVleet. We don't have a sub.
Yeah,
okay, Jordan. One day I was not understanding last night. One day I was not understanding. We are watching Jalen Green not be able to handle the ball and get past half court without turning it over. Why is Fred VanVleet not bringing the ball up?
I don't know. I think sometimes they just let players just try. They just
why
let
is Jalen Green the one bringing the ball up and he's turning it over?
The reason why is because I'm getting a break from it because he is getting pressured full court. Yes, he is. So,
but I'm saying that was from the start of the game. Fred VanVleet is so clearly our best ball handler. It's not even close. It's not close.
Even
Jalen Green is getting pressure full court, turning the ball over early in the game, and Fred is on the other end of half court waiting on the wing like he the two guard. I was confused by that. I ain't know what was going on.
It sounded to me like
real talk. I think it's like for the Rockets, for y'all. Jalen Green has to play good. You know what I mean? Like y'all, I don't want to disrespect because I think the Rockets are a really good basketball team. I think y'all have a really bright future. But as of today, y'all not good enough to win unless Jalen Green's playing good basketball. Amin Thompson.
Or we miss our free throws, Ox.
And I mean, everybody got to make free throws, but still, I still feel the same way. Like y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like the Amin Thompson, he started balling a little bit yesterday, but I don't think, like I've been saying, Amin not ready yet. You know what I mean? He will be though. He just not ready yet. Y'all got a really young team and just need Jalen to play better. And they're just not that. They're not there yet. As a team, y'all got a really good team, but y'all need y'all need some moments of my player being better than y'all best player. And I don't think y'all gonna get.
I mean, but to be honest with you, Alex, like I'm not gonna blame the loss on Jalen Green. Like I'm not like that's one thing I was not doing. I'm not blaming the loss on him. I'm blaming the loss more so on the free throws. Like you miss 11 damn free throws. Like the Warriors missed one free throw. Like that's a clear indication. Like we missed 11. We lost the game by what 4 points?
Jordan, look at y'all squads, Jordan. Look at the Warriors right here and look at the Rockets right here. And if I ask you, which one of these teams is gonna miss free throws today?
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm agreeing with you. I didn't know we was gonna miss 11 though. I didn't know we was gonna miss 11.
But the Rockets, the best, they've lost 3 games.
They've shot above 50%.
In all of those 3 losses, they've shot above 60% from the free throw line once, and it was 61%.
That's not going to get it done.
Like if they can shoot 72%,
and every game is but every game has been close, and it's like, bro, if we made 4 more free throws last night, like goddamn, 4 more free throws, we win the game.
Yeah, but you know how that go, though, Jordan. But you know how that go. Like that's what you said is definitely a fact. But you know how it is. If you say that, then it's like, oh well. Remember, Pods missed that one layup. You remember when this?
No. I mean, I agree with you. I'm just saying though, you get to the free line where it's wide open. You free. You supposed to make them count.
Yeah, free throws are free.
I know 2 of us up here feel like I'd rather shoot a contested layup than an open free throw. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, not me.
I just feel like
I don't look at free throws the same way y'all do. But
it comes down to control.
I never
overreact to miss free throws.
Shit, I love free throws, bro. I'm shooting a free throw. All I gotta do is see one. My rest of the game going on. I make 1.
You should have
that Hacker Adams really worked too. Let's not forget about that.
I would have seen if Steven Adams would have made one. Shit.
Man, I'm gonna be honest. With the way the Rockets half-court offense looks, let Steven Adams shoot that free throws.
Exactly. I didn't understand why they took him out. I'm like, bro, he made 1 and missed 1 the last time. Fuck it. Let's go split.
You know how happy I'll be if the Rockets could get that consistent?
Yeah, let's split.
Come on, man. Let him shoot 50% from the free throw line. That'll be progress.
Yeah, I want to change notes and I want to talk a little bit more about the Golden State Warriors because they are actually the team that won the game last night.
Yes.
I know we got some Rockets guys up here, and I know you guys may be a little disgruntled.
Man, they ain't that good, Ron. God damn, man. We don't
I'll-
need to talk about them. The game was shit over with. The most
Not that good
at
at 3-1 on the 2 seed, by the way.
But I want to shout out. So Buddy
Rockets.
Hield had 17 points coming off the bench last game. Steve Kerr ended up starting him this game. He had 15 points. He played a pretty good game.
Yep.
Jimmy Butler obviously came in the second half and in the fourth quarter specifically and saved the day for the Golden State Warriors. Steph Curry had a pedestrian night, if you will, for Steph Curry. He only had 17 points, only shot 13 shots. But Brandon Pajemski was the one who kind of stepped in, and if you didn't know any better, you would have thought that he was Steph Curry. He went 6 of 11 from 3, finished the game with 26 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. I think he's the youngest Golden State player to get 25, 5 and 5 in a playoff game or something like that I may have read. And then also Draymond Green with a game-sealing defensive stop against Şengün.
Scary ass.
To be honest with you, Jordan.
Huh? Would you say, Chill?
To be honest with you, Jordan, I just think Şengün missed the shot. I don't think Draymond's defense was that great.
No, but I think Şengün was scared. He picked his dribble up when he didn't really want to for no reason. And it's like, bro, why did you do that shit, bro?
Yeah,
The moment they put Draymond back in the game, he stopped all that aggressive shit where he was just going to the basket and doing. I'm like, bro, he got 5 fouls, bro. Like he has 5 fouls. Just use your.
He didn't. Like I said, Draymond came back in the game with almost 4.5 minutes on the clock. 4:25 is when he came back in the game. Şengün scored one more time after that. That's it. He didn't score again for the rest of the game.
That shit's so trash, man.
That's all I'm saying is like I just don't know a more experienced team, a team of more experienced, better players. Like if your better players are going to be Şengün, Jalen, and Amin, the experience like Amin, it clicked for Amin at a certain point last night. Like, yo, we got to get down here. Let's get to the cut. You know what I'm saying?
In
Şengün, I don't want to act like I think Şengün played great last night. If you ask me, but for moments like that, those are the moments that win basketball games. Draymond Green comes in the game, like Chill said, 5 minutes left, 5 fouls. He cannot finish his basketball game.
Like, come on, man. What the fuck you shooting jump shots for?
Or Draymond's going to be out there. He's going to be forced to look like how a person with less rim deterrence would look. You know, that old lady. You're going to have to make a choice. Like, either you're going to let me score or you're going to foul me.
Bro, I just didn't understand that. As soon as Draymond came in, he gapped him, and Şengün pump fake, jab step, and shot that damn free throw line jumper that he never made. And I'm like, bro, stop. Then he come back next time, spin, little floater touch shot, break. Then he go down to the goal, and it's like, bro, go right at him, get on 2 feet, pump fake, jump right into him, and try to make the layup. You got to, or try to dunk on him. You got to go with bad intentions.
Ron,
you can't go soft.
I said to you Ron, when that Lakers series started, I said to you that the guy that they had to take out of the series was Reeves. I said that he would be the difference if you slowed him down. I think you do a great job, and I think you got a great opportunity to win. Well, the same thing happened last night in Golden State. So, I mean, I thought they did a good job on Curry. Them letting pods go off 24, 25 points, him moving around and getting action, keeping him in the action, him knocking down open shots. That was a huge difference in the game last night, especially in the half court. Like he just looked so much more confident. Jalen Green didn't know where he was when he was moving off the ball. And he wasn't just relegated to just being on the wing. He would dive to the basket, and he wouldn't just stop after he dove to the basket. He would run to the corner. He was screening. He was involved in the action, getting guys open. And in addition to getting guys open, coming right back to the ball and knocking down open shots. When you got a third, fourth guy like that that's contributing like that, that can throw a monkey wrench in everything that you're doing defensively. And I think that's what happened last night with that Golden State Warriors crew. Pajemski played great, and he's been one of the biggest differences. The first 2 games, apparently he was sick, and one of the main reasons why the Warriors weren't as good is because of him. But because he played the way he played yesterday, if they could get another performance like that out of him, where they could get another 22, 24, plus if Curry is just solid, I think this series is over.
Chill, y'all remember I was hyping B-Pods earlier in the year.
Yeah.
And he's a real good player for them. He does so much. Moses Moody too. Both of them two
Yep.
You don't expect them to come in and beat you, but they're going to come in and for the most part be positives.
Yep.
And even if their shots not falling, they both going to play defense. B-Pods is going to hustle. They both smart and cerebral players. B-Pods can play make a little bit. Warriors just got a good-ass team. Jordan going to come in here and say, no, they don't. The Warriors got a damn good team.
I mean, they're
now,
cool.
The Warriors got a squad. I'm gonna go as far as saying that. They got a squad. Yes.
Well, Steve Kerr said,
because if they're losing to the Timberwolves that can't shoot, they're going to lose to the Timberwolves that can't shoot. So I mean, they're going to lose in the Rockets.
The Rockets are the Timberwolves that can't shoot. Apparently.
Yes, the Rockets are the Timberwolves.
You guys
that can't make a basket consistently, bro.
There's no comparison. There's no real talk. There's no comparison. And Edwards is 3 times better than anybody y'all got.
No, not 3 times, 15 times. Shit.
But then I'm saying like they got Rudy Gobert. I don't see.
That one.
Do you think the Rockets are winning this series right now if you replace Jalen Green with Anthony Edwards?
Oh, for sure.
Hell yeah. What? Hell yeah.
It wouldn't even close. It probably would be
a so the margins is just good perimeter score. So that's what they really need.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying the Warriors really not that good, bro. The Warriors really not that good.
It's not just that though, Mars. I think Edwards does everything better than Jalen Green. Like he's gonna up the level.
Imagine if Jalen Green was like good at basketball. You get something similar to what Anthony Edwards.
But
hold on, Mars. I didn't say he wasn't good at basketball. That's Mars with that shit. I just said
right. So regardless if he's good at basketball or not, I'm just saying Edwards' presence is different than Jalen Green's presence too. Like not just being on the basketball team.
He a better leader too.
He's gonna make his team better just by his presence. Like if you've been on a team one of them type of guys, you just instantly know like Ant is gonna carry us with him. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Green is here with us. You know what I mean? Like
I get what you're saying. Yep.
And with Jalen Green again. This is his first time in the playoffs, and it doesn't look good. I'd like to see him get better, which has always been my mantra. I've always been a guy who wants to stick with guys, especially when you raise them. And the Rockets have raised him. And it's clear that you guys are making progression. You were the worst team in the league 2 years ago. You go from being the worst team in the league 2 years ago to barely missing the playoffs to now you're the number 2 seed. You're going to lose in the first round. I'm not going to argue that. But now we're clearly making progress. This thing doesn't work overnight. And a guy like Jalen Green, if you want to upgrade at the 2-guard spot, what are you gonna have to give up in Houston in order for that to happen? The Golden State Warriors. The Golden State.
I don't think they have to give up Jalen Green to go get KD. I don't think they have to.
The Golden State Warriors. I think that they know that this is their last hurrah. They know that this is probably the last opportunity we're gonna have to win it, which would explain why they're so deep. And which would explain why they have so many reinforcements for Steph Curry, which is why they got Moody, which is why they got Podziemski, which is why they have Buddy Hield. And sure, there's times when these dudes don't play up to snuff. But when you have that many guys that you can count on, like I'm not just counting on one guy. I'm not just counting on. I got 9, I got 10, maybe even 11 guys that I can count on. I mean, that's a recipe for success.
Sure. Why is this their last hoorah though? I'm just curious. Steph Curry don't look like he ready to go. Jimmy don't look like he ready to go. Draymond don't look like he ready to go.
Nah, shit. They one more player away too to be in like a good contending team too. I don't think this they last over. I think if they get one more, like
they are a good contending team. Why do you keep disrespecting the Warriors?
Ron, you are crazy if you think they're a contending team. They're not no contending
team. The Warriors. All right.
To answer your question,
because they was in the play-in.
To answer your question,
in what?
So.
They got Jimmy late though, Jordan.
Yeah,
they would have Jimmy off. They'd probably be a higher seed, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so too. But that's part of the reason why I am on them because they got Jimmy late. I said the same shit about Luka too.
Are y'all a good team?
I don't think we was good enough to be a contending team. No, I think everybody.
Okay, well, y'all was a number 2 seed.
Yeah, but I just don't think that. Like, right, but I still don't think the Warriors being a 8th or 9th seed. I don't think. Yeah, 7 seed. I don't think they are a contending team though. I don't think the Rockets. I only thought it was 2.
Ain't they one day a game? One day a game behind the Lakers.
The Warriors were the 7 seed, but with 2 games back of the 3 seed. Like the seeding things.
The seeding doesn't really matter. The seeding don't really matter. But I'm saying I just don't think the Warriors were a contending team.
Like, since they got Jimmy, they have like. Since they got Jimmy, they were like a top 5 team in the NBA.
Does anybody think they can beat OKC?
No.
I don't think so.
Some
No, I
people
don't.
probably do.
So what-
I think
They're not beating us.
I think it'll be a tougher series for Oklahoma City, but I think
Ron said,
overall
They gotta get
Ron
by the
thinks-
Lakers
okay.
first. They gotta get by
The
the
Lakers.
first. They
The
gotta get by
Lakers.
first. They gotta get by the Lakers first.
But
Yeah,
Ox,
yeah.
to answer your question, I think this is an older group, and because this is an older group, next year I think the Western Conference is going to be a lot better. And we're dealing with an older group like the Golden State Warriors. Plus, you're not going to be able to hold on to all of those guys that you have in that rotation, because of the salary cap. And there's going to be guys that's going to want to go get paid. And
Sometimes less is more. Sure.
100% it is, but I think one of the main reasons why they are as good as they are with getting Jimmy Butler is because of their rotation, and those guys can play the roles that's necessary for them to play. If you had a younger buckets, I'd definitely be with this. But the fact that you got a guy that's similar in age to Steph Curry, and then you're probably going to lose a lot of those rotation guys, I think it's going to be tough next season.
Who they gonna lose?
They're gonna trade Kuminga and get KD.
Yeah, they don't want Kuminga.
That's what they're gonna do.
They went and played TJD last
Hey
night.
man, they started Kuminga when Jimmy ain't play, and then put him right back to DMPs. Like, oh no,
Yeah, and played Trey Jackson Davis, who trash as hell. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, he going.
See, when I'm thinking about, like, for instance, like a guy like Kuminga, say if they were to get off of a guy like Kuminga and acquire a dude like Najee from Dallas.
Najee
Oh, I thought
Marshall.
you said Zeke Najee. I thought you were talking about
No,
him.
Najee Marshall. You know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking like that. I'm thinking that's how, like, Mike Dunleavy. I'm thinking he's looking for moves like that. Now I don't know. I'm just speculating. My main point, Chill, is Steph and Jimmy ain't done.
No, I don't think so.
Draymond.
But I also look at the younger groups, right? I also look at the younger groups in the league. Oklahoma City. I look at what they building in Minnesota. Ant Edwards is literally looking at Curry and James and KD. Like, yo, you dudes got to get up out of here. This is my shit now.
If he knock off Luka and LeBron at the same time,
he's literally
got a
Anthony
hell of a
Edwards
run,
is literally Anthony
I
Edwards.
was like, about to do that.
I told y'all this shit. Mars, what did I say? I had Timberwolves in 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Chill. If they keep handling business next round, he gonna get what he wants.
Crazy because it's gonna be Lakers in 7, so you won't be wrong. But I mean, I guess.
It's probably gonna be shit. The Lakers play tonight, right?
They
play tomorrow. No, Denver play tonight.
We
Denver play
extend the
tonight.
series tomorrow. Yeah,
You lying like a mother.
Lakers in 7,
That shit
man.
over with,
Lakers
bro.
in 7.
Real talk. That shit
What's up?
over.
What's up?
I first of all,
No, it's
I know
over in
Ron-
6, but we winning at home.
Before we get into that, we'll talk
six.
about all the games later tonight and all of that good stuff. But as of right now, it's about 2,200 people in here. Y'all make sure to turn on your notification bells. Y'all make sure to like the video. Y'all make sure to become a member and subscribe up. And also, run on over to Prize Picks and download the app and use promo code PANEL, because when you do that, you will get $50 instantly when you play just $5 on Prize Picks. Now, right now, they got a special promo going on right now called Takes the Tickets. Everybody in the chat, y'all got good takes, right? Well, take those takes and turn them into tickets because, well, every time you play a $5 3-pick flex NBA lineup on Prize Picks during the playoffs, you will be entered into a sweepstakes to win NBA Finals tickets where you could sit courtside. So finally, take advantage of your good takes and go ahead and get some championship tickets and sit courtside during the NBA Finals. And as of right now, Mars, why do we do this? We do it for the love of the game, baby. And there's nothing more love of the gameable than this contest today on Prize Picks. Baby, hey, we put it all on the line today, baby. Everything. $20 to $2,800. All right, baby. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Hey, first off, we got 4 demon picks. But Giannis Antetokounmpo, if you don't want to see me in Cancun, you see this background, Giannis. I know you're watching right now. If you don't want to meet me in Cancun, hey, we need you to lay it on the hardwood. Leave it all on the hardwood, baby. 59.5 PRA. Nikola Jokic, if you don't want to see me in Cancun, we need you to leave it all on the hardwood, baby. 59.5 PRA. Luka Doncic, if you don't want to see me in Cancun, we need you to leave it all on the hardwood, baby. 59.5 PRA. We need it, Luka. And last but not least, Jason Tatum. We know you're probably not going to Cancun, but we need you to sit in the Cancun. And in order to do that, 49.5 PRA, baby. For the love of the game. That's why we're here, for the love of the game. Download Prize Picks and use promo code panel and get this $2,800 with us today. Thank you. Come again.
For the love of the game.
That's actually not too bad of a slip.
For the love of the game.
Yeah, that shit is.
I want all of those picks to hit because I mean we're going against some crazy performances if that's the case.
Ain't no such thing as a bad slip. Real talk. For the love of the game.
Yesterday's one was bad. Jalen Green more than 18.
Okay. My pick hit on that though, Mars. I'll just say that.
I just want to let y'all know. I just want to let y'all know. I heard y'all talking yesterday about the Lakers, and Swiper was up here, saying some victory shit that he probably shouldn't have been saying, but you know how Swiper be going. But
it's funny how that hate fuel him. It's funny how when the Lakers lose, all of a sudden he got energy up here again, and he's not all depressed and mumble mouth.
I told y'all. I told y'all about that bullshit. Me and Ox, I saw right through Swiper. Y'all said I was picking on him.
Wait, so Swiper?
Oh my God, leave Swiper alone. He's just supposed to
Swiper meant to be sad when his team wins a game.
No.
Ron, to answer the question right here, Ron. To answer this question right here, Toddler. No.
Hell no.
No.
So Tyler Arch sent through $100 super chat.
Why not?
If Ant wins a chip this year, hold up, y'all. Let me read the super chat. Tyler Arch said, "If Ant wins a chip this year, is he a greater Timberwolf than KG?"
So answer this question for me. So does only NBA is championships? That's all that matters. So like if
when it comes to being the greatest for a franchise,
that's what I'm talking about. Just
being the reason I'm saying that word loosely. Why the team wins its first ever championship. That holds a lot of weight. Yes,
right. And again, you know me, I care about winning. Right, I 100% care about winning, but that only checks a box. What about the other stuff?
What's more important than bringing a franchise their first ever chip?
Okay, nothing. It's not that it's not important. I'm not saying that that's not.
I'm asking what's more important than that.
Well, what I did for the franchise also, and
winning a championship.
Okay, you did win a championship, 100%. But all of this, but you didn't do what I did outside of that.
Like
that's
what?
not the only thing.
Winning MVP.
Not just, MVP? I don't know if you noticed, Jordan, but I'm the all-time leading. I'm at the top of the list in the Minnesota Timberwolves history in points, rebounds, assists, blocks, and steals.
And Anthony Edwards going to be at the top of the list in championships.
He will be that. I'm not going to argue that. He will. He will be at the top of the list.
Which one you think the Timberwolves care about more?
I think.
Hey, KG's our leading scorer, but Anthony Edwards got us a championship.
Man, hey, chill. I ain't gonna lie. We can already assume Anthony Edwards is gonna break all that shit Kevin Garnett did.
Well,
we can already assume.
He already has more. I think he has more 40-point games as a Timberwolves than anybody.
He 23 years
right, but he ain't there yet.
But if a 23-year-old,
why are you entertaining this shit?
The reason why is because Kamal's point. The reason why is because Kamal's point. If all we care about is championships, it doesn't matter how good you were as a player compared to this other player. If you brought a championship, which it takes so much that goes into winning an NBA championship. We saw Anthony Edwards last year in the playoffs, and there were times when he wasn't great, just like there were times when Kevin Garnett wasn't great. But there was also times when he was great, just like there were times when Kevin Garnett was great. So if I'm going to put this solely, and you, Mars, are the prime example of that, when you tell me all the time, it shouldn't be relegated to one guy, but then you're going to turn around and tell me if they win the NBA championship, Anthony Edwards is ahead of Kevin Garnett because he brought a championship to the crew, even though.
That's why I said. I also I know.
And that's the answer that I'm giving you, because there's other things that need to be done. One, and number two, because there's other factors that go into winning an NBA championship. It's not just Anthony Edwards. That's why.
And that's fine. I just think personally, I think KG is 26 times the player Anthony Edwards is. I don't hold that as really a secret. I'm very high on KG. Mm-hmm. But I also think when a team has made the playoffs in their career, like in their franchise history, like 12 times, Anthony Edwards is like 4 of them. And he's been in the league for 5 years.
Yep.
And then he brings them their only franchise championship. Mm-hmm. He's already one of their only 2 conference finals appearances. The other one was KG in 04.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Like, I understand KG has the most points and stuff, but like, I'm pretty sure Timberwolves fans, a large portion of them, will appreciate the championship more than KG's MVP or KG's.
It's not just KG's MVP more. It's just his whole tenure.
I'm pretty sure they'd appreciate the championship more than everything KG achieved on the Timberwolves.
Well,
I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure.
No, but you're not wrong, Moss, because I can tell you right now, if the Minnesota Timberwolves,
the young fans,
if the Timberwolves were to win the NBA championship, Anthony Edwards is the best player to ever play for the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's going to be the consensus. I don't agree with that.
It won't be the consensus.
I'm telling you, Ox, that's what it's going to be. Not
for anybody 33 and under.
Yeah, that's what
everybody else knows what KG did for the Timberwolves. Even if he didn't win a championship, staying there for as long as he did, he made that team a respectable basketball team. You know what I mean? Like that, they were.
I think Anthony Edwards did the same thing.
The whole time he was there, Anthony Edwards hasn't done anything like what KG was doing for his whole time.
Why not?
Now, to your point, though, Jordan, if he stays for as long as KG did, I'm talking about right now today. Like if at the end of his career, this fine, 100%. I'm just talking about right now today. I don't see it. You know what I'm saying? If you were there to see the whole time KG was there, it wasn't just the MVP. You know what I'm saying? He did a lot. And you know what though, Chill? You know why this pisses me off? Because you know who this makes me mad at? Stephon Marbury.
No, he's a monkey wrench. Yes, if Marbury would stay,
but my thing is the Timberwolves got the #1 pick because they sucked before Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, they were a laughingstock when Ant got
they were. Yeah.
Like KG resurrected the franchise for his time period.
Ant's doing the same thing.
But even KG's last 3 years, they went back to being a laughingstock. They sucked. Like the Timberwolves were again a laughingstock when Ant got there, and now they're perennial contenders.
Yeah, but Ant wasn't even the best player on the team for the first 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Like
he was the best player on the team by probably the end of year 2. But
okay, well that's that. You know, whatever. However y'all look at it, but that's another thing. Like y'all make it seem like Ant doesn't have a respectable basketball team. KG did not. KG did get Wally Zerbiak for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Did get Latrell for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Sam Cassell. You know, he had a couple people come through.
Respectable. He didn't have the big bodega, but it's respectable.
He didn't have Rudy Gobert. He didn't have nothing. But you know, I don't even want to go into all that.
Stop throwing that Rudy Gobert in there as a positive. We need
real talk. Don't do that. Don't do that.
But like, no, Rudy Gobert.
And this is not me trying to have a gotcha moment because I genuinely don't remember when we did the greatest player for each franchise for the Raptors. Ox, did you have Kawhi or did you have someone else?
I think I chose either Kyle Lowry or DeMar. I definitely if I said after we made our picks, we was talking some shit. Of course, I said Kawhi, but you know what I'm saying. I picked. That
wasn't me like being like, oh, I got you because I know Chill had whoever he had. It wasn't.
It's Kawhi. No way it's Kawhi though. It's no way it's Kawhi.
But like that was my.
I think I had DeMar DeRozan. I think
I might have picked Kyle Lowry for real. But my thing is, see, and if you look at the chat, you can see what I'm talking about. These youngsters, when I say youngsters, I'm talking about 30 and under. They're going to be like, oh, you win a championship? You win a championship? Of course,
one year with a team. There's no way
you're the best for your franchise. But that's
one year. Depends how bad the team is.
No, not yeah.
If Kawhi did that for the Hornets, he's the greatest Hornets player ever.
No. Hell no. Respect Grandmama.
Kawhi, if Kawhi did what he did in Toronto on the Hornets, he's the best one ever.
No. Respect.
I will say this though, Ox. Like if Ant does win the chip, he doesn't have to be there. Like he doesn't have to play the number of years KG played with them. Like if he wins the chip,
ain't no way Kawhi can be the best player.
That's fine. Don't let Real off the hook with this. Don't, because I know where he's going with this. Once he wins the NBA championship in Minnesota, now can he come to Los Angeles and help you guys win?
No, I was not going there at all. Not going there at all. I was not going there. I'm saying, look, compared to KG, because KG was there like what, 12, 13 years in Minnesota?
12 years.
Right. So I'm saying if he wins a chip and Ant's there for like 8, 9 years, then I do think that he probably gets that nod. If he has a great 8, 9 years and then he wins a chip, I think he's going to get that nod in Minnesota.
It depends how you do the greatest thing. I don't think I'll ever be at a point where I say Ant is better than Kevin Garnett was. I don't think I'll ever be at that point.
I don't know. Then it comes down to like
he only 23.
Shit, I don't know.
KG at 23, like 10 times better than that.
What was he? Because that was no. But go ahead, because I got a follow up question I want to ask. So you
Let me see it. What year was Kevin at 23? Like,
So that was year 5. That was
came
year
in at
5.
18.
So I wanted to ask in their first 5 years in Minnesota, who had the better 5 years?
Yeah, it was
2000.
Kevin got he's bad.
I believe Ant has put more work in during his first 5 years than Kevin Garnett has. Now, year 5, we can say Kevin Garnett was a better player, even year 4. But over the first 5 years, Ant has put in more work than Kevin Garnett.
What?
See, but y'all say this. I
don't know what more work means, but I don't think I.
Well, I think Russ talking about going further in the playoffs and stuff like that. But the thing about it is, when we see y'all change these conversations so much that it's like now when usually when you talk about it and we talk about if a team wins, well, it's a team sport. No one person. But now when we have this conversation, it's over. Ant did this. Ant's doing this. It's like Ant got a squad with him, and KG didn't. So
okay, and better every damn year, though.
That might be true. I'm just we could talk individually or we could
increases
talk,
every year.
We could talk as a team. What I'm saying is, even if we are talking individually, we gotta factor in the work that Ant's putting in the playoffs last year and
that's
this
a fact,
year.
Ron. Ant getting better every year.
Ant came in the league, rookie of the year. Every year after that, he's averaging 20 plus. Now I know Ant and KG is two different players. Ant's a high volume scorer. KG was. And obviously, he played in the 2000s, so his numbers are a little bit watered down too. Like it wasn't a high scoring era. But then also Kevin Garnett, a lot of what Kevin Garnett's did, like it's not going to show up in the stat sheet. You can't put on the stat sheet Kevin Garnett's impact on defense. So I do understand that too. But I do also want to point out that Ant has been phenomenal in these first 5 years.
And so was Kevin Garnett.
No, he was. I'm not. Yes. This isn't to drag Kevin Garnett down at all. It's more so. I'm just asking you guys how you feel about it.
I think KG's better.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I do think that you can be a better player though, and like lose a like greatest in franchise like argument.
Yeah, LeBron and D-Wade.
Prime example.
Right. So again, like I think we can all acknowledge that Kevin Garnett is better, but especially Alex, when you add the element of said player bringing first chip to city. And what that's going to mean to that city.
A lot. And
then if he stays there for 8-9 years, they're going to identify Ant as the
real talk. Can I get a decade?
Real talk.
Can I get a decade? Real talk. Can I do that? Real talk. Can I get a decade?
If it's just this year, then Ant got to spend some more time.
I'm thinking.
I'm just saying it don't have to be like 12 years though, like KG though. Because
can I get it? Can I get at least a decade? Can I do that? Unless real talk. Unless let's say he wins the NBA championship this year, and then 2 years later he wins another one, and then he's the league MVP, and I get like to your point, I get 8-9 years. All right, now we're having a different conversation. Mm-hmm. But if I get a championship this year, I do need a decade. I do. I do need a decade in order for us to have a legit conversation about him being the all-time, the best player in the history of this franchise, considering what Kevin Garnett did in the 12 years that he was there. Nobody cared about Minnesota in the 90s. Nobody.
I just want to be clear. Minnesota loves Kevin Garnett.
Yeah.
There needs to be. I still haven't gotten a satisfactory answer why there's not a statue of him outside the arena.
It's coming.
Well, that was the owner.
A-Rod's gonna remedy all these.
Yes, 100%. Jersey needs to be hung up in the Raptors, and there should be a statue of him outside the arena.
Yeah, and obviously, y'all, this is just year 5. Y'all know this is gonna start getting louder and louder and louder. So
as it should, Ron.
Chill and Ox. Hey, Ox, just put your seatbelt on.
As it should.
Just enjoy it. What I'm saying though is,
I'm enjoying it already.
At 23, Ant being as good as he is, anything's on the table.
At 23, KG being as good as he was, anything was on the table too.
And I understand that. I'm talking about Anthony Edwards, though. Anything's on the table. I'm not saying definitively that he's going to be better than KG, but all I know is if he stays, which I believe he's going to, just because what they're building there and the type of guy he is, I could see Ant staying just to put on for Minnesota. If he stays, and he plays for to Chill's point, a decade, Kevin Garnett's records are getting taken down. All-time scoring, all-time assists, rebounds and stuff. He might not get rebounds, but
Ant finna have like every playoff record.
Yeah, like he's coming to grab all of that. So
7 straight years, KG didn't get out of the first round of the playoffs. 7 straight.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie too. The names Ant been knocking off. That shit got to tell something too.
Yeah, he got a hell of a
knocking off
score
Luka,
he putting
LeBron,
together.
KD, D Book. Hey, if he knock off Curry too, shit, my man got stones behind him. He the Grim Reaper. And I
He
think,
went
like I
around
said,
collecting Infinity
I just want to
Stones.
know I just want y'all to know that I said I picked the Timberwolves to go to the finals before the playoffs started. So I'm standing on it. I just don't think a lot of teams have what they have. They have a really special team. I don't think a lot of teams have it. I think that the closest team that compete with them is Oklahoma City.
It does look like it's coming together, Jordan. It does. It was,
but
because I had them in the finals before the season started, and I had to come off that. But it does look like it's coming together.
Yeah,
even I'm not going to jump the gun. I'm not going to jump the gun here. I'm not going to.
Even Oklahoma City, I don't know if Ant's defense. I mean, I don't know if the defense is going to throw Ant off like it threw those, the guys in Memphis off. But it's going to be like, bro, the fact that Ant can get by anybody in the world, he can get by them and finish at that second level.
Yeah,
shit. And so I just think I got them in the finals, but we gonna see. I think this series is over when the Lakers touch down at home and they tow the ball up. That shit gonna be over with. But
Lakers in 7.
Like I said, Lakers fans didn't want to believe me when I said LeBron and Luka was gonna have to figure some shit out late game offense, and it was. Well, y'all had every stat in the damn book. Well, when this player play and that player don't play, it's blah blah blah. Well, you did this, did that, did this and that. It's like
I vividly remember sitting up here. And Mars going Celtics in 7 and 3-1, Celtics in 7, 3-2, Celtics in 7, 3-3, and I'm like, am I in the Matrix? What is happening right now?
And then Jason Tatum got hurt on the first play of the game.
What is happening?
I was gonna be so right if that.
Am I in the Matrix?
Man, that shit ain't happening with the Lakers, man.
Watch.
Chill. When playoff time comes around, 3 things are guaranteed. Obviously, it's April. Taxes. The other one, unfortunately, somebody's probably going to pass away. And then last but not least, Mars is going to push any series to 7.
Absolutely. He did that. He did that with Philly.
I had the Heat in 7 before last night too. Man.
Shit, no.
Just feel a little bit short.
Hey, Pat Riley ought to get his ass fired. I ain't gonna lie, it's time to fire Pat Riley ass. Go send your old ass to retirement home and you just go chill. You don't need to be no GM no more. That shit you did is disgusting. And the NBA need to abolish that goddamn play-in shit because they should never even been in the playoffs getting their ass beat like that.
I know we're gonna talk about this, Bron. So I'll wait till we get to it. But.
Yeah, we gonna get to this. I do want to read some super chats right now. And before we
fire
do that,
Pat Riley, how you live? We need to start it.
I'm good. I heard some Timber Pups conversation. I was very impressed.
Timber Pups is crazy.
The Pups.
Mm-hmm. I just want to know when the Heat gonna fire Pat Riley. That's all I want to know.
We'll get there in a second, Jordan. But MP13 sent through a super chat. And he said, I don't understand as an offensive player like Jalen, how do you not come into the league with multiple spots that you attempt to master? It's 2025. Raw athletes don't mean anything anymore. You need to specialize in spots.
That's the thing, MP. And that's the point that I'm making. I'd like to think that he's gotten better watching Houston games. I'd like to think that he's gotten better than he was a year ago, 2 years ago. He might not be great at it, but he is getting better.
What is his spot, Chill?
I still think that mid-range. I do.
He don't take enough for it to be a spot.
He don't hit that shot.
No, it's because he don't take enough. He don't take it. He don't.
No.
He's never been.
He doesn't make them though.
Going back
but he doesn't.
Even
what I would say is probably his best shot right now is probably a pull-up.
And that's where I think. That's
what he takes more than any damn thing.
He can improve. He clearly works on it because he from year 1 to year. What are we in now? Year 4? Is that what we are now? Mm-hmm. Right. So from year 1 to year 4, he definitely has improved his ball.
I mean, not really. I mean, not really. I don't think he's made much of an improvement, to be honest with y'all. Like y'all keep giving me these drastic improvements. Even if you look at his numbers, he haven't made much of an improvement.
Jordan,
I don't know what improvement
Jordan, to watch this guy from when he was in what is that league?
I watched him. I watched him at Prolific. I watched him at Prolific Prep. I watched him at G League. I watched him with the Rockets. He plays the exact same.
So when he was in G League Ignite, so to watch him from G League Ignite to year 1, and from year 1 to year 3 to today, sounds to me, Jordan, like you're saying that he's the same guy that he was 3 years ago.
He is with more attempts. That's all he is.
And that's just that sounds ridiculous
what the
to
hell?
me.
Like he
that-
is. Just get more attempts at it.
He's very similar. I think he's gotten marginally better at things, but I don't think nothing he was bad at coming into the NBA has he become good at. He's still bad at the same things. And
I've been watching him since high school.
And me too. And nothing he was meant to be good at coming into the NBA has he become great at. Like he's marginally improved at things. He's marginally improved as a decision maker. He's marginally improved as a ball handler. But he's still bad at both of those things relative to someone with his amount of touch.
So why even mention that he's marginally improved at it? Because
he's better at those things.
He got more attempts. The only thing he's
because what it sounds to me like from the both of you guys,
sure.
from what it sounds to me like from the both of you guys. Okay, so he's marginally improved at it. He was awful at this years ago.
Bad.
Like coming into the league,
yeah,
he was bad at this
He's
stuff.
still bad.
So now when I think about marginal, I think we go from here to like here. Like we ain't going
still an
from here
improvement
to here. So we're going from here to like here. And then in 3 years. So in 3 more years, we're gonna go from here to like here.
Well, I don't know.
Which means that-
Progression isn't linear. I can never like. Some people look bad in year 1 and then they take a major leap in year 2. Some people look bad for the first 3 years, take a minor leap in year 4, and then jump off the page in year 5.
Kind of like what Anthony Edwards is doing as
a
a
lot
long
like
shooter.
progression. Progression
as a long ball shooter, but as a player, Anthony Edwards got better every year.
I mean, talking about him as a player, Jordan. I'm just talking about him as a long ball shooter.
Progression for everyone is different.
Which is
I can't be like, well, Jalen Green struggled for the first 4 years. He's never going to get better. Like maybe
that's what it
next year
sounds like
he
from
takes
you
an
guys.
all-star league. Maybe.
Like this is who
But
this
what
guy
I am
is.
saying is I'm not betting on it. Like
but
the
chill. Why would
indicators
we
are
be
telling
sound
me
like
this is what he is. The indicators are telling me this is what he is.
But why would we be patient with that when the Rockets are in
Because he's
position to be
23
good?
years old. That's why.
Okay,
He's a kid.
I
Booty
mean,
is
but
23
how
years
much
to
longer
somebody
are we gonna
else.
say his
why
age?
can't he go to nobody else? My thing is, like, I don't get why y'all keep acting like Jalen Green is not tradable or benchable.
I didn't
or
say that
his
he wasn't
six-man is.
tradable. I wasn't
Send
saying
his
that
ass
part
to
at all.
somebody else.
But I'm not saying that he's not tradable. That's not my issue at all. What I am saying is, one, I think he has improved more than marginal than what he had no idea what he was doing.
What has he improved at, Joe?
He don't.
Yeah, I want to ask
decision
you. I would
making.
ask you, Chill.
And he's still not good at it.
Who do you think like the best of Jalen Green? Because I
I
also
think
know
Jalen Green-
I know your rule. I know your 5-year rule.
Sure.
We're in year 4.
Okay.
This
so by
year
next
finna be
year-
over.
So next season,
So
Jalen
next
Green
year,
is who he is. Next season,
That's
Jalen
who
Green
he
is who he
is.
is.
So who is Jalen Green, Chill, to you?
At his ceiling. At
He
his
said
ceiling.
all
Who do you
NBA.
think
That's
he
what he
is?
said.
I
He
think
said all
I
NBA.
think I think at some point he could be an all pro. I think he's that good. But to
Oh,
answer
Based
your
on
question,
what
but
analysts?
to answer your question, real talk, by next year, I think he's a 22 to 25 a game guy. I think that's who he is.
If he
I-
averaged
I-
22, he still didn't really improve that much, Chill. He averaged
He averaged
21.
22 in year 2.
So
Yeah,
again,
but the efficiency is always below league average, Joe. It's like the same damn player. And the thing that I realize is you should get better as your teammates get better, right?
correct.
Teammates got a lot better the last 2 years. He's still the same
haven't.
player. So I'm saying like maybe some of the advanced numbers could look a little bit better. Maybe the defense could look a little bit better because you're playing with better defenders and the players around you are coming up. Şengün's getting better. You know, Amen Thompson's gotten better since last year.
Tari Easton's got better.
Tari Easton got a lot better. You got a better coach here. So
Yep.
you should like it should rise with the tide. You should your efficiency should go up. Your role
Penn,
has
is he the
gone
same
down.
player? Penn, is he the same player as he was last year when he got Ime Udoka? Is he the same guy he was last year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Why
you think
not?
he's the same guy that he was
Look,
last year?
chill. I think
He's the same guy with
he's-
Steven Silas. I don't know what
Chill.
y'all. I don't know what y'all seen.
I understand why you like him, right? He's
You know
twitchy.
the most
There's
efficient
a
year
lot
of
of
Jalen Green's
highlights.
career was his rookie year.
Man, I know that. I'm just.
42.6%
I know that.
field
I'm
goal
just
percentage.
telling y'all.
Well,
I'm
using
just telling
true
y'all he's
shooting,
the
but
same player.
yeah,
y'all
it's the most
y'all just
efficient
looking
year
at the
of his
Rockets. Y'all looking at the Rockets
EFG is the
improve,
most
and y'all
efficient,
trying to like say Jalen Green has gotten better because the Rockets has improved. He's
Right.
literally been the same. You just go cut the high school film on. He's been the same exact player.
His
got
release has
stronger.
changed. Like his
I'll give you
jumper
that.
was different.
He got stronger.
Of course, your release always changed from high school to a grown man.
Yeah.
Like, of course. But
That-
I'm
that-
just
but
saying.
you can- yeah,
No, it
that's
doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Most of the
Jason
time it
Kidd
does.
didn't. No, it doesn't. Jason Kidd didn't. So anyway,
Okay, he's
keep
an
going.
anomaly, but most of the time it does.
Yeah, his
Uh,
jumper looks different. That's
but
the biggest.
100%.
But that doesn't mean he's making more. Like he's the same.
The point is that you spent the number 2 pick on this guy, and to real talk, real talk to
That's
your
why
point,
he's still around. If he was, flip Şengün and Jalen Green, they were in the same draft. Şengün was at the 16th pick.
Sure.
So make Şengün the number 2 pick, make Jalen Green the 16th pick. He's no longer in Houston right now.
At least
The only reason he's still
starting.
in Houston, the only reason he's still there is because he was the number 2 pick.
So
When
Mars,
you
why?
get picked high, you get more investment. The reason Cam Whitmore is out the rotation and Jalen Green is the
he's a-
starting shooting guard in the Houston Rockets is because one was the 20th pick
Yeah.
and one was the 2nd pick. It's all politics in the NBA. We understand that's how it works.
And
When
they
you
just
pick-
paid
when
Jalen
you
Green.
use the number 2 pick on someone, unless they're Anthony Bennett, you're probably
Mm.
going to give them the opportunity to figure it out. And Jalen Green has shown just enough flashes of amazing play, whether that be the March stretches, the games here and there where he looks amazing, where he keeps getting investment. But the reality is, he doesn't justify this level of investment. He just
It's
doesn't.
not really his fault, Mars. The number 2 pick is cursed.
It hasn't been great historically, but shout out
It's
to
been
Tim
so much worse than the number 3 and number 4 picks. It's insane. When you think about the names that have gone number 2, the bad history, Hashim Thabit, Marvin Bagley,
Man, Penn.
Darko Milicic.
Penn. That shit is Jalen Green's fault. It ain't got shit to do with the curse. His ass just don't want to get better. His ass
Oh,
don't
no,
really
I
fall
think
under
he
that
wants
curse.
to get. That's where I disagree. I
Penn,
think Jalen
Penn.
Green wants to get better. I just
No,
don't
I
think
think he
he's
want to
good
get better too. I think that's just the best he gonna be. Penn. He's not a bad number 2 pick. He's actually a good one. It's just
What?
it's not what the Rockets need. Yeah, it's just not
How
what the
is he-
Rockets need.
If he's
20.
good, what's bad?
Hashim Thabit. Like
Oh,
the guys
my
you
Lord.
just
Yeah,
said,
he's not that
guy.
bad. Yeah, he's not.
Yeah,
like I'm not
he's
listening
20
to
points a
bust
game.
conversations personally.
Yeah, he's
like,
not
for
a
me,
bust.
Is like Hashim Thabit, Anthony. Davis,
Yeah,
those
I
guys are
forgot.
busts.
Somebody told me
Jalen Green's
Andrew
just
Wiggins was a
Jalen
bust,
Green's
and I
just
was like, you out your
not a
goddamn
very
mind.
good pick, but I'm not.
Did
putting
they
him
hit
in
on
the
him,
range.
Penn? Did the Rockets hit on Jalen Green?
I totally understand why they took him. Honestly, I do. He was the number 1 player in high school.
Okay,
And
stop
know,
right there, Penn. Did they hit on him? Yes, in your
No,
estimation.
hell
yes or
no. Hell no.
You think
I
they
think
missed
they
on
did
Jalen
hit on
Green?
him. I think they did hit
Like
on him.
you could have picked Evan Mobley, Scotty Barnes. You could have picked Jalen Suggs.
We'd have been in the same position with Scotty Barnes, but
Kevin
Get
Mobley,
the hell
though.
out of here.
That-
He's an
that-
all
that doesn't-
star.
that doesn't make you a
all
bust,
NBA.
though.
Like, oh
But
my
I
God.
think
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
not
they
saying
hit
he's a
on
bust.
him.
I don't
Position.
think he's
The
a bust. I
Rockets
don't think
hit
he's a
on
bust.
Jalen Green. That like they couldn't pick the best player in that draft was to me was Cade Cunningham. They couldn't pick him, so you could say Evan Mobley. Yeah, I mean that's totally fine, but we wanted somebody to supposedly replace James Harden, and we didn't get
He
him,
was
but we
the
hit
best
on him.
scorer in the draft.
Yeah, he was the best
That's
scorer.
what he was. Like, the
Jordan,
issue
this
is
might be
he-
worse than the Dennis Schroeder, Derek White thing. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Why?
That was bad.
What is bad? Because I said Scotty Barnes the same. Scotty Barnes is on a team that didn't make the playoffs the last couple years, and Jalen Green is on a team that made the playoffs. Same thing. Y'all in the East,
Yeah,
we in the
that,
West.
same thing. And Jalen
Same
Green averaged
thing.
21. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know why is that worse. Like I mean, I get you a Raptors fan, but the Scotty Barnes, Jalen Green thing, in my eyes, they're the same players. To be honest with you, like
I mean, Scotty Barnes doesn't solve that. Well, that's crazy. I'm not saying
they're
that.
the same
But Scotty
players.
Barnes,
Scotty
does
Barnes is a
not
better
solve
defender.
the-
He's a better
He
defender.
doesn't
He got a
solve
lot of
the
opportunity
perimeter, like,
to do a lot of
scoring.
stuff, but
Better
the team
finisher,
still sucks.
better defender, better
But he
decision
doesn't-
maker,
he doesn't
better
solve the
Yeah, but the
passer, better
team still
processor.
sucks.
What are we?
The team still sucks.
Okay, let's pretend we live in bizarre world and Scotty Barnes is still the same player. You still could have picked Evan Mobley. You still could have picked Jalen Suggs. You don't think Jalen Suggs helps more?
I would
Could've
pick
gone
Jalen
Franz
Green over Jalen Suggs better, by the way. But regardless, Penn, for your Scotty Barnes matrix, what's what I'm gonna say about this? Scotty Barnes, if the Raptors become good, Scotty Barnes won't be their best player. I'm gonna tell you that. Like,
I'm
if the
I'm
Raptors
literally
become a
I'm
championship
literally
guy,
writing this down.
Scotty Barnes
to-
won't be
to
their best.
bring you
I will
back to
guarantee
this.
you that. And I will guarantee you that if the Raptors
I
become
also
any type of
agree
good, they won't be. Scotty Barnes won't be their best player. He might be their.
Well, they got
second, third
Brandon
best player.
Ingram though. Don't forget that, Jordan.
Yeah, so when Brandon Ingram start playing, Scotty Barnes gonna be their
Is Brandon
second best
Ingram
player.
better than Scotty Barnes?
Yes, Brandon
No.
Ingram's better than him. Yes, he is.
No, he's
Penn.
not.
Penn,
That means
yes,
you're
he is.
basically saying Brandon Ingram's better than LeBron James. I just want you guys to know. Like, that's what-
No, I'm not
No,
saying that.
no,
Hell no,
that's
I'm
That's what
not
you guys,
saying
that's
that.
what you guys are saying. So just
No,
remember that.
I like Scotty Barnes, but I'm just saying like the type of player he is.
No, you
Yes,
don't.
yes, I do like Scotty Barnes, but the type of player he is,
You-
you
you
talking
don't-
about his
you don't like the player
playmaking,
putting
his
him
all
in-
his other stuff, but the team suck. So it's like he ain't that good at it. He not carrying the Raptors. They suck. He's playing his best and they suck.
So Tyler Hero sucks.
No, but he in the play-in. Scotty, at least he in the play-in.
But
I
Tyler
didn't
Hero
say
sucks.
Tyler Hero sucks.
Dear-
He
dear-
was in the
playoffs.
playoffs.
De'Aaron Fox sucks.
I didn't say they suck. All I'm saying is
LaMelo
when they
sucks?
play their best.
Wait. LaMelo sucks.
No, they don't. I didn't say
It's a
Scotty Barnes
crazy.
sucks.
It's a crazy
I
I
logic.
did not
to just
say Scotty Barnes suck. I said the Raptors suck, and Scotty
Bro.
Barnes is playing his best.
When you are number 3 in the entire league in games missed per dollar, when you realize how many players they missed, they could have made the playoffs very
Games
easily.
missed per dollar.
Per dollar?
Yeah.
Where did you get
Yeah,
that
the
stat from?
the
Man,
salary.
I
They
like this.
wouldn't have
Wait,
made
wait.
the
I like
playoffs.
this one, Pink. No, I like this one. Go ahead, Pink. Please carry
Games
on.
missed per
Per dollar.
Yeah,
per
so
paycheck,
Oh,
Mom.
yeah.
Was,
We're
was
behind
Philly
that,
number
real talk.
two? Was Philly number two?
it was
There's
Philly,
no way
New
Philly's
Orleans,
not
and
number
Toronto.
one.
That's
Philly,
what I
New
thought,
Orleans, and
but
Toronto.
Per paycheck.
Yeah, but regardless, like, okay, I get you.
Did you add
They
What I'm
Draymond
tried
saying
to
to that?
lose, dude. They
Yeah,
tried to
I
lose.
gotta see where he got
But,
that.
So
but
ne-
you
so
know why
next
they
year
trying to
when they
lose?
go-
You know why they trying to lose? Because if they were trying to win, they would still lose. Like it's just like this. Let's stop trying to win these bullshit ass games. Like that's it. Like y'all ain't gonna win some games just enough to miss the lottery. Like no, but I'm telling you, I like Scotty Barnes as a player. But you're looking at all the good things he do because you harping on he does this good, he does that good, he does this good, he
Bro,
does
we
that good.
in the
But
playoffs.
the
There's really
team
no,
I was about
there's
to say,
really
we
no
not
need
getting
to
into a half
talk
an hour
about.
Scotty
We don't
Barnes
need-
conversation.
we
We
don't need to
not-
talk
Playoff
we
going.
not-
No, I'm
I ain't
just
doing
saying he
that.
brought it
We
up.
really
Well, he
not.
brought it up.
This
The
is
I
Rockets
thought he
not
was.
the
I
league.
thought he was
Hell
better
no.
than
We're
Jalen
not.
Green. I didn't think that was a
No.
controversy. He's an
No.
all-star.
He's
He's
not better
not
than
doing
Jalen
that.
Green. It's the same thing.
Tell you
Okay,
what's
cool.
going on, Ron.
I do want to. I want to ask Ron and Jordan because Jordan, I know you a trainer, and then I know Ron that he a fake defensive demon or whatever. I saw the little
You
tape.
can't cover.
Something about Jalen Green. Jalen Green dribbles the ball so upright. He's never lower than his defender, and then the handle is also loose. And so I'm seeing players that aren't as athletic as him be able to get up under him and get into his his space.
Yeah.
And then he got the ball way out here, and then he's upright. The ball is very available. The ball is very.
I don't think him just dribbling that high is the problem. I think he just speeds up for no reason. That's more the problem than anything. You start pressuring him, he start doing some incredible shit with the ball, and then he don't realize, bro, just relax, and just go by him. But he go he do that with Steph guarding him too. He go side to side, snatch back between the legs, blah, blah, and it's bro.
He also takes very wide driving angles, so that doesn't help.
Yeah, because Mark, because what Real Talk said, because it is a problem. You can't dribble straight up. He's not strong. He's not strong enough. Maybe he's missing leg days or something, and not focusing on core strength, which it's highly unlikely. But he's not strong enough. That's why if he got lower on his drives and was down here with the ball, he wouldn't have to go all the way around. He could put his shoulder right here above their waistline and blow by him. He's not strong enough. He's not low.
That's part of the reason. But Ox, I don't know if it's not is that he's not low enough. I think it's he don't want the contact when you hit somebody in the shoulder when you go by him. I think he don't want that contact, and I see that a lot with kids.
If you get that has to do with being strong though.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said it's more about strong, not being low. It's more about being strong.
He wouldn't trip off of that. But
if you get low, you'll be stronger though, Jordan. If you get lower, you're stronger.
I'm trying to figure out it's somebody in my head that a guard that has high dribble, and that still does the same thing. Jason Tatum kind of dribbles a little high.
Jason Tatum's bigger and stronger than Jalen Green.
Yeah, he's stronger. Yeah, that's why I agree.
Derek
I think it's more about strong. Penny Hardaway had a high dribble too.
Penny Hardaway had a high dribble.
I think it's just Magic Johnson had one too. But I honestly just Russell Westbrook got a high dribble. But I think it has a lot to do with the strength. It's not about the height of the dribble. It's more about the strength. He can't take the same bumps them guys can take. You hit Jalen Green in the shoulder and his ass might fly all over the place. Even when he jump in the air, if you give him a strong contest, a man can turn and move.
Is he soft?
He's not soft.
Strong.
He's not
He's
soft.
just not strong.
He's like a goddamn noodle. A man can turn and
he's
move
not
in the air and finish. Jalen Green just trying to dunk it.
If anybody is standing straight up, if I could just right here to the chest, you're gonna go backwards. If you're low right here, if I hit your shoulder, it's like this.
His ass might fall down though.
You can't be attacking the basket as much as Jalen Green wants to attack the basket like this. I need you down here, chest still up, but down here. Get your shoulder. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a good point. Real talk. We was actually talking about that with Houston when we were watching them this offseason. We were talking about how Jabari's getting lower on his drives and stuff like that. You got to get lower. If you're gonna be weak. You're gonna look weak if you're standing straight up playing basketball. If you're down here, you're just naturally gonna get stronger. Lower center of gravity. You can get your core, your hindquarters into it a little more. You know what I'm saying? That's standing straight up shit. There's no future in that. That's why, like to your point, Mark's going all the way around somebody. You can't.
I think that him going around has a lot to do with him just not wanting contact. But I feel like the high dribble for him works at an advantage, because like it makes a lot of people like see the ball and they try to take the gap and he able to blow by him. That's why a lot of people with high dribble sometimes can be hard to guard if they strong, because it's like the angle that you think you're gonna get. Like Jamal Crawford had a high ass
Jamal Crawford,
and he was so hard to take
he
the
don't
ball
have
from.
a Jamal handle though. Like
I think you're naming like some individual. When you're naming some individual players, which I think you're correct about, but those, that's an anomaly. I think if you're just dependent on that instead of trying to play it like do it the right way, the fundamental way.
I agree. I'm agreeing with you, Ox. I'm agreeing with you on that one. I think the bigger issue for Jalen Green is more so the strength. Like even his finishing, like men have a high dribble too, by the way, but a man is so strong when he jumps. Like he's able to absorb contact and move. If you touch Jalen Green in the air, he don't have no different finishes. It's like he out of control. That's why he tried to dunk a lot of shit rather than try to like move like a man kind of does. Like the layup a man made in the fucking second half was ridiculous.
You see that
strong though. He's so strong.
Right. That's also why Jalen Green loses the ball so much, because he gets contacts in the air and the ball just pops out. He's
just not strong at all.
You see that difference between Amin and Jalen Green too. Like if I'm teaching like basic ball handling, we just getting our handles sharper. I'm always saying like dribble violent. You know what I'm saying? Like Amin is a violent basketball player. He's violent when he's dribbling the ball. It's aggressive. It's boom. Jalen kind of more, out here with it, where Amin's boom, boom, boom.
He avoid contact. John Morant definitely got a John Morant's probably the least fundamental player in the NBA. I ain't no bullshit. He don't do nothing right. But
more than LaMelo Ball?
Ja worse than him, boy. Ja don't
know.
Shit. Ja don't do nothing right. Boy, Ja be carrying his ass off. Boy,
LaMelo might going. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, LaMelo don't give a damn. LaMelo definitely don't give a damn.
Was a good one.
Yeah, you know what? They might be neck and neck.
Yeah, LaMelo. I like that one, too. LaMelo was a good name. LaMelo was a good name.
Yeah, they neck and neck. Ja don't do nothing right.
They can both get away with being unfundamental because they got something you can't teach. LaMelo, he's 6'8" and is one of the most skilled players in the NBA. Got a crazy handle, crazy vision, and he's just naturally gifted with things that typical 6'8" guys don't have. Ja Morant, he's just a freak athlete. So
give me Ja. I still take Ja over LaMelo though.
Yeah, John's better.
I will. I mean, they both always hurt. So shit, it's kind of that's another toss up, boy. It's like, goddamn, boy. I'm just saying, Giants don't do nothing right, boy. Giant, every crossover is a carry. Everything you do is just like, what the hell is that? But it worked. Floater is weird.
If I'm the coach of any team in the NBA, I wake up in the morning and I see Shams report that we traded for LaMelo Ball. I ain't coming into work. I'm out of here. I'm done.
Yeah, I like him. You know why he ain't coming to work? Because he gonna find the first jersey printed with LaMelo Ball on there. He gonna be out busy looking for that jersey. That's why. He gonna find the first one printed.
As of right now, there's a couple teams in South Beach, and I got to talk to you guys, or not in South Beach, on their way to Cancun and out of the playoffs. And I got to talk to those two fan bases. If you are a Minnesota or a Memphis Grizzlies fan, or if you are a Miami Heat fan, this is what I need you to do. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code CLNS. And the reason why I'm telling you to do this is because playoff basketball in those two cities is over for the summer. But you have an opportunity to use the Gametime app to go elsewhere and watch other playoff games. I mean, Cancun's not going anywhere. So enjoy the playoffs while they're here. Now, if you're a Memphis fan, you might not want to watch no OKC games, but there's other teams you can go watch. If you're a Heat fan, you probably don't want to watch no Cavs games, but there's other teams you can watch. And, well, with the Gametime app, they make it so easy to get tickets. And, quite frankly, you could just get them faster than anywhere else. They make those hard-to-get playoff seats, well, simple. The prices on the Gametime app actually go down the closer that it gets the tip-off. They have killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and they have the lowest price guaranteed. The Gametime app just simply takes the guesswork out of buying NBA playoff tickets. So you should look no further. Download the app and create an account and use promo code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, but again, create an account, redeem using code CLNS, and get $20 off. Download the Gametime app today and get last-minute tickets. Lowest price guaranteed. Get to it. All right, fellas.
That is crazy.
It's time to transition to the sweep that we just seen that the Cleveland Cavaliers put on the Miami Heat. Now, I do want to say this and start with this. That was the largest win in a series-clinching game in NBA playoff history. The Cleveland Cavaliers beat them boys by 55 last night.
We've seen a lot of history being made. It's like every night there's history being made.
The other games was in 2015. The Bulls beat the Bucks by 54. In 1971, the Bucks beat the Warriors by 44 points. And in 1985, the Lakers beat the Nuggets by 44 points.
Ron, Ox, do you remember? You ever seen the movie The Temptations when David Ruffin said, "Nobody coming to see you, Otis." You
Mars
wish
have
you
no
could
idea
work
what
it
we're
like
talking
me.
about.
And without me, you just a group in search of a David Ruffin. I think that the Miami Heat got a bunch. I think that the Miami Heat got a bunch of background singers and a guy you can write a song for or two, but they don't have David Ruffin. That's what
Hell
they
no.
That's what they miss.
The Miami Heat is.
Jordan, would you just focus for a minute? Would you just focus for 1 minute?
Let him finish his take, Jordan.
Would you just focus for 1 minute? Because just so we clear, B2K like had Jackson 5 fame. What are you talking about? B2K was a huge deal. Why you talking like B2K was just okay? B2K was a huge deal.
My bad. They mindless behavior. My bad. I said the wrong one. They mindless behavior.
If I look at the makeup of this crew, the stuff that's necessary to win, they do have it. The stuff that's necessary to make a hit, you got it. We just don't have that lead singer. What happened in Toronto in 2019, Ben? You had all the stuff necessary to win. You just didn't have that one thing. Once you got that one thing, all the other stuff that you had kind of came into place. Looking at this Miami Heat team, they don't have that one thing that they're missing. You got your two guard, I think. I think you got your small forward at 29 years old. I think you got your power forward in Bam. I think you got your 5-man in Ware in the future. You don't have your lead singer.
Who's your leader? Like emotionally, who's your leader? Who's that guy? Who's that guy that comes out and says,
I 1000% disagree.
Yeah,
They need more than just one guy.
Who cares?
They need more than just one guy.
They came out
Your emotional leader. Okay, to answer your question, Penn, your emotional leader, that's Bam. That's your energy guy. That's your dirty work guy. That's your defense guy. That's your glass cleaner. That's your defender, right? That's your guy. So now you also have your rim runner. You got your rim runner. You got your pick and dive guy. You got your guy who can stretch the defense and Ware. You got your two guard, and you got your wing and Andrew Wiggins. You still
all the guys you said
one,
is not. No, all the guys you just
still
said is not that level good.
And I'm glad you brought that up, Jordan. And the reason why I'm glad you brought that up is because I've seen guys who are that guy raise those guys' level of play. We've seen that with every team that has that one guy that they're missing. And once that one guy shows up, all of a sudden these other guys who were here go here. I don't think that the Miami Heat, as bad as that was yesterday, I don't think that the Miami Heat are that far away. They are missing that one lead singer, though.
They did not come ready to play. Okay,
Yeah.
they turned Davion Mitchell turned the ball over 3 times in the first 80 seconds. 80 seconds at home.
I mean, Davion Mitchell shouldn't be your starting point guard, though.
No, from what I've seen in this series, Davion look good. Now I will say, after game 1, this was a background series. Like I put the series on. I'm doing other things. This series set.
Facts. No,
but every time I looked up, Davion Mitchell doing something. So
I just want to know how good do y'all think Bam is? How good do y'all think Bam is?
I'm saying, like, I agree with you. I feel like they got their two. They got a two-way wing. It really depends on how quickly can Khalil Ware develop as far as like him being a 5. But they have a potential of having one of the better like starting 5s in the league if they can get like a really good point guard. I do
yeah.
agree with that.
Who is
I
that
like
really
the
good
Khalil.
point guard?
I like the.
That's what I'm
Khalil
saying.
play.
Who's that really good point guard?
Maybe
That's the and that's
I would
And
love
it's got
to
to be
see
realistic.
Trae Young
Like,
on this
it's got to
team.
be realistic.
because what I was thinking about this yesterday, Mars, and I'm glad Penn is up here because Penn can maybe straighten me out. Because I'm thinking, who is the Kawhi Leonard of point guards that they could get? Because I think that's what they're missing. That
You
that
think
level.
they're the Toronto Raptors and just need Kawhi?
I think that they're
I
that kind of
disagree with
guy
that.
away from really. I think
The
they're
Yeah, I
Raptors
don't
were
see
really,
what
really
you
good.
see with
The
Heat. I
Raptors
don't
were
see
really,
that.
really
I
good.
do.
The Raptors were really
Okay,
good before
so
they got
chill.
cut.
This team isn't one player away from
One
being
second.
as good as OKC and
One
This is-
second, Joe. The
I'm not
Raptors made the
buying.
Eastern Conference made the Eastern Conference Finals before getting Kawhi.
Yeah.
Okay, they were the number 2 defense in the entire league and were on pace to win more games without Kawhi next year. They were a really good team. Just because the national, American people just did not care what DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry and all those guys were doing, it doesn't
they won
mean that it
59
was just
games.
about Kawhi.
They won
Kawhi had
59
one
games,
of his
100%.
worst years regular season with the Raptors. It wasn't San Antonio Kawhi. It's not even, current Clipper Kawhi.
Mhm.
Okay. So
But why isn't it comparable to when Jimmy Butler was on their team when they had
That's where I was going, real talk.
They
That's
were
exactly
in
where I
the
was
finals
going.
and in the Eastern Conference Finals consistently.
That's where I was
Heat were.
going.
The
So,
Heat were, we are not too far removed from the Heat.
I think
consistently
I want to say
being-
I think the contenders, the OKC, Celtics, etc., are way better than they were in 2020 and 2023, respectively.
Mhm.
And I also think that this is where it's going to be like, oh my god, they weren't really contenders. Like we
Yeah, I
knew they
agree- I
weren't
agree
winning
with
the
you.
finals. Like they made it, and you tip your hat credit to
Yeah.
Spo, Jimmy, Bam, everyone. We all knew they weren't going to win. Like they were there, but we knew they weren't going to win. And I know Oxa said if Tyler Hero was healthy in 23, they would have had some action. And I know people have said if Goran Dragic and Bam don't get hurt in 2020, they would have had some action. I understand.
That was
But
the one, March, the 2020.
But
one.
like they weren't like I don't know how to explain
think
it.
they were
I
gonna
understand
win,
it
though.
sounds crazy. So I'm not willing to like die on this hill. But like they were in the finals, but they weren't contenders. It's like in my mind.
my point is that they were a really good team.
They were really
Like,
good. They were really good.
They were a really
Absolutely.
good team. And so
Absolutely.
I'm saying if they get another like top, you put a top 20-ish, top 15 player on this team, I do
They'll
think
put
that
Giannis over there.
that slots everybody correctly.
yeah, but you got to give
right?
up something to
'Cause
get that
Tyler Hero
player.
doesn't
So does
need
that player have to be a
number one.
point guard or just a player?
I think it's a league.
It needs
Because
to
if it's
be
a point guard,
it
then
needs to be, no. This is what I'm going to say. It needs to be a playmaking player. It needs to be somebody that can.
So a top 20 player
playmaking,
who's
shot making.
playmaking oriented.
Giannis.
Yes,
We're looking at what? 5 players
Yeah.
in the NBA?
You looking at Giannis? You looking at
I mean, Jimmy Butler and
Luka?
I'm saying,
I know
okay,
this isn't
Jimmy
realistic.
Butler upped his playmaking and scoring once the playoffs. They need somebody who can create open looks, make offense easier for people like Bam and Ware.
I know
And
this isn't
even
realistic.
have Tyler Hero more off ball because he's a great off ball player. Like they need somebody that can create offense, simple offense.
What is this? What is it? Really quickly, Penn. What is this unit with the 4 guys that I mentioned? What does this unit look like with Tyrese Halliburton on it?
trash. I don't think.
They're
So I
not
got Halliburton.
Better.
I got Halliburton
They're
at the 1.
They're not contenders.
Yeah, they're gonna be
I
better.
got
but I don't
Halliburton
think
at the
they'll be so
1.
much
I got
better.
Hero at the 2. I got Wiggins at the 3. Bam at the 4, and Ware at the 5. What do we look like?
With who off the bench? Duncan Robinson and Vibes?
I think we're moving off of Duncan Robinson. I think that they're going to
Jaime
Jaime
Vibes.
I definitely think they got.
Jaime's
upgrade after
getting
that.
garbage time minutes at this point.
I think he's getting moved too, Mars.
Jovic. Like
yeah.
that bench is not good enough.
Hey
That
man,
bench is
Jovic
not
hit
good.
some shots yesterday. Without
he
him,
did.
you might not have.
I mean, Pin.
Yeah, they might not. They might have lost by 7.
And I was reaching. I don't think Halliburton is realistic. I'm not gonna say that Halliburton.
Yeah, he's definitely not.
They're not
I
moving
don't
him.
think he's realistic.
Indiana's
But
not
even
moving him.
with Halliburton, they're
But
not,
among
they're
the
not in
guards-
the Boston
AC. I
Celtics
think
tier.
they'll
They're not
be
in the
AC.
Thunder's tier. They're not there.
Among the
They're
guards,
just a really good team.
among the players who are actually available, I look at players like Jaren Jackson, John Morant potentially, LaMelo Ball potentially. I'm not
De'Aaron
even
Fox,
saying like
potentially.
they're being traded. I'm saying these players might be available for the right price. Kevin Durant, would Kevin Durant solve it?
No.
I
No.
saw
I actually
Penn,
like
Penn. I
LaMelo,
want you to stay
actually.
with that point, Penn. I
Zion?
saw Luka. I
know
saw
he's not a
Luka
point
Doncic
guard.
traded 2
He's
months
gonna be
ago.
too busy
Everybody's
getting suspended
available.
by Pat Riley.
So to answer your question, Penn, I saw Luka traded 2 months ago.
Yeah,
Everybody's available.
but you traded
Everybody.
Anthony Davis. You don't have
Yes.
anyone on the Heat who's even remotely as good as Anthony Davis.
Not as an offensive player. No, I won't argue that. No.
Not as a
And then if you
defensive
trade
player
that player,
either.
and then if you
Who
trade
on the
that
Heat
player,
is
that
better?
makes the team work.
Do you think Bam is better defensively than Anthony
I didn't say he
Davis?
was better, but I do think that I do think that he's pretty awesome
Hell
as a
no,
defender.
Mars.
No, I don't think he's better.
Anthony
but I do
Davis
think
ain't
he's
getting
damn
smoked
good.
by 60 points.
Hell
I do
no.
think he's damn good as a defender. Yes, 100%.
No. But yeah, I think you're gonna have to look in the bargain basement. Like the reason Kawhi went to the Raptors is because his value was in the dumps. He didn't want to play.
No, the
was
reason
a
why he went to the
scandal.
Raptors, Penn, was because Popovich wasn't handing him over to the Lakers.
Sure,
That's why.
sure. He wanted
His
he wanted
value
to
was in
fight
the
him.
dumps, but he got
No, it wasn't.
he got y'all best player. Like
DeMar
Yeah,
wasn't
but-
the best player, but okay. My point. I mean, look, the package for Kawhi.
Yeah.
If you had traded Kawhi in, if you had traded Kawhi in 2016 or 2017,
They could've got a haul
before
for
the
him.
health concerns, before the
Could've got
drama,
a haul for him,
before
100%.
all that stuff, you're probably getting like 6 first-round picks, a really good young player, and maybe like a player almost as good as DeMar DeRozan. The gap between DeMar and Kawhi is so huge that Jakob Poeltl in a first-round pick should not make it up. I think the Raptors took a huge risk. The fact that he wanted to go back
And it worked.
home, it kind of worked.
Mhm.
The Spurs weren't going to hand him over to the Lakers, so the Raptors took a 1-year tour, and I think I'd heard, I think it was right after the playoffs that they kind of regretted the contract that they signed with DeMar, and they were looking to move him anyway. So I think when Kawhi became available, they were like, okay, worst case scenario, like we have a good year, we try it out, he leaves, and we get off of DeMar's contract. So I don't know. I think you got to find somebody whose value is in the dumps, is what I'm saying. You got to find someone coming off an injury, pray for best luck. You got to find someone who might be, I don't know.
I also
and they
think
got Danny Green too. So
Sounds
They
like they
did
should
do
just
that.
go get Ty Jerome and give him the keys. Well,
Yeah, no.
but
the way Ty Jerome be, imagine he just does that in a bigger
He has.
role. Like, I'd be
he
great
has
for them.
100%. How I don't know about Ty Jerome as their lead guard though. I mean, moving forward. But what I want to say though, Ron, is that this Miami Heat team, what Cleveland did to them yesterday is a testament to how serious Cleveland is trying to be. This is what you do in an inferior unit. You destroy them. You completely wreck them. You make it no doubt that this team is not in our class. And they destroyed Miami yesterday. I think they were up almost 40 at the half. They were getting whatever they wanted at the rim. These are probably those are the most open layups this season that I've seen from Evan Mobley. I have not seen him get to the rim and be that open all season long than he was yesterday.
Chill.
I thought
I have an announcement to make, Chill. And you can finish your point. Matter of fact, go ahead and finish your point first. I
thought Jared Allen was fantastic. I thought he took the fight right to Bam when Bam was switched on to him. I thought that they made Miami's guards, both Tyler Hero and Davion Mitchell, completely and utterly ineffective and took them out of the game. Their rotation guys were invisible. What Cleveland did yesterday to Miami was stamped that they are serious about winning the NBA championship.
So I want to make my announcement. I was wrong. I said the Cavs was gonna win. Gonna lose in the first round. I was dead ass wrong. Had no idea it was gonna play the Miami Heat.
Actually, Jordan,
Yeah,
you didn't say that. What you said was you wouldn't be surprised if they lost in the first.
Yeah,
round.
but when I said I wouldn't be surprised, I was actually kind of hoping that they lost. But I had no idea. But I had no idea that they was gonna play the Miami Heat. I had no idea the Heat was gonna be this atrocious. But however, I took one loss. I will say they won't win in the second round.
Is
Now-
it? Let me ask you this question, Jordan. Was Miami just
They're
that
not
bad?
beating
or-
the Bucks. Interesting.
Well,
They not beating the Pacers.
so to answer
And I don't
this
even like the
question
Pacers.
to you, Jordan, was Miami just that bad, or was Cleveland really this good?
No, Miami was that bad. There's no way you get beat by 50. No, they didn't even get beat by 50. What did they get beat by last night?
55,
By?
I think.
55.
Yeah,
they lost by 55
bro.
last
Like, no way you get beat by 55,
and then 37.
35, 30, yeah,
Mhm.
37. And then the game before that, it was kind of close, but not really. And it's like,
I think game one they lost by 30, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah,
It got-
so
It got
trash.
so bad. It got so bad, Jordan. We was out having dinner. I'm like trying to watch the game. They turned the game off, bro. Wouldn't even let me watch the game.
Exactly. that's what I'm
The
saying.
Heat in this series,
Like, no
the Cavs in this series had a 33 net rating.
Like it's ridiculous.
What's
Bro.
that mean?
Yeah,
Like,
they
what?
were.
So the team
insane.
just wasn't that. It
How
was just
per
really
100
shitty.
possessions, they were outscoring the Heat by 33 points.
Man, bro, they should have just let the Hawks play them. The Hawks would have did a better job, bro. Like that's why I don't like their playing.
That
shit,
might be
because
the
that's
largest.
exactly
That
why.
might be the biggest like net rating in NBA history.
You know what, Jordan? I actually don't think none of those lower seed teams for real were gonna give like if Cleveland was gonna
They
play
weren't
like
gonna get beat
this.
that bad though.
Nah, well, yeah, it wouldn't have been 55. It may have been 25. But like Cleveland, the way they playing, the way they flowing right now, that's a really good team, man.
I mean,
that's a really good team.
Like a varsity team playing a goddamn freshman team, of course. Everybody flowing.
I know, but they've been elite all year. That's what I'm saying. Like
Jordan,
none of them bottom
this
feeder
is a
teams.
real good varsity team.
Yeah,
go
that's
ahead,
what
real
I'm
talk. Go
saying,
ahead. But
yeah, but that's what I'm
He
saying.
ain't no real good varsity team. That's a district beatdown. That's what that is. I lose all of my games outside of district, but we got our district stretch coming up. I know I'm gonna win 6 games here. That's what they did. They beat the shit out the Heat. Wasn't even close.
But
like-
Cleveland really good though. Like they're an elite.
I think that I think they good.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna take nothing away from them. They did what they supposed to. When you
And
play a
if
bad
Hunter
team,
gonna play
you beat the
like
shit out of
that,
them. Because
I
had they
mean-
won by a little bit, then I would have been saying they only won by a little bit against this trash ass team like the Warriors.
Yeah.
But yeah, I stuck that in and that. But what I'm saying is Cleveland took care of business like they were supposed to. 100%. I gotta tip my hat off to them. They definitely beat when you play a bad team, you beat the shit out of them. You don't let them hang around for long.
yeah,
So they did their thing. But
and
I just
shout out
wanted
the
to see more competition.
Yeah, and shout out the Cavs. This is their 11th sweep in franchise history. And it's their first without LeBron. So shout out to the Cleveland Cavaliers. They are, I would like to say, officially over that.
Donovan Mitchell win a chip this year with the Cavs. He the greatest Cav of all time.
Hell no.
Let's talk,
Hell
Mars.
no.
I don't know because I heard Donovan Mitchell isn't the most important person on offense.
I heard.
They won them 2 games without Darius Garland, man. Put like 100.
They could have won that shit without Donovan Mitchell.
knows?
Shit.
Yeah, but I ain't
Who
seen
knows?
it. I ain't seen it.
Man, listen. I heard Donovan Mitchell and Anthony Edwards in the same category. I just want to let y'all know y'all goddamn mind. But I said it then. I'm gonna say it now. Yeah, I heard that too. But I know y'all lying like a mother. I said it then. I'm gonna say it now. It's not close. But you're gonna argue that it's close. But
last year, Donovan Mitchell was
they win
better
the chip
than him.
this year. They win the chip.
I mean,
He was better than Steph Curry
it's cool,
too.
though.
But you know,
I don't know why we got to like last year. Okay, last year.
Yesterday, I agree. Everything Ox said about Anthony being better than all them guys, I agree with Ox. You got to go 2-way, and if we go 2-way and the offensive thing is the same, shit, I got.
There's a noticeable portion of people who think Donovan Mitchell is better on defense than Anders.
Are they crazy? Are they blind?
I don't think the gap is as far as you think it is.
Okay, even if you say that, but I know Donovan Mitchell ain't better than Anthony Edwards on defense.
I think that I've already made my case for Donovan Mitchell. I see what I see with Donovan Mitchell, and the more I watch him, and the more I watch this Cavs team this year, I mean, they serious. They 100% serious up there. They not bullshit. So
yeah,
I still stand on it, Ron. Yeah, I think he's the best 2 guard in the game. So. And I'm standing.
Chill. I've been with you on that for like a couple years now, but like I do think Ant probably has taken a slight lead right now. But I do still think they're in the same tier.
The gap is widening, but
the gap is widening. I'm with you, Mars.
The gap is widening for Anthony Edwards for sure.
The gap is widening.
The thing about it, though, real talk, before it was
the league is crazy, chill.
But Jordan, before it was Ant, it was D-Book.
D-Book, yeah.
But I had D-Mitch better than D-Book.
Yeah, me personally, I thought D-Book was better, but I'm off the D-Book's the best 2 guard in the league.
It ain't D-Book no more. Like Donovan Mitchell,
I said it like my 4th episode on Players Choice.
Nah,
D-Book's still right there. Now you guys can say he had an off year.
He got to bounce back next year, Ron.
Yeah, he got to bounce back next year.
I don't think his individual year was that bad. Now it might not have been as
good.
He's
got to bounce back. He might be first team all pro this year. He got to bounce back. I'm talking about D-Book. D-Mitch making first team all NBA is
is larceny. It would be
A lot
crazy.
of that has to do with his
getting
team
Tatum
success.
first team.
D-Book does have
Let
to
him-
bounce
let
back.
him-
though.
let
A
him-
lot of that has to do with his team success,
You're
but
all right.
the thing about D-Book is I don't think he was that bad this year. I think the Suns were just atrocious, and they didn't meet the expectations that we wanted them to meet. So a lot of people didn't pay attention to D-Book. D-Book still had a damn good year.
Yeah, that's fair.
And on top of that,
He did.
if D-Book was on the Cleveland Cavaliers, it'd be a completely different conversation. Completely different.
I don't know.
D-Book
They
just
play a little
said he
different.
couldn't
Play a
hit
little
threes
different.
this year. D-Book couldn't
They-
hit threes, but he could still shoot the midi and all. Like if you go look at his,
Yeah, but that's because they got him the threes.
That's
That,
'cause
like,
that's 'cause their offense is
Devin
shitty.
Booker's a player who, like, in my opinion, I don't know Devin Booker personally. He got to get to like that 15-foot range, see a couple go in before you get him out there shooting threes.
yeah.
Devin Booker's first shot of the game should never be a three. That's my opinion. His first shot of the game should.
You gotta
never
give him
be
some post ups too. Give D-Book
like
some
you
post ups.
he's got to get comfortable getting his rhythm before.
Hey,
They're
but that's
different
not winging this
players, though, Rob.
conversation
Like,
away from what's happening.
D-Book and D-Mitch, they're different players. Even if I thought D-Book was better than D-Mitch, which I did, they're just two different styles. So I just can't say you can. I think D-Book is one of those players you can plug into most teams and he can find some success as long as he has a good team around him, just because his style of play. But I think for this team, the Cavaliers, I would rather have Donovan Mitchell than Devin
I
Booker.
don't know.
You know a
think
team that could
D-Book
really
actually
use Devin
plays
Booker?
a little better.
Houston.
The Raptors.
I think he actually plays a
Houston.
little better next to Darius
Oh
Garland.
yeah.
than,
I agree.
than Donovan
We
Mitchell
would be.
You know what? That
Based
is
on
true,
what,
Ron,
Ron?
because
sorry,
D-Book, like he probably is just a better two guard than Donovan Mitchell. What I mean by that is like D Mitch is able to. I think what separates D Mitch and I thought against D-Book and until we got to this year was like his passing and playmaking on the ball is better than the other two. But if he is playing with like Darius Garland, somebody who's like a real ball handler, like point guard archetype, I do think that lets D-Book just kind of focus on scoring, not having to like try to make plays for others. And I think that is kind of his bag. Like he's
so real talk. So to counter that, so what happens when that bucket isn't going in? What happens when he's not scoring? How else is he affecting the game? As opposed to Donovan Mitchell,
defender.
as opposed to
this year he was terrible, but that's
as opposed to Donovan Mitchell, I'm just talking about offense alone. I'm not talking about on the defensive end because I do think that I do think that Donovan Mitchell on the defensive end is really good. But on the offensive end, what happens to your point, real talk, when that jump shot is not going in, when he doesn't have it going off offensively as a scorer? How else is he affecting the game as opposed to Donovan Mitchell?
D-Book is
I
probably a
don't
better
think that- I mean-
playmaker than Donovan Mitchell. Hold on.
Huh?
D-Book is probably a better playmaker than Donovan Mitchell.
Don't say probably, because first of all, you're looking at me like, how can you say that? And then you say probably.
What?
So that doesn't work.
Why
That
don't
logic
y'all
doesn't
think
work.
so? Like D-Book is a really good
D-Book
playmaker.
doesn't even get in the paint enough to.
But, hold on. Why do y'all think D-Book is
I
not
think
a-
Devin Booker's playmaking gets understated. I'll say that.
No,
No,
he
he
can't
doesn't.
pass.
He's
He
a
can pass
really
and
good
play.
playmaker.
I'm not saying
100% that
like
he can
he's
pass.
not good
Yes.
at it.
I'm not gonna argue
But
that.
he's not Donovan Mitchell.
I don't think he is neither. No.
Why
he is not. No. He's not reading.
He's not
defense.
getting downhill enough and collapsing defense.
And not only that, and
Like-
when we get in transition, he's looking to score. He's looking to just he's looking to be. I think he's more of a bucket getter in terms of a mentality than Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell is a bucket getter who also is looking for other people at the same time and knows who to find, when to find them. I think Devin Booker, he gets tunnel vision on being a bucket getter. And
I
when
don't know
that
how you
bucket
can say that. The man averaged 25 and 7.
Devin's a better passer.
Like he's a better. I don't know why.
He was
I don't know
playing
where
point
y'all
guard
get
for
this
a
from about
Better
D-Book
passer than
playmaking.
Donovan Mitchell.
Why
he's good?
Yes, he is.
No,
Yes,
he
he
is
Why
not.
not?
Yes, he is.
No. Are y'all seeing
He's
some of
been
the
a
passes that
consistent
Donovan
passer.
Mitchell makes?
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly
Or
what
do
I'm
y'all
saying.
see some of the
All
passes
right.
that
Yeah,
Donovan
Like
Mitchell
for
makes?
example, I see
Mitchell gets hyped
Donovan Mitchell
as a
coming. I see
passer.
Y'all
Donovan
want to see the
Mitchell come down in
flashy
transition.
passes? Y'all want
Right.
to?
That's
No,
why
we
he's
don't.
hyped
No,
as
no,
a
no,
passer.
no.
Because
Donovan
Mitchell makes flashy
Donovan Mitchell is
passes
not
from time
that.
to time.
Donovan Mitchell will come down in transition and he will time it and wait when he's got a trailer coming, knowing exactly when to hit him. And instead of going
So
to the
D-Book
basket,
don't never do that.
I didn't say D-Book doesn't. Just because a guy can score, that doesn't mean I can't score better than you. Just because a guy can pass doesn't mean that I can't pass
Yeah, but
better
he's-
than you.
he
And
scores
that's the
more
same
than
logic
him,
with
and
that.
he's-
That's
and
the
he
same
passes
logic.
better than him.
Well, he scores more than him this season. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not buying that.
So
I'm just
how
not.
is how is Devin Booker getting his 7.5 assists a game? How was he doing?
I'm not talking about assist numbers. We talking about the
Let's-
skill
well,
of
well,
passing. Donovan Mitchell
I
delivers
want to talk about
way
what Jordan
more-
talked about. I do
better
want to talk.
passes
I
than
do
Devin
want to
Booker.
talk about. I do want to talk
And
about
makes
what
way
Jordan
more
just said.
advanced reads than Devin Booker.
I don't
as
know
well.
how y'all getting this. Where are y'all getting this from when Devin Booker has consistently been good at playmaking for his team. Consistently.
And so is
Again,
Donovan
but
Mitchell.
why do you, Jordan, you do
But
this
he's
thing
been
to where,
consistently
like,
better at it than
but
Donovan
Jordan,
Mitchell.
you do this thing where
Okay,
like we're
there's a
saying
difference
one
between
is
being
better,
consistently
and
good
then
and
you're
being
like,
better.
why are you acting like the other one's not good? I didn't say Devin Booker's not good.
Right.
I'm saying
No,
Donovan is better.
Right, and I'm trying to
That's
say,
it.
how can you say that? That's what I'm asking. Like, how can
And
you say that?
I just gave
Based
you
on
I
what?
just gave you the logic on why, how he finds guys in transition, how he finds guys in the half court, how he find guys in transition, how he find guys in the half court, how he sets guys
So
up
how is
when he's getting.
how is D-Book finding guys?
Oh, okay, that's something for you to answer because you just asked me about Donovan Mitchell. Go.
I would say the same way. Like, what are we talking about? The
Well,
same
neither of
way.
you have actually said the way. You just said the way he finds them. How is he finding?
No, I'm
Neither
saying
of
he
you
can
have
find
said
them in
it.
transition.
No,
I haven't.
Is a
because
Oh,
mid-transition.
you said the way he
clear.
finds people in the
I
pick
have
and roll.
said, I have
Okay,
said,
so
it.
Hold on, how is it
No,
that
so let me.
I'm saying off of chill.
Hold on.
If I've
So
never
Mars,
watched either one of these
okay.
players, none of you have told me
Okay,
anything.
of course. Okay, so
I
all right,
agree,
Mars,
but I'm
let me-
saying
okay.
he
So let
can
me get
say
to the
it
bottom of
like-
that. So Donovan Mitchell, when he gets the ball on the right wing, how he gets into the teeth of the defense and he finds a guy who's shifting over like what's the Wade, like when Wade shifts over, how he finds him in the corner when we're in transition and he's coming down with his weak hand, which a lot of guys aren't very good with their weak hand and be able to pass in transition. When a guy who gets to the corner like Dean Wade gets to the corner, or like Ty Jerome gets to the corner, or like Sam Morrell gets to the corner and fires it to him with his weak hand once he gets in position to score, that's IQ. And that's what Donovan Mitchell does. Also, when Donovan Mitchell is standing on the wing, and instead of him knocking down a shot, which he just hit, I got this guy, Ty Jerome, or I'm thinking Sam Morrell. I'm thinking he's wide open, and I got to get him open, and he's got the hockey assist going on. Whereas Devin Booker, he'll actually take the basketball and go shoot instead of getting this guy involved in the game. That's playmaking.
That's cap, chill. That's cap. Chill, that's cap. Devin Booker off a pick and roll a lot of times. Probably a better pick and roll passer than Donovan Mitchell.
Probably.
A lot of times him getting in the lane, and seeing two and hitting in the skip does that a lot. Devin Booker does the exact same thing that you saying that Donovan Mitchell does. You just better. Like the Cavs, but no, he does not. Nothing that you are saying we can document that he does it better.
And nothing that you're saying proves me otherwise. Nothing. Because I said so is not an answer.
The numbers show you why. The numbers
averages more assists.
Yeah, bro. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Real talk.
So that's nothing to do with it then. So nothing to do with it then.
No, I ain't saying that. No, I'm not saying that, Jordan.
Because
I'm not saying that, Jordan, because I can get with that. I can 100% get with that. Yes, I can. I can 100% get with that. He does average more assists than him. So what you're going to have to do with me in the future, is you're going to have to make sure that you keep the same energy when a guy is averaging more points than another guy, that he's better at scoring. When a guy is averaging more rebounds, he's a better rebounder. When a guy is averaging more assists,
if I'm consistently doing it more than you, then yes. If I'm consistently doing it more than you.
That's how the cookie. No. Wait, hold on, Joe. That's how the cookie crumbled for your team, because y'all didn't have a point guard. And so now Devin Booker is forced to do that. That's what happened with the Suns. The Suns had Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and especially before this year with Tyus Jones, before they tried to turn him into a point guard. So Devin Booker was tasked to doing that. And I'm not saying he didn't do it well. He did a fine job at trying to handle a lot of those point guard responsibilities. But at the same token, when I've seen Donovan Mitchell have to do it with no Darius Garland, he definitely does that. And again,
what about when D-Book had to deal with Chris Paul? What about that?
When he did it with Chris Paul?
What about it?
Yeah. What about when
he had some PG responsibilities when Chris Paul would go to the bench, but the point guard of that team for the most part was definitely Chris Paul.
Okay, Darius Garland is the same thing.
I know, but so I'm finna say it. When I watch those two players play, when Donovan Mitchell, number one, I just think that as far as the playmaking, Donovan Mitchell to me is a more consistent driver of the ball. Like, he gets into the paint and he heads towards the basket more than Devin Booker. And to me, that's collapsing defenses to another extent than Devin Booker does, because he just pulls up and shoots. because he's a good mid-range shooter. So
Does
shout out
He
to him.
pulls up
You-
and
would it
shoot, but he
surprise
also
you that
averaged
Devin
more
Booker
assists
gets
than him.
to the
He
line?
averaged more assists because his usage rate is higher than D Mitch.
He's
Yeah, but
averaged more
his
assists than
usage
him a
and
lot of
assists
times
don't-
in his career.
But I'm saying he's handling the ball because yes, D Mitch does have Darius Garland. They tried to make
but when he
Devin Booker.
didn't, he
They
still
tried
did.
to make Devin Booker the point guard last year, and some of this year. They did
Okay,
do that.
but
They
what-
put the ball in
okay.
D-Book hands.
Okay, this not the first time Devin Booker averaged 7 assists, by the way, right? You can go back to 2018, 2019. He did 6.8. So what was the excuse then?
Who
What
was on the
excuse
team?
are
Who
we
was
talking
over
about?
there?
There's no excuses. We're not
Who was
excusing
over
it.
there?
And nobody talked about.
I
And
can tell
nobody
you.
talked
That's when
about
he was
Devin
22 years
Booker.
old.
And nobody talked about Devin Booker as not a good passer. Nobody's saying that. But if that's the crux of your argument, if that's your stance, then you're going to have to stand on that with other things. If I'm
Especially
producing
because of
more
assists.
assists. if
Yeah,
I'm producing-
so
if I'm-
Russell Westbrook a better passer.
Devin
than
Booker
LeBron?
and Donovan Mitchell had the exact same time of possession.
Okay. Russell Westbrook and LeBron are Russell Westbrook's a better passer than LeBron.
No, we're not going to overlook that.
No,
Mark.
because
We're not
I'm trying to attack this assist per game argument. So
Yeah,
Russell
but
No,
Devin
but
Booker
they
has the
no,
ball
but they
in.
also
So cool.
no, but they also play
I'm
different
arguing
positions.
with
Like they
George
also
first,
play a
then
little
I'm
bit
gonna handle
different.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
And on
is
top
Russell
of that-
Westbrook a better passer than LeBron because he averaged more assists?
Okay, he's not. It's not that he's a better
Anybody?
passer, but the fact that Russell
Right.
Westbrook is playing Russell Westbrook, they pretty much play different positions. Yes, LeBron is a point forward, but their jobs are a little bit different. So Russell Westbrook can average a lot more assists. He's a hell of a passer, though. Like as far as you want to say, like skill and can
Jordan,
he
to
skip it
Mars's
with his left
point,
hand or
they
right
both
hand?
had the ball
That's a
the
different
same
thing,
amount
but-
of time, and they both played a 2 guard. Both of them do.
Yeah, and Devin Booker has more.
Right. So I'm trying to make sense. I'm trying to make sense of what your argument is when both Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell both had the ball at the same time.
Yeah,
With them both having the ball at the same time, they both do similar things. Just like
But Devin Booker does it
just like Russell Westbrook and LeBron James both had the ball a lot, and they both did similar things.
I don't know if they had the ball. I mean, possibly. I don't know if they had the ball the same amount of time. Russell Westbrook used to have the ball a lot because he was their
And
only
so did
pretty
James.
much.
James has the
Yeah,
ball a
but
lot.
not. But I don't know if
on his
like
team.
Russell Westbrook.
In
Russell
fact, that's one of the
Westbrook, when he
biggest.
was with the
That's one of the
Thunder.
biggest problems that people have with James. Can James play off the ball? That's one of the biggest problems that they have with James. Can he play off the ball? Can Russell Westbrook play off the ball? So they both dominate the basketball. But the fact that Russell Westbrook distributes the ball and accumulates more assists, does that make him a better passer than LeBron James? Because that's what you're trying to sell us with Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell.
No, I'm not trying to sell you that. I'm just trying to
That's
sell
exactly
you that.
what you're doing.
No, I'm
Your-
not. I'm
the-
trying
the-
to tell you
the
that they
stand- the
both doing
stance
the
on your
exact same thing. They
argument
playing two different players they play two different positions. These guys play the same thing, and Devin Booker is doing it better. I don't know why and he has been like I don't know where y'all getting this from that Donovan Mitchell was an amazing passer.
I didn't
And
say
Devin
that.
Booker Devin Booker is an okay passer. He's a good passer, but Donovan Mitchell amazing at it.
just think
But
he's better.
everything about Devin Booker has been better. That says he's a better passer. Everything about it. I don't know what we
Jordan,
Jordan,
wouldn't you agree that Devin Booker's a trash player?
No, I don't agree. A trash player. Hell no.
You don't
I
think
like
so?
D-Book.
He missed the playoffs, bro.
Oh my God, he's
I mean, I don't think he's a trash player.
Okay.
I don't think he's
Devin,
a trash. I didn't say. First of all, Penn, I did not say Scotty Barnes was trash. I said the Raptors were trash.
Okay, I don't
The
care.
Raptors,
My
not
point is,
Scotty
look,
Barnes.
There has to be more nuanced discussion when we're talking about who's a better passer. There has to be an account for turnovers. There has to be an account for advanced generating passing. Like there's a lot of people who just get passes by virtue of having the ball a lot, grenades, etc. So I'm looking at how efficient are the shots that you're creating for your other players. I think maybe Chill. Would you agree that you watched more Cleveland this year than Phoenix?
Yes, I did, sir.
Okay, so I think that's kind of the point here. I think you got to watch Devin Booker a little bit more. I think he's come a really long way as a passer, and I think honestly, I've always said that Donovan Mitchell was better. It's pissed off Devin Booker fans. Even when Devin Booker was making it to the finals, I said Donovan Mitchell is better. I've never budged off that stance.
Sure.
But I do think Devin's a better passer.
I
Miles,
just gonna be my last
not
one.
significantly, very small.
Sure.
It's like this much, gap.
I just gonna be my last point about this, and then Chill, you can make your point.
Yo, we gonna move on after this. So go ahead, bro.
Okay, baby. I just think when I've watched, because I do watch a lot of these two players, And I know that statistically it's going to favor Devin Booker. But when I watch Donovan Mitchell, I'm seeing a player that, again, is number one, collapsing defenses more than Devin Booker. I think he's also a better lob passer than Devin Booker. I think he makes that skip pass a lot more and better than
he has more of a lob threat.
Who's a better transition passer?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't throw a lob to Yusuf Nurkic either.
Right,
Yeah.
I'm saying he has a better lob threat.
I understand. I
Who's a
understand
better
that, but I'm
transition
just
passer?
that's something I'm seeing Donovan be able to do. To me, transition passer still probably demon. And then on top of that, I watch Donovan Mitchell and I know I'm seeing him make passes I know Devin Booker can make.
Who do you think's more accurate?
Donovan Mitchell.
Oh, I disagree. Yeah, I disagree.
I think Donovan. When there was a pass when it was one of the last games and
I seen Donovan.
I think it was in Utah. It was in Utah.
Oklahoma.
It was in Utah.
Brother.
Donovan Mitchell makes a pass from like he's deep in the right wing, damn near to the like half court line. He makes a pass, a skip pass all the way to the far left corner to the weak side. I know Devin Booker can't make that pass. If y'all go look up that pass right now, he just makes more high leverage passes than Devin Booker that I've seen. I just know what.
I think D Mitchell's the more versatile. I think he's more versatile as a passer, playmaker, whatever you want to call it. I think Devin Booker's more accurate. Like that's what I think. Devin Booker's a more accurate passer than Donovan Mitchell. I don't know if there's
both valuable.
But Donovan Mitchell throws the ball away more than Devin Booker. That's what I think he does. Maybe the numbers don't back that up. Maybe my eyes are lying.
High leverage passes than Devin Booker.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's possible.
But at the end of the day,
I also think that throwing the ball out of bounds is just bad, no matter whether you're making a high leverage pass or not. But yeah, I think Devin Booker's more accurate. I think Donovan Mitchell's more versatile as a passer, playmaker. I think Devin Booker's probably better just playmaking out of pick and roll. Like he's got the reads out of pick and roll down pat. But I do think Donovan Mitchell is a driver, all the things that Real Talk alluded to. He's better at that. I would probably I'd probably favor Devin Booker can see over defenses in a way Donovan Mitchell can't. I'd probably pass out the post. I think I'd probably favor Donovan Mitchell, but I don't think it's far either way personally. I don't think it's so substantial.
I think you put a couple guys around like having a lob threat, having D-Book with a lob threat, you would see probably better passing from D-Book too.
And he's always had a lob threat though. Donovan Mitchell, keep in mind. Yeah. And I know you guys are gonna hate me saying Rudy Gobert, but
he didn't pass to Rudy. That was the big thing.
It was still a lob threat though. He still always had a lob threat. And then even with the Jazz, he had shooters around him and he had competent players. And then now you fast forward to the Cavs, you got two lob threats and you got a plethora of shooters around you. So like it's easier for him to make.
Yeah, Donovan's in a better environment.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it's easier to pass when you're in a better environment.
But for sure. Devin Booker somehow still in that environment, still coming out. You know what I'm saying? You know.
Yeah. But all right, y'all. I want to
hopefully get better for D-Book.
I want to bring it back to the Cavaliers because obviously there were two sweeps in the first round so far. We had the Cleveland Cavaliers mop the floor with the Heat, and then we had the Oklahoma City send Ja Morant and them to whatever beach they're going to be at. But now I got to ask you guys, who was more impressive in round one? Who did you? And not necessarily just based on how they beat their teams or who they beat or the quality of opponent, but who showed you more in their round one? Now, obviously, these are the 4 games with the Thunder, and these are the 4 games with the Heat. Well, the Cavs beating the Heat. So talk to me, fellas. Who do you think was more impressive?
It clearly was Donovan Mitchell. It wasn't even really close.
I've barely watched this Cavs series, so I couldn't tell you why they were more impressive. But from my limited scope, I think the Thunder had to overcome more in their round one in terms of they blew a team out in game 1, then they were blowing them out in game 2, and then the Grizzlies formed a fake comeback, so the Thunder had to hold on. Then game 3, they were obviously down 29 now. I understand the circumstances. By the end of the day, you are still building experience, having to come back from down 29 in a playoff game. The Cavs never had to deal with that level of adversity. So I think overcoming that was impressive. And then the final game, the closeout game, it's impressive that you beat a team by 55. But I also think the Thunder having to close that one out down the stretch in the clutch, Shea finally decided to show up to the party. That was impressive. And then you also got the added factor of the Thunder were able to dominate, in my opinion, a better Grizzlies team than the Heat.
Way better.
With Shea having a objectively bad series. That's also impressive. Guys that people question, J-Dub, Chet, how would they look offensively? Both looked really, really good offensively. So that's impressive. But I'm also saying this.
You said the Grizzlies are better, Mars?
Yeah.
Didn't he, Mars?
Yeah, I said that.
Okay.
But I'm also saying this with the caveat of this Cavs series. The Cavs dominated this series so badly, I barely watched the series. So that's the level of impressiveness too. Like I barely watched the series because of how dominant the Cavs were.
But, and it was
they won 2 games without Garland, which is very impressive. Dominated those games too.
And it did look like that. It was going to be like that with both Memphis and Oklahoma City at first. It looked like that was the kind of series that we were looking at. But then, I mean, Memphis was able, to conjure up some plays to build a 30-point. I mean, I think in that game 3, I think they were on pace to making 33s that game, the way that they were shooting. But with that being said, I'm not going to discredit a team for handling business against an inferior team. That's how you deal with an inferior team. You don't let them back in the game. You don't let them in the series. You leave the series with no doubt that we are clearly and utterly better than you, and we are going to destroy you. Now, you can overcome things, but you have to handle the people that you're supposed to handle when you're supposed to handle them. And this Miami Heat team going up against this Cleveland Cavaliers team, they are superior to them. That Oklahoma City team, even though Memphis is better than Miami, I think Oklahoma City is superior to them. Mars, this is the same team. I don't think they've beaten Oklahoma City in 3 years. In 3 years, they haven't beaten them, and they've beaten them by an average margin of 18 a game. I think that's the first. I think this year they've beaten them once in 3 years. This Miami Heat team. This Miami Heat team, this Cavs team is trying to contend for an NBA championship. And what we can't do is we can't hang around with a number 8 or number 8 or 9 seed and give them the idea that they can be in the series with us. So the guy who's been the most impressive, Ron, in my estimation, has been Donovan Mitchell in everything that he's done, not just being a bucket getter, but also not just being a bucket getter, but the playmaker that he was and how he's just been woven into everything that they've been doing. And I think he's been great.
Memphis was 4 games away from being 2nd seed. 4 games. That's the gap between 8 and 2 in the West. The Miami Heat were 24 games away from being the 2nd seed. They're a 37-win team. There's a reason you didn't want to watch that series because it was
right.
I don't think the Heat should have been in the playoffs. This is a team that imploded 2 months ago. Like after that Jimmy Butler trade, I think they lost 9 straight at one point. 10 straight. I thought they were tanking.
Yes, sir.
They kept blowing the second half every single game. I was like, oh, I get it. I guess they're tanking. I didn't think a Pat Riley team was capable of tanking. And then in the end, I guess they showed that they're not capable of tanking. I don't know. Is there a team in that play-in picture that would have done better against the Cavs?
No.
It's hard to say. Maybe the Bulls.
Orlando
probably.
Orlando.
Sure.
They wouldn't have scored enough points.
They're about to get swept.
Yeah,
too.
they're about to.
They won a game.
They probably win tonight. They probably win
shit.
Oh yeah, they did.
Gentlemen,
y'all gotta put some respect on Paulo.
And
Ron,
France closed that game.
No, we're not.
they won fully
For what,
equipped,
Chill?
too, by the way.
Hey, Paulo
probably
been getting.
win tonight.
Hey, Paulo
Probably
gave your
win
man the
tonight.
business every single game of this series.
What happened?
Last game was a little inefficient, but he didn't give your man the business every
What
single
happened?
game
Paulo
of this
been
series.
hooping. Paulo been
What
hooping.
happened? And I'm not going to argue that point. But what
So
happened?
we gonna put
in
some
game,
respect on him.
what happened in
Facts.
game 3? What happened in game 3 did not happen in game 4. And what happened in game 3 was they came out and they punched Boston in the face. Boston was not prepared for that fight. They punched them right in the face. The physicality was something that Boston was not prepared for, which is blowing my mind because it's the playoffs, but they weren't. But then we get to game 4, and now they push back. And guess what happens when you push? Guess what happens when you get in the bully face? The bully now has to fight you. He ain't prepared to do that, Ron, which is what the Orlando Magic were not prepared to do. And once they found out that they had to fight, our offense is better than yours. Our defense is just as good as yours. Our personnel is better than yours. Our rebounding is better than yours. Everything we do is better than what you do. And once we start playing basketball, you saw it. This series should have been over, man.
What's that got to do with giving Paolo credit?
And Drew Holiday not
Orlando
playing.
probably win tonight.
Game
Orlando
4 with
probably win
Gametime.
tonight.
I'll give Paolo credit.
Jalen Suggs not playing.
100%. I'll
Go
give
back,
him
you're
credit.
not playing.
Absolutely. I'll give him credit. 100%.
Okay.
Paolo.
Well, those guys
You know how I
haven't
feel about
been playing.
Paolo? You know how I feel. I think Paolo was awesome.
Chill. You don't think they win tonight?
Do I think who wins tonight?
You don't think the Magic gonna win tonight?
The game's in Boston, right?
Yes, it's in Boston. It's game 5 in Boston.
Yeah,
I think the
nah.
series is over. I don't think.
I mean, they've won a lot of games in Boston.
Yeah.
Over the
Yeah,
last couple of years.
they should be not be grateful they won a game, but like the road ends here.
Yeah.
Road ends here.
I
Mark,
mean, don't
Mark,
forget
it's
this
been a-
entire
it's been a-
Orlando
I'm
Renaissance
gonna FaceTime
started
you
against
tonight
Boston.
when the Magic win. So you can.
If you remember,
I ain't gonna
a couple,
argue, but I mean,
like I think it was like 2-3 years ago, this Orlando Magic team like shocked the world by going into Boston 2 times on a back-to-back and beat them, right?
Yeah,
So
Jonathan
I mean, there's some familiarity there.
That's a fact, Pin. I do remember that. That's a fact.
Hey, and we also need to give credit too. I want to backtrack a little bit too, but we also need to come up with one thing, Mar. So we need to have hope. The Warriors got a history of losing a 3-1 lead. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm telling you, Rockets is 7, but apparently
LeBron James.
Hey man. Hey, I'm gonna tell you
You
something
ain't
that I
seen
took
a
with
Man
me.
Thompson, the best athlete since LeBron.
I'm gonna tell you something that I took with me my whole life. My dad told me this. My dad tell me this. He say this a lot in boxing. He say, one thing about a loser, they know how to lose.
They know how to lose.
The Warriors ain't losers though.
Hey,
Jordan,
so the
come
3-1
on.
leads, dog. Hey, the boys know how to lose a 3-1 lead. That's what my dad always say. He say when you start punching on the loser, they start remembering. When you start a person in boxing that they got knocked out before, when you start hitting them hard, you know what they start remember? Oh shit, I done got knocked out before. I better stop playing. Hey, one thing about a loser, they know how to lose. So hey, here we go.
Bro. Yeah, but the Warriors don't finish that category though. Like this series was more likely to be a 4-0 sweep than a game 7.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah, well, you know, Jalen Green got us that one game.
Oh
And
man,
that's
now
all
I gotta
earlier,
listen
Man,
to
them
that.
young boys
crazy
is not
for that.
coming.
Like
I
y'all
gotta
not
listen to that and then
y'all
Neutered and
crazy.
spaded.
Y'all crazy for that because I was earlier. Y'all hating on, well, not hating, whatever. Y'all tripping on Jalen Green, and
He's the only reason we won the game. Yeah,
he the one that made this respectable, somewhat respectable for y'all. And y'all treating Jalen like this.
He got one more in him too, Ox.
No, he really like now that the
He-
series is practically over.
Yes.
He got
Don't be
40 ball
surprised if
coming.
game 5 Jalen Green have like 32. Like
If
really, don't be
Jalen,
surprised.
so if Jalen
and
gets
you
on
know
2
what's going to
games,
be? Oh my goodness. Here we go.
if he
Chill,
gets
it's gonna
on
be
2
you
games,
up here
y'all put
saying
some
told you
respect on him.
so.
That's,
Jordan,
You
Jordan, I'm
guys
gonna
go with
wanna
this
hear it,
shit,
but we
yo.
gonna do it.
I'm gonna ask
if
you,
we
Jordan.
win the
If
next
he
game.
get y'all 2, if he get y'all
Here
2
we go
games,
with
you
this
gonna put
shit.
some respect on him?
No,
I got
he's
respect
not.
on him. I
He's
got
not.
respect on him. I
No,
think
you
he's a
don't.
6-man
You
at
do
best.
not, Jordan.
Like
No,
J.R.
you
Smith
don't.
can do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
real talk. I'm
Hey.
gonna ask you. If
You
he
get
can give y'all 2 games, you gonna put some respect on Jalen?
No, because he's also the reason why we lost 2 or 3. What the hell, bro?
He's the reason.
If he didn't score 7, we might have won.
I think he's the
other
reason we lost game 1 last night. Game 3. I don't think he's the reason we lost. Game 1, absolutely. Game 4, yeah, he's probably the reason we've lost 2 games. The biggest reason
He got us the 1, that's for sure. But if he could score, like for Jalen Green, because that's why we can't always. Jalen Green is a perfect example of why we can't just look at averages, because some people play close to their average, and then some people are just
averages over these sample. Like Jalen Green scored 32 in game 5. He's averaging like 19.
7 points and then 38.
Didn't we see that?
Where is the 17, my nigga? You don't have a 17-point performance, but you don't have a 19-point performance.
We just saw that last year.
To be
Right.
Michael Jordan or the worst thing on the court. It's like no in between with him. I
We
don't
just saw that.
understand, bro.
Didn't we just see that last year with Devin Booker up until that game? when he
Yeah,
had
Devin
51?
Booker ended up averaging 27 for the series, and he stunk in
break.
the first 3 games and then had 14
Yeah,
hours.
give me a break.
Like I'm telling you, averages over these small samples mean nothing to me. Like absolutely nothing.
Unless you
I hate when people like player A is averaging 26, 8, and 6 in the playoffs. Like, yeah, he had 18, 17, 24, and then 39. Okay, like that's not averages. Like, I'm sorry, I'm looking at what you're doing on each game. I'm not looking at the averages over 4. Personally.
Just
I don't
give
like
me
I don't like
17
averages at
one
all.
time,
I don't
Jay.
like.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
like the
not
field
a
goal.
big fan
I
of
don't like
averages,
the
but I
field
do
goal
think it
percentage
equalizes
too.
over.
I care about
the
that.
averages.
I care about averages.
I don't
I mean,
care
let's-
about the
Well,
let's
field
not-
goal.
that's what I was trying to tell when Mars tricked the chat and tried to convince him that Luka wasn't a grenade launcher just because of some average. I'm like, bro, this is ridiculous.
I don't think. No,
he been
you
said
are like
that,
Luka's the biggest grenade launcher in the NBA. I definitely don't agree with that.
He top
He's
5
the
though, for
best,
sure though.
He's the best
Top 5,
grenade launcher.
I think
When you're-
I think
when
a
you're the
lot of
best
I think a
player-
lot of ball dominant
When you-
players launch grenades.
Well,
I don't think
chill.
he's
No,
the
I'm
biggest
just
grenade
saying, chill. When you do something egregious, but you're an amazing player, that's automatically puts you in a microscope. Like that makes me pay attention to. So when these dudes that are sorry out here throwing grenade launchers, everybody like, what about this guy? Ox, he throws grenade launchers. The hell with him. I'm not going to be talking about him. Luka Doncic is one of the best players in the NBA, and he's a grenade launcher. I'm talking about him.
I mean, Jokic threw up an airball grenade at the end
to
of the
be
game.
honest with you, there's a guy that a lot of people consider the GOAT. He may be the #1 grenade launcher I've seen in my lifetime.
So
The
Ox,
only
was,
high
Can't
volume
be talking about
playmakers
Michael
who I don't think
Jordan.
really be
In your
launching
estimation,
grenades.
We talking about Michael
Man,
Jordan,
bro.
and that's
was
the GOAT.
was James Harden ever a grenade launcher?
I think you
Hell
want to
yeah.
talk about Bill Russell.
Yeah, he
Sure.
wasn't
My
talking about
thing,
Bill Russell.
Bill Russell.
Yeah.
my thing too
Bill
is just
Russell
like
was
there's
the
other forms of grenade launching. Like the obvious one when you get in this into a tough situation, you throw to somebody with less than
Yeah.
two or 3 seconds on the shot clock, and somebody's actively closing out on them. That's
Sure.
pretty much as bad as it gets, right?
Right.
But you also got dudes that just give the ball to the people in wrong situations, bad places, not knowing the personnel. Like a big man running in fast break, catches the ball and gives right back to the guard, and he's in the paint. Like, why would you do that, bro? Like, when am I going? I'm 6'1". What am I going to do with the ball down here? You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Those are grenades too. You know what I mean? But
So I was noticing something really interesting about Jalen Green's game log. So he has I think 12 games in single digits all year, and he has I want to say about 20 games at 15 points or under.
Mhm.
There's something remarkably consistent about all those games. He shot under 40%. So for the games where he shot under 40%, he's pretty much low scoring. For the games where he's shooting really high percentages, or games where he's got 42, whatever, he's almost always shooting 72%, 55%, 58%. So it seems like a guy who just, very inconsistent, but when he's got it going early, seems to get into a rhythm. But if he misses 2 or 3 early, it seems like this is just going to be a bad night for him.
So wouldn't that,
This is to me, this is a bench
Okay,
player.
sorry.
This is your ideal bench player, like a 6-man type.
Fellas, I don't want to. We've already talked about Jalen Green thoroughly through the show. We talked about him coming off the bench and all of that. What I do want to talk about is the games for tonight. So we have 4 games tonight. We talked about the Celtics a little bit, but I want to get you guys' predictions on who you think is going to win. Obviously, the Celtics are up 3-1 against the Magic. Who do you guys got tonight?
Orlando in 7.
Oh my God.
Ben?
I got Boston.
Chill?
The Celtics ended tonight, Ron. Yes.
Real talk?
Yeah, I got the Celtics for sure.
Ron? You can go, Ox. I'm still thinking. Go ahead.
3-1 back in TD. Is Drew Holiday back?
No.
Do they need him to be?
It would help.
I think they've needed him.
Ox, before you answer that, Ox, I just want you to remember before you answer that question, just so you know, the Celtics are 26-0 when they're leading 3-1. I just want to put that up. Just put that up.
Well, I don't think Orlando.
They never came up against Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner.
They're down 3-1, so I don't think they're
winning a series
at all,
or winning the 5th game. Okay,
winning the series.
Yeah, I'm not talking about them winning the series. They don't have Orlando has no chance to win the series.
Yeah, we just talk about tonight too.
Yeah, they could potentially pull up. I could see Orlando. I could see Orlando winning tonight. I could see that happening. I think Paolo, I think Franz, I think the rest of them dudes. I think they're respected. I think they feel, you know what I'm saying, like they're good enough, even though they can't win the series. We all know that. You know what I'm saying? They've been playing really well this series. I'm happy with what I'm seeing from Franz and Paolo for sure.
Boston better get ready to be 26-1.
I think it's gonna be a dogfight tonight, but we'll just have to see. Jordan, who you got tonight? Orlando and the Celtics. In Boston.
I got Orlando. I got Orlando winning the game.
They smelling themselves.
I mean, them winning on the road. I thought they should have won by a little bit more than they won. The last game they won. I think that kind of gave him a breather, like, hey, we can do this, you know. Now it might run out. I don't know if they win a series. I don't know if this is like a comeback to where they win a series, but because you down 3-0, that shit ain't gonna happen. But
3-1.
well, I'm saying it was down 3-0 for that 1-1. But I feel like, you know, they gave him a little light.
It was 2-1.
Push.
It was 2-1, and then Boston won the last game.
I thought Orlando won the last game.
No, it was 2-0. Then Orlando won, and then Boston won.
Okay. I got it mixed up.
So they're going back. So they're going back to Boston. The series is 3-1. Who do you like?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I got Orlando still. I still think Orlando's gonna win this game. I don't know. I don't think they're gonna win the series, but I just think Orlando gonna force an extra game just to piss them off.
All right. The next series is 3-1 as well. We are back in New York. Who do you got? The Knicks or the Pistons?
Damn, man. Fuck.
It's been a great series.
This series should be 2-2, but
it's been a great series.
You do realize that Josh Hart was fouled. That Josh Hart was fouled by Tobias
on that rebound. Yes,
so
he was.
that corner should have never happened. He was holding him down. Josh Hart is out jumping Tobias Harris every time. So,
man, I'm kind of disappointed in Detroit, but
why? They're a young team. I mean,
I know they're a young team, but also I just fucking hate watching the Knicks play with all this fucking bullshit ass flopping and shit. I just fucking hate watching that ass play. That's part of my thing. I hate watching them play.
Is it them or is it a specific player?
Oh, it's
Jalen Brunson. It's Jalen Brunson. Somebody else. It's Jalen Brunson.
He the only one that do that shit. That shit is so annoying, bro. And it's like his head is so big that he do it, and it's just like it even piss you off even more because it's like, bro, you make it way more noticeable than any player.
Who y'all got tonight though? Game 5.
The Pistons.
So Mars got the Pistons. Penn, who you rocking with?
It's in New York.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Pistons. I don't even believe that, but I'm just gonna go with the Pistons on this one.
I don't feel like New York have a home advantage for some reason. It seems like everybody play good at Madison Square Garden. It's like they don't have a home advantage.
The Lakers and the Knicks, they always, you notice that there's like actual stats to say that teams play their stars way more in LA. Lakers
and New York, everybody have a hell of a game in New York, bro. It's like,
because everyone has that game penciled because it's in a large market. If you show out at Madison Square Garden, you showing out in front of the world.
Yeah, and it's so many.
So
but they've already played two games at Madison Square. I don't think this game 5 in Madison Square means anymore.
I think the
game. Hold on, real quick, Penn. Real quick. I don't think it matters at all. Like the Pistons don't have a chance. It's over tonight.
I think
the Knicks.
Okay, I think the Knicks are the more talented team.
5 at first, but 6, but now 5 for sure.
I think the Knicks are the more talented team. I definitely think that. I think they're the more experienced team, but I think the Pistons are the more together team. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I feel like
it makes sense. But I don't know if
they play more like a unit.
I could get with that.
They might not be as talented. They have better chemistry.
I can get with that.
So I feel like you lose a game like that, like where you feel like you should have gotten it, and that really to me shows that shows your culture. That shows your chemistry. Are you the type of team that's going to be like, okay, well, we got screwed by the referees? In their mind, they feel like they got screwed by the referees on that final shot. Are you going to come out and, hit, or are you going to quit? Right. And I feel like they're going to hit, and I feel they're going to hit hard. And I think that they feel like they should be tied in this series.
They should be.
Yeah. Okay. Chill. Who you got tonight?
I picked the Knicks in 7, and I'm sticking with that.
Well, who you got tonight though?
That means
that means you got Detroit. Okay.
Ron got to stop looking back in the future. That's how his ass ended up in Cancun.
Hey, Jordan.
All he had to say was Detroit.
We're gonna be boxing when I see this dude. I swear. Looking back into the future shit.
I see why Ox asked him that question in the chat, in our private chat. Yeah.
Jordan, who you got tonight?
I got the Pistons. With all that being said, I still got the Pistons, but I wouldn't be fucking surprised if they just took care of business. But I got the Pistons. I feel like they should have won the last damn game.
That's why they're gonna lose. That's why they're gonna lose, Jordan. They're gonna be too worried
if they still worried about it. Yeah, I agree with you.
They still worried about feeling like they got cheated in game 4. They're gonna be too overzealous about that. I really believe the Knicks. I believe the Knicks are gonna beat them good tonight. It's gonna be one of them 12 plus.
You need Tim Hardaway and Mike Beasley.
But do you feel like the refs will give them a bit of an advantage?
No,
tonight?
no,
Hell
I
no,
don't.
not in New York.
I
It's
hope
the
not.
NBA.
And I don't think they should either.
Yeah, I hope not, but you never know what.
We're not doing makeups because this missed call got overblown. Maybe not overblown, but there's so many missed calls in one basketball game that I'm not gonna act like this is the only missed call. I'm pretty sure other jump shooters got fouled on the Pistons and on the Knicks in that game. There were missed travels, there were missed carries, there were missed fouls, missed everything. This one time, because it was at the end of the game, isn't more important than the ones that happened at the end of the first quarter.
It is, but it is though.
But it's not though.
But do y'all remember that play with Dennis Schroeder?
Element of time.
Y'all remember that play with Dennis Schroeder?
But no, every possession is equal. Every possession equals the possession before and the possession after it. The only reason
but there was no possession after. That's the thing. There was no.
But I understand that though, Mars. But you can't make up for what's already happened. All you can do is do the right thing now. So if I missed the layup in that possession, but then I make the layup in this next possession, I didn't make up for the one I missed. I just made one. You know what I'm saying? So none of these possessions are connected in actuality. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this one, it's only a big deal because it was at the end of the game and people saw
there was no possessions to have after that.
Right, but the
Pistons didn't have another chance.
Okay.
Right, but you only get a certain amount of chances.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you only get
the one that gives you the last chance, because there's no possession after that. That's why it gets given more importance. We look at after when there's no possession after.
We cherish it more, but those are just feelings and emotions. I'm talking about things that are real, not feelings and emotions. That doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? We feel that way,
and you lose by 1 point.
But it's no more important than the one that you missed at the end of the third. Because if we go correct that one, then you can win too. If we correct this one, you can win too.
But then you have the element of if they make that right call in the third quarter, momentum changes, the game changes. Maybe the other team doesn't go down and make a layup in the next play that they did in real life because everything changes. There's a butterfly effect.
Those things are real.
The butterfly effect is absolutely real. It's like the Houston Rockets missing all of those free throws. If they make some of those free throws and the missed free throws that the Warriors scored off of, that doesn't automatically mean if they make the free throws, the Warriors still score in the next possession. Maybe they don't score in the next possession. Maybe the whole game is different because of some missed free throws. When the fact of the matter is, the last possession of the game, there is no butterfly effect because there's nothing to happen after it. Nothing else can happen. This is how the game ends. That's what I'm
saying is if you missed or I'm talking about anything that's been missed, anything that could go back and be corrected by refs or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. You can't do that because Mars, to your point, tinkering with things is makes the butterfly effect. That's why you don't do that. You let it be. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what happened already. We can't just go back and change it. You know what I'm saying? If you do that for one, you have to do that for all, and you can't do that.
But can we go back to that play at the end of the third quarter where Dennis Schroeder makes that pass? It's a 2-on-1 break and passes to Tim Hardaway, and the shot clock runs out, and it's just like you just lay that up, and boom, there's 2 points. I think there's certain plays that to me break momentum, crazy break momentum. When you don't score on a 3-on-1 fast break, that just kills momentum. When you make a play like that to end a quarter, like that to me, that's how you break momentum, because now you go into the huddle knowing you left 2 on the board. And it's like when it comes down to a game like towards the end where it's this photo finish, you do look back on that play and say, if Dennis Schroeder just makes that layup, you know what I mean? Yeah, he's the one who got the steal, so I mean, good for him. But
I hate dumbass plays like that. Though,
I'm gonna step in because I got breaking news.
Would never, but you know.
I got breaking news, and then also I do want to talk about the other 2 games as well. So breaking news, my main man Doug Christie.
That's the breaking news.
Just finalized the multi-year coaching contract with the Sacramento Kings. So shout out to Doug Christie and shout out to the King.
Yeah, shout out to him. I don't think that's breaking news when we talking about the Pistons being robbed, but I mean, I guess.
Yeah, well, shout out to the breaking news.
Shout out to Big Ox. Big Ox, you like y'all new coach? Well, y'all new current coach?
Yeah, I like Doug Christie. I don't got no problem with Doug. We'll see what happens.
Y'all need to figure out something what you're gonna do with shit.
Right now,
shop's a bonus. Shop's a bonus.
Right now, we're not worried about nothing. Just enjoying the sunshine. You know what I'm saying? That's
shop's a bonus though.
It's time to enjoy the sunshine right now.
I feel like Sabonis is not a player you want to see the actual value for.
But also, we're not in the
Because
playoffs.
it might not be much, huh, Pen?
You know what I'm
It's not
saying?
going to be much.
I agree with you on that one. But I would.
He's like Kawhi Leonard, had zero value.
No,
Right.
he's not like Kawhi Leonard.
Can we carry on,
Hell
Ron?
no.
We not
Hell
in
no.
the playoffs, brother.
Yeah, well, shout out once again, shout out to Doug Christie and the Kings for making that happen.
Nice.
Moving on to the next series. That is 3-1. We have the Bucks and the Pacers. What is going to happen tonight? Mars,
This shit over with, Mars.
Bucks are winning. Bucks are winning.
Mars, that shit over with.
Pacers.
You down 3-1, you winning in 7. One of these series is gonna go to 7 and they're gonna win. I don't know which one, but one of them at least. Bucks and 7.
All right, Penn got the Pacers. Real talk.
I got I didn't answer the last one either. I got the Pistons win tonight, and tonight I got the Pacers. The Pacers just get to another level of magnet ball. I think it gets ridiculous. Like they just don't miss. They get to a point, they get like these stretches. They just don't miss shots, bro. So I got the Pacers.
All right, Big Ox.
I got the Pacers, Ron. I got the Pacers, and not only do I have the Pacers, but that paperwork going out, Ron. It's unfair. It's so unfair too. It's so unfair. He doesn't deserve it. He's such a good basketball player.
It's all good.
He's such a good basketball player. He's literally the best basketball player in the NBA right now, and that paperwork's still going out.
Hey, Ox.
He getting evicted?
I mean, it's not going out when he's coming back from 3-1 without his second best player. Like, it's not.
Yeah, sure. Now, Mark.
Now
Now, if he does that,
Are the charges getting dropped? Are the charges getting dropped?
We not. Ain't nobody staking Giannis' crib out no more.
Charges getting dropped.
We good. Giannis, you're solidified, brother. You got it.
He got us. Watch. Come on, Giannis. Kyle Kuzma gonna step up tonight too.
That's all he needs. All he needs is Kuz to play some ball.
Yeah, like he got the game from Gary Trent. They won that game.
Yeah,
Kuzma gonna step up.
I know. But shit, I'm just saying. Unfortunately, that paperwork going out this week, and Bucks will be kicking on the beach.
All right, Chill. Who you got?
I don't want it to happen.
Chill.
Mars, how you feel about the Cavs series with the Heat? I really feel like I should be more interested in this Indiana-Milwaukee series, and I'm not. I watch it, and I watch it sparingly. I think they smoked Milwaukee tonight. I don't think they beat them. I think they smoked them in Game 5.
Haters, man.
I think they smoked them in Game 5. I don't think it's close.
Jordan?
Man, come on, man. The Pacers, man. This shit over with. This shit was over with Dame. When they fucking that shit been over with. That shit is over with. I lied again. I lied.
If they lose tonight, are we watching Giannis's last game with the Bucks?
Hopefully.
No, but
it's a good chance. Y'all.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know where Giannis stands in terms of wanting to finish his career in Milwaukee. So I don't know.
Bro, they bringing Thanasis back next year. It's okay.
He look good in that purple and gold.
He will be. They are. And
I can't even call you like crazy for saying Giannis to the Lakers at this point.
Exactly. We got Luka.
Hey, listen, real talk. Like I said, I think I told y'all this story before about he no longer is the scout for the Lakers, but I ain't gonna say his name because it's not important. But Ron, you'll know who I'm talking about. But I told you, he said that the Lakers were either going to get Luka or Giannis. I swear to God, he told me that 2 or 3 years before that. So
they're gonna get both.
They might get both. But I'm just telling you what he told. When he said it, I said, "You out your damn mind." He said, "Bro,
LeBron finna take the minimum this
LeBron ass gonna retire." But this is what he told me. He said, "Bro, I'm telling you, the Lakers have so many ways to pay players money outside of what's on the books."
If Giannis Antetokounmpo ends up in a Los Angeles Lakers uniform, I'm in the Matrix.
They don't have
young assets. He was bullshitting at first. I wanted to call him and say, "Bro, you know what?
They don't have young assets, but they have literally LeBron James' son." Okay.
And they have Austin Reeves. Okay. Austin Reeves.
Hey man, I didn't see some strange things happen over there in Los Angeles.
If they end up with Giannis and Luka, I'm in the Matrix, yo.
We gave away Kwame Brown and got Pau Gasol.
First of all, Giannis and Luka is not a great fit on the basketball court. It's just not a great fit. You
All right,
can talk
so
about.
Penn, you went from how they gonna get him to now just hating. So all right,
Shit, they
What?
got
You
Luke
gonna get
and
them
Giannis
young
first over,
assets.
bro.
So now, all right, they might get him, but it's not a good fit. Who cares?
Oh
No, I didn't say
God.
they get him. I'm just telling you they're not going to get him, and it's not a good fit.
Well, if they
Yeah, I'm
do,
not. I'm
you
not. I'm
worry
not high
about
on the
that
pick,
after
but I
you
still
get
want to see it. I'm not high on the pick.
if
but I
they
still
do,
wanna see
Honestly,
I mean,
if
hey,
the
pray for the
Lakers
league.
get Giannis at some point in the next 3 years, I will come up here and say, y'all the greatest. Y'all the greatest organization that's ever existed in any sport. And I know I'm never going to say that.
Giannis to do
Yeah,
that. We've already
they're
had
better than the
LeBron,
Raptors.
Kobe, Shaq, Will, Kareem, Magic.
Bro,
Yeah, man,
And
LeBron
yet
is
you're
just gonna
down 3-1
retire.
to the
LeBron is
Timbercups.
just gonna
So
retire.
what are you going to do?
Bro, if they lose in the playoffs, don't be surprised LeBron announces his retirement.
Bro, I just don't. I
What,
find it
this
so
year?
funny
Why not
that
retire?
Lakers fans
Playing
are like,
how he
Telling y'all,
playing? Hell no.
bro,
When y'all were at
4-1,
1-1,
he's gonna retire. He might come back, but he's gonna retire, bro. Watch. Don't be surprised if LeBron say he come to the podium and say, "Man, because they ask him, they ask him every year, and he always say, I gotta think about it."
Mhm.
Don't be surprised he say, "I'll think about it again," and then he spent some time with his family. Spend some time with Savannah and his little daughter, and he just be like, "Man, you know what? I'm gonna retire." He could possibly. He say he won't come back, but I think he would at the right cost. But he gonna retire, man. I'm telling you.
I have no idea what Bron's gonna do, but he's still playing really good basketball right now. So if I'm only gonna go off of basketball, going based off basketball, I don't see Bron leaving right now just because of how good he's
every
still
year,
playing.
every year he plays good.
I don't think
honestly,
he'll end
they
his
ask him
But
career
every year.
after a first-round exit.
every year they ask him, but he's never been like, yeah, I'm retiring. So
No, he always say I'm gonna take some time and think about it, and then he come back a week later and say I'm coming back.
I just don't think he would retire after first.
He's an intelligent dude. You know what I'm saying? He going, of course, don't answer that question right now. Go ahead, go home, think about it. But what I'm talking
And it's
about
hard
is
as hell
based
for a
on-
40-year-old
based on
man
how-
to come back.
But based on how good he's playing basketball, that's all I'm talking about. Nothing else goes into my thought process on this. I'm just only talking about how good he plays basketball right now. Yeah, I think it would be crazy for a guy that could potentially be first, second. He's definitely going to be at least second team All NBA, but could be first team All NBA to retire right now. I just
I
think
think
that'd
he
be
also
crazy.
said he doesn't want a farewell tour. He said he just want to get out. I think
Yeah,
said
he
he
lied.
The diva Bron is not doing
He
a
lied.
farewell tour. Come on,
Yeah,
Jordan.
he lied.
Come
I'm just
on,
saying that's
Jordan.
what he said. He said he
Does
just.
he
You
deserve
think-
a farewell tour?
Okay.
Boys,
Yo.
please stop. You think
You
the
couldn't even
Lakers
make
won't
it
let
through
him?
that with a straight face. You couldn't. even
Ron,
do
this is my last point, Ron. Ron, do you think that the Lakers are gonna let Bron leave without a farewell tour? Like, hold on, bro. You know how much
That's
money
what I was about to say, Mars. Even if he
Yeah.
doesn't want one, Mars, even if he doesn't want one, they're gonna do it. No doubt about
They
it.
gonna be-
And
they
Jordan,
They're
gonna
gonna do
Jordan
that
doesn't
shit. They're gonna
announce
do
his
that shit
retirement.
tonight. They're gonna do it tonight. They're gonna
Jordan.
say, "Hey, everybody stand up, give LeBron a standing ovation."
chill. If Bron
got-
don't,
This
if Bron
is
don't,
last
do,
game.
if Bron don't do a farewell tour, chill. If Bron don't do one, they gonna let Bron know you better get up out of LA. You're not welcome here no more. All the money you just
No.
left on the table, you gonna have to go.
Yeah.
Just take this shit back to Ohio or something. Shit.
I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised.
All right, fellas, we got
to Jordan's
Go
point,
ahead,
I
Chip.
wouldn't be surprised if really quickly, Ron. I wouldn't Jordan because I agree with Jordan. I wouldn't be surprised if he quit after the season. That wouldn't surprise me
Man,
if he
I'm telling you,
decided
man,
that.
bro.
After a first-round exit, chill to go out
Yeah.
this way, it
40-year-old
just feels
man who's
wrong.
But
hurt.
anyway, Ron,
Penn, he's also hurt too, by the way.
Kobe went out with 17 wins.
Kobe is different.
went
had
out
an-
with 60.
He had an Achilles
That's
tear.
what he
and-
went out with.
Bron gonna go out with
60.
Bron gonna go out with 40 tonight. They just gonna get their ass
as,
whooped.
as,
You're not
as you
even
were saying,
playing
tomorrow,
tonight. You
tomorrow,
trying to
tomorrow.
rush
They're
our.
playing
we're
tomorrow.
not
Yeah, I'm
even
trying to
playing.
rush that shit over with. I
Yeah,
wanna
you
get
trying
that
to
shit over
rush.
with.
Hey, we getting on the plane and we going back to LA. I mean,
Hey,
not back to
Ron,
LA,
let's go
back to
ahead and go to the
Minnesota.
series, but make sure
because you know
bring
somebody there. That's
basketball.
why.
Go to the
Because you
series.
know somebody there, real
MJ
talk.
went
That's
out.
why.
MJ went out with a 20-point blowout loss.
Hey,
The
Okay,
reason why we
so-
getting on the plane
Come on,
and going
man.
back to Minnesota, real talk, because you know somebody up there. You ain't bringing the crew.
It's
with
food
you.
up there.
That's why
Hey,
you going
hey,
back up
Ron,
there.
Ron,
Everybody
get to
got
the
a game. We
series.
got another
Get to the
game. We
series
got
that
another
we all
game.
want to talk about. But make sure you
I'm
bring
trying
Swipe up
to.
because I want to know what Swiper think about this. I want to know what
He
he
thinks
think
the
about
Clippers
this.
are going to win. He has the Clippers in 6. He thinks the Clippers are going to win.
As you were saying, Ron, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
damn.
It's no
I
way
know
he
that
believes
was
the Clippers gonna win 2 straight.
He thinks
It's
the
no
Clippers
way.
going to win. And
We
I
got
think
the
the Clippers going to win too.
He tricking y'all.
What we got,
the
Ron?
Clippers and Nuggets, y'all. It's tied up 2-2, and the series is back in Denver tonight. Penn,
I said
who you got tonight?
Clippers.
crazy.
Nice.
Real
Cheer,
talk.
you up next. Oh,
Who you got?
Ron playing name tag.
It's in Denver.
Yes,
It's
sir.
Yeah.
in
Game
Denver.
5.
Yeah. It's in Denver.
And it's 2-2.
I got Uno.
Hell no.
Yeah, I got the Clippers. I got Uno going crazy.
You such a
Uno-
Jokic hater. God damn.
Uno was on some
Uno
was on
going
some
crazy.
bullshit last game, but he was that James Harden assist player last game. I told y'all that's James Harden I don't want to see.
Jordan, who you got tonight?
The Nuggets. I got the Nuggets winning.
Okay.
The Nuggets should have beat the shit out of the Clippers last game, by the way. Shit happens.
Mars.
My best player is better than your best player, man. Jokic gonna bring this home. Nuggets in 6.
So this will not go in 7, Mars?
No, it's not a 3-1 series. It's 2-2. I don't care about this. Only if you're down 3-0 or 3-1 do I pick the series to go 7 and you win. Now, I don't care about a 2-2. Whoever wins, wins. I want to see 3-0 and 3-1 comebacks. That's what I want to see. Every single round, preferably. But
Man, listen, all I'm telling y'all is I just knew the temperature was gonna change. Them boys go up 2-2. Next, so I be talking about we on the way to Mile High. Yeah, I'm like,
yeah, they on their way to Mile High to lose.
yeah, but when he got up here, man, I don't know, man.
I'm telling you, there's only one series.
There's unplayable players. We have to play 5 guys for 42 minutes, and it's like, yeah, but those 5 guys had a hell of a stat line too, by the way. Like,
yeah, MPJ played well in that game. It's crazy because he's doing
Jamal
this
Murray
with one
sucked
arm.
in that game.
So shout out to MPJ.
yeah, the whole starting 5 played well. Like if you're starting 5,
Jamal Murray did not play.
He played all right though. But I'm just saying.
No, he didn't.
But-
He sucked.
But if your starting 5 give you those numbers, your bench is like, all right, you ain't got to get that much. You get to come from the bench, they beat the shit out of another team. But my starting 5 give me all double figures. That's why you play him that much. Now JJ Redick did some bullshit, but it is what
He
it
did the
is. You gotta
same
do that.
thing.
Yeah,
But
he didn't get the same results, so.
Nuggets in 6. Nuggets in 6. If you're really the best player in the world, best player in the series, you get this done. No, that's where I'm at.
Hey, I
Who you
agree.
got,
Hey,
Chip?
man.
I picked the Nuggets in 6 round, so that's where I'm going with it.
Yeah,
All right.
man. The Nuggets. I mean, the Clippers took care of business at home one time. Nuggets took care of business at home one time, and so
Yeah, the
now we
Nuggets
got a
have home court
series.
again. Yeah,
Now
have
the
home
Nuggets
court.
got home court again. Now we got a series,
And they
Now
got the
let's-
best home
let's
court
do what we
advantage in the NBA because of the altitude and stuff. So
No,
I
so
made a
let's
it's
do
over
it.
for Denver video. And
And by the way,
out.
real talk, you being a Houston dude, we still waiting for that game from you know who. It's coming.
You talking about the Harden trash game?
It's coming. We know it's
I
coming.
mean,
The Clippers
I actually have
so
more
many
faith in
advantages.
Harden like nowadays than I did when he was like in Houston rocking out. Surprisingly, I don't know why, but it just feels like he's not in that like headspace anymore. I feel like he's gotten too many playoff games under his belt. He's too much of a veteran now to just play bad for an entirety of a game. Like I don't see that coming.
Shit.
I'm waiting for the game where James Harden be getting to the free throw line like crazy. Like, I need that 12 free throw game.
It could be this
Well,
one.
he don't get downhill as much as he did in the years past, Mars.
He still get downhill.
He's like 50 years old.
And he's still an S-tier grifter. So like I need them 12 free throws. James Harden have like a 37-point night. Like
The Clippers have so many advantages. They're a better coach team. I think they're the better team. They're the deeper team. They're the better defense. They easily have the second, third, probably fourth, possibly fifth best player in the series.
Who has the best player?
Yeah, clearly the Denver Nuggets have the best player in the world, but
get it done.
Yeah, they got a hell of a closer too, by the way. And Jamal
Get it
Murray.
done.
Don't
Like,
forget.
if you really-
Some days
if you're the
Jamal
best-
Murray
if you're the
could be
best player in the
player.
world, if you're the best player in the world, and it's a 4-5 matchup, and you're the 4 seed, and the series is tied 2-2, win the series, man. I ain't asking for much. Win the series. Best player in the world. You're the highest seeds. You have home court. 2-2 series. I can't ask you to win.
It's really
I think I
not.
know
That's
win.
win.
It-
And
it
you got
really
one of the
not
best
helpful
closers
that.
with Jamal Murray. Man, Jamal Murray can be the best player.
And you
On
have
any given
championship
day.
DNA. Like,
Oh, that's a fact. Oh, there we
yeah.
go. See,
Jamal
there
Murray
it is right there.
Go ahead
Jamal
and
Murray.
win
Hey,
the
is
the Clippers got championship DNA too, by the way.
Okay, what's the gap between Jamal Murray and Norman Powell?
Jamal's
real.
clearly better.
There's a
Jamal-
gap.
Clearly better?
Clearly
Yeah.
better.
Yes, there's a gap.
Shout out to Norman Powell. He looked a lot better the last 2 games. He looked a lot better.
Yes, Ron.
There's a
Yes,
gap.
Clearly?
Yes,
Ron.
yes, yes,
Ron.
yes.
There's
What's wrong
a
with
gap.
y'all,
Yeah.
bro?
Norman
Norman
Person
was
had-
a
come on,
borderline
bro. What's wrong
all-star
with
this
y'all,
year. I don't even think
Not
the
with
gap
the
is
bullshit,
that
Ron, with the Leicester stuff.
Jamal
Like,
Murray is
you only
clearly-
going off what you seen this year with Norman Powell.
That shit. Norman played better than Jamal this year.
He did.
But then Jamal got
Super chat.
You guys got it.
Super chat.
He didn't.
He played better.
Jamal
relative to
Murray
expectations.
is on the team with Nikola Jokic.
Norman
and
Powell had less expectations and he exceeded them. And people
Yeah.
do this a lot. Where a player with lesser expectations, exceeding expectations, ends up being put in a conversation that they don't deserve to be in. Norman Powell's not better than Jamal Murray.
No.
He just played better relative to what you
Did he
expected.
play better than him this year?
No.
I don't care about expectations.
He did play better
How
than
they
him.
play.
What are we talking about, Mars?
No,
He did play
Jamal
better
Murray was
than him this
better on
year.
offense and on defense.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
Norman made shots
Dude,
better than Jamal
look
Murray.
at the numbers, okay? Please
What
look at the
numbers?
numbers.
What number?
And
The
just because
shooting.
you-
He's gonna
Pim,
say
you had-
the
you
shooting
had
and
way
the-
less
What numbers?
That's
Walk?
like-
Is that why I
Pim,
got to look
you
at
had-
numbers?
No, true
number one.
shooting and all like.
No, let's look at
Norman was
WARP or
efficient
box
with
plus
his throwing the
minus
ball.
or whatever. I guess.
Even if you do that, Mars, you can
that
start
front,
and
he
stop the
clears
Yeah,
conversation.
Wing
based
shares
on
for
WARP and
48.
stuff, yeah, he's better than Jamal
Even
Murray.
if you do that, Mars, you can
Bro,
start and stop
Norman
the
Powell had
conversation.
higher usage, so it's
Yeah, but
not.
you-
It's not a matter of
he's a
low
play
usage.
finisher. Yes, he's a play finisher. Yes. Okay.
Pim,
Okay.
you had
That's
less
just
responsibility
jumpers.
than
Okay.
I did. I'm a primary ball handler. I'm a primary playmaker. You're not that. You're the guy who's finishing plays because you got a primary ball handler on your team. You got a primary playmaker on your team. You have a scorer on your team like that. I'm the one setting these guys up for that. That's what I'm doing. You're not doing that. But because you averaging more points, now all of a sudden,
Jamal Murray
you're
didn't set
better.
nobody up with nothing. That's Jokic. When
And
Jamal
Jamal-
Murray
and-
get an
and- and
assist,
Jamal
that's
Murray.
Jokic. Hey, that's Jokic hockey assist.
And
Everything
when-
he-
and-
man,
and-
Ron,
everything he
and-
did
and-
is based off Jokic setting the
So,
table
so,
for him.
so if we doing that, Ron, then every time Norman Powell scores, he's getting that off the strength of something that James Harden did.
Oh, that's
He's
a
getting that
fact,
off the
though.
strength.
And-
He's
That's
getting
a
that off.
fact.
He's
And-
getting that off the strength. So,
And
but I
it's
still
the same
have
thing
more.
with Jamal Murray.
I'm not saying
That's the same
Norm's
thing.
better. I'm saying it's close. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying it's close.
And
And
all I
it's
said
not
was Norman
close.
had a
And
better
it's
year.
not close between him and James Harden, and it's not close between him and Kawhi Leonard. So I think is it close between him and Ivica Zubac?
Well, Zoo's
You
better
don't
than
think Jamal Murray
I
and
agree.
James Harden is close?
Yeah.
Like this James Harden and
No, James Harden is
Jamal
better than
Murray?
Jamal Murray.
James Harden.
No, he is,
James Harden is way better.
but Penn saying it's not close.
I don't think
It's not close.
I don't
James
think
Harden
it
is a
is.
way better
I think it's
creator.
yeah, I think he's a better player, but I think for production for what both teams need, it's close.
What does Denver have to? What do the Clippers have to do tonight to win this game? Do we need a Kawhi Leonard performance like we had in like game
Yeah,
2?
you need stone cold Kawhi. You need like Kawhi, robot Kawhi, come out 40 points, shut up the crowd, get up early. Like they got to get up early. They got to hit first. They got to hit second.
Mhm.
And basically, I'll know where this game's going after the first quarter. If the Clippers are up by like 8-9 points, I think they have a chance. If the Nuggets are up after the first quarter, I would say this game's over.
It would be nice if Bogey remembered he was a good NBA player too. That would-
Yeah.
Anytime you want to join the party, brother.
yeah.
anytime
that
you
would
wanna
be
get involved.
Bogey
fantastic.
has not been hooping. Bogey
Yeah, I don't know what's.
Anytime you
going
want to
on
get
with
involved, my
Bogey.
man, help us out here, please.
My
And Penn,
goodness, bro.
Penn, you mentioned that the Clippers have the coaching advantage. I do want to bring up one more
Huge.
time that Ty Lue
Huge
lost the
coaching.
Clippers that game, last game.
Well,
You
with
got
the
You have 8
substitutions.
seconds on the clock. There's a timeout. You take James Harden off the floor. You take Norman Powell off the floor. And I think Bogey was on the floor too. You
Mhm,
definitely
yeah.
take Bogey off the floor. Why is Bogey and James Harden on the floor? for a
Ron,
possession?
I
Last
don't
night,
understand,
it was a timeout being called, and it was like 30 seconds in the game. The Warriors were going back on defense. And obviously, if it's 30 seconds on the clock, that means the Warriors are going to get the ball.
And they took Steph out.
They took Steph out the game. If Steph Curry comes off the floor for the offense defense, there's no world or no scenario where James Harden and Norman Powell and Bogey don't come off the floor.
Watch,
Lou,
Ron,
you lost
watching
that
that
game for
game.
your team. I'm
Watching
sorry,
that
you
game,
lost
we
it.
were watching that in the before even the play started. I'm like, we were sitting there watching. I'm like, the 5 out there should have been Ben Simmons, Derrick Jones Jr., Chris Dunn, Zubac,
And Kawhi.
and Kawhi. That's
Yeah,
your
swap Derrick Jones with Batum, but yeah, I'm with you.
I mean, whichever. But yeah, I'm like, bro, why is
That's
Bogey
ridiculous.
and Harden in
That's
the
so
game? You
nasty.
need a stop and a rebound. That was insane to me. I don't know what time.
Ty Lue gonna come out with some interesting schematics to this game.
You know what's interesting? I said they have a coaching advantage, and then I just remembered who was actually the coach in Denver. It's actually Jokic. Jokic is the coach. Do you remember that play where it was like I think 0.3 seconds on the clock, and he asks for DeAndre Jordan to come in? Do y'all remember that play?
Yeah,
Because they only had one thing they could do, and then DeAndre Jordan ends up stopping the lob. So it's like knowing that, I feel like maybe maybe the advantage on coaching isn't as great. But I just feel like the assistants that they have, Jeff Van Gundy, again, growing up as a Knicks fan, I have a lot of respect for Jeff Van Gundy. So Van Gundy plus Ty Lue, that's a lot of coaching.
I would give the coaching advantage to the Clippers. I'm still just throwing it out there, though. Ty Lue, you lost that game, or whatever coach co-signed that.
That was crazy. That was insane.
Best player got to bring it home, man. It's that simple.
All right, y'all. Well, we got super chats, so we're gonna go ahead and get to them. Turn on your notification bells, like the video, subscribe, become a member, all of that good stuff. Shout out to Miner, shout out to Cheese, shout out to Vale, and shout out to Multi Kenny. Those are the Hall of Famers currently at the moment. If you're not a Hall of Famer, go ahead and join up your membership level. And also, too, today, after the panel and before the games, you got an opportunity to tap into From the Logo, and they will be talking about Giannis, Doc, and the Bucks. So y'all be sure to tap in to the best show on the platform. Okay. All right, fellas. Let's get.
What time y'all go today, Moss? What time do you guys go today, Moss?
You guys,
that's what you mean. You're not From the Logo. What time does From the Logo go?
It's 6 p.m. Eastern, right?
6, right? Yeah. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, chill, going to tap in.
I will.
Mark's gonna be there. But all right, y'all.
Y'all not watching Milwaukee, Indiana?
What time is that game?
6 Eastern.
6.
Okay.
What's more important, hearing Gifted's opinion on the Bucks?
First and foremost, the game doesn't start at 6 and end at 6. I mean, the game's gonna go on.
You can have the game on YouTube. You can have From the Logo.
But Ron, I'm sorry if I interrupted you. I know we got to get the super chats, as you were saying, Ron. Go ahead.
Also, I'd rather watch From the Logo than watch Giannis have a 50-point triple-double.
That's facts, but I know Giannis better hit that 50-point triple-double. But all right, y'all. Teddy Hart said, so that run that Jalen Green went on right after his kid was born, was that just a flash in the pan or a sign of what he can become permanently one day?
That depends who you talk to.
Don't even sleep on the kid boost, man. Fred VanVleet had a kid boost.
Got busy in the finals.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I think it's a flash in the pan. Unfortunately.
I've never seen anything like Jalen Green. I'll say that. I've never seen anything like this.
It's wild.
But that's not a good thing, by the way. It's just I've never seen anything like this.
All right, fellas. Jamal Thomas, speaking of Jalen Green, said Jalen Green is done in Houston. Not efficient, not a plus defender. Literally, we are better with him off the floor. Every metric proves it. He has 0 kill spots on the floor other than that top of the key 3.
So he doesn't have 0. So he doesn't have 0 kill spots. He does have a kill spot.
Calling the top of the key 3 a kill spot is also just very, very, very optimistic. The thing that throws me off the moment, he started the season shooting like 87% from the free throw line.
Getting busy.
And then it plummeted. Like in the playoffs, what's he shooting from the free throw line in the playoffs? 60%. The end of the season, he was shooting like sub 75%. He ended the season at 81. But like, I don't know what happens there where he was really good at the free throw line. It's like, oh, this is nice. And it just fell back to the mean at the end of the season. So very interesting.
I think we're dealing with a dude that's still trying to figure it out, Mars. That's why we have this roller coaster of a maybe he'll never figure it out. Maybe he will. So
Masenko sent through a super chat and said the problem is that we were one solid piece away with Jimmy. Now without him, we are going to need at least 3 or 4 pieces that aren't realistic.
I just don't believe that.
Yeah, I disagree with that too. Because I mean, with Jimmy, Tyler Hero wasn't as good. I think that Wiggins. It depends on your opinion on Wiggins. I think Wiggins is a good 2-way wing in the league. Like I don't
very good.
Like of course you can do better, but like that's you definitely not doing the worst with Andrew Wiggins as your starting 2-way wing. And then Bam, still one of the best defenders in the league. And then again, you didn't even have a 5. Now you have Khalil Ware. Bam probably should have been playing 4, to be honest with you. But I disagree. They're a league guard away. I agree with you for being a really good team. Not the upper echelon, but they can be a really good team.
Yep.
King Musa sent through a super chat and said, shout out to Mars and Chill. What does the panel think the Warrior ceiling is this playoffs? OKC looking damn near unbeatable. I don't think old Steph, Dre, and Jimmy can deal with them in a 7-game series.
Mars has the Rockets winning this series, right? So
I
Absolutely.
think the
Rockets
Warriors
is
seal is. I
so
think
their
this-
ceiling is the round one. This is their ceiling. Rockets is 7.
Chill, what were you going to say? What do you think?
I was going to say I think that their ceiling is the West Finals.
so they can beat OKC.
No, they play OKC in the Western
Yeah,
Conference
they
Finals
play OKC in Western Finals.
and lose. So you got OKC going to the finals.
Me?
Yeah.
I've always had OKC in the NBA Finals. Yeah.
Mm.
Mhm.
Pin, what you think their ceiling is?
My best player meant to be better than your best player.
I think there's who do they play in the next round?
Timberwolves or Lakers. So the Lakers.
So the
Man, I
Timberwolves?
want to pick Minnesota so bad, Penn. I so want to pick Minnesota for this
Dude,
series.
Then pick them.
I have become
Oh.
I have become like a real Minnesota fan. Like I am rooting for this team so hard. I can't even tell you. Like the entire conversation y'all were having earlier about like, you know, Ant versus KG and all that stuff. I think Ant has made it very cool to be a Minnesota Timberwolves fan for the first time in my lifetime. Like he's made this team super cool. It's weird. I think their ceiling is Minnesota. They will not get
round
past
2?
Minnesota.
I don't like Rudy against the Warriors at all, but we'll see.
Real talk. What's their ceiling for you?
Benches the bomb, then they wouldn't have to worry about that. But I do think ceiling Western Conference Finals. To me, they do lose in round 2 to Minnesota though.
I want to pick them so bad. I do. I want to pick Minnesota.
Round 1. You guys
I want to pick
Personally-
them so bad.
Personally, I think
What's
all of y'all
stopping
are
you, Cho?
buggy.
What's stopping you?
Fucking Steph Curry. That's what's stopping me. That
And that's
goddamn
what's-
Curry.
And that's what's stopping me from saying that their ceiling is Mars. I'm
That
not even
damn
dealing with
Curry.
you, Mars. That's what I'm gonna stop. That's why I'm gonna say that. That's what's stopping me from saying their ceiling's round 2 or the Western Conference Finals. The Warriors' ceiling is absolutely a Larry O'Brien trophy this year. That is their ceiling.
I did ask the question, Ron. Can they win it? I did ask that question. Like,
And
can these dudes do it again?
And I'm answering the question. Yes, they absolutely can. Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry, and Draymond Green is scary with this group of role players around them. I'm glad Jordan's not here to tell me, Ron, they're not that good. I'm here to tell you guys they are that good.
If they win a championship, that's ridiculous. I'm
If
sorry.
it's one
There's
team
just
that
no
can
way.
clip OKC, and they've given them trouble without Jimmy Butler this season. Steph Curry get to coming out shooting them threes. Jimmy Butler get to building real estate right there in that mid post. Draymond get to pushing and bullying them boys around. B-Pods, Lord forbid he has one game. Moses Moody, he come out shooting. Buddy Hield, hey, get a 6-3
he been making
game.
some time.
You see what I'm
this
saying? Hey,
series.
you get a 6-3 game. Come on, man. Hey, the Warriors.
Steph ends up with more rings
nothing
than
to play around
Bron.
with.
I've seen enough, man. He better than Bron. I've seen enough. He get more rings than Bron.
Troll alert! Woo, woo,
I've
woo,
seen
woo.
enough, man.
Just so you know, Mars just said real talk like 2 days ago that him and Braun aren't close. He just said that 2 days ago.
Oh yeah, I
Win the
know.
NBA
Did
championship.
not say that.
Then he passes him.
I don't remember that conversation. I don't remember that.
Is
conversation.
it crazy? Is
I
it crazy
vividly
to
remember
think?
that conversation.
Is it crazy
We
to
were
think?
having
That the
Oh, I
Minnesota
said
Timberwolves-
legacy wise. Yeah, legacy wise, he's not close. Yeah.
Is it crazy
Yeah,
to think the
you better
Minnesota
not, right?
Timberwolves could win it all?
I had them in. I had them.
It's not
I had them
crazy.
in
I would
the-
disagree. But it's
I
not
had them
crazy.
in the NBA Finals before the season started, but as the season went on, I had to come off that because they didn't look good, and I ended up picking Oklahoma City because they just looked so much better. And could Minnesota get back to the finals? They could do it. I just that
Back
damn
to the
Curry.
finals. They never been to the finals.
To Western Conference Finals. I mean,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
thinking about the Western Conference Finals. That damn Curry, man. As long as that damn Curry is in the middle of this.
Yeah, and you know the Timberwolves are going to beat the Lakers, right, with LeBron. But you worried about the Warriors with Steph Curry. It's almost like he's better than him. But you know,
Can the Timberwolves beat? Because I do want to see that OKC Timberwolves series. To me, that's just going to be. It's going to be such. That would be such just high level basketball.
so are you just writing off the Clippers and Nuggets against OKC?
I got the Clippers maybe giving them some run. I do think they dispatched the Nuggets pretty quick.
Okay.
Yeah. The Clippers can give OKC some run though.
All right, y'all. Joseph Washington sent through a super chat and said, tomorrow, Fupa Doncic will be able to consume all the hookah and 4 locals he wants.
Oh, so he's saying they're going to lose, which is crazy because they're not, because it's Lakers in 7. But
yep.
All right, next super chat we got is from Jamal Thomas. Yet another super chat about Jalen Green. He said Jalen Green has been given the long leash for a negative player. 4 years to get to get the kinks out and become a productive player. Literally has not so good handle, has a not so good handle, below average shot making, mental midget.
Not that smart. Not that tough mentally.
I mean, I understand it, but
yeah, I mean, he has had 4 years. He's had a bigger opportunity than most people of his productivity.
So why do all Jalen Green haters write in all caps? That's what I want to know.
It's very passionate. Jalen Green hate is also very passion filled. That's a big part of the reason why I'm like, I've been so defensive of him. Because like Spreadsheets FC, like have really targeted Jalen Green as like the poster boy of the numbers say he sucks, and we're very passionate about the fact that he sucks. So it's like he does have some redeeming qualities. Like he is an intriguing player, but yeah, the Spreadsheets have prevailed. I'll say that.
Black Moon Swordsman said Joker versus Shaq on offense. Who's better peak wise?
If he better than Shaq on offense, he better be able to beat the Clippers.
Jokic is better.
He better be able to.
Jokic has more skill set, like a more all around skill set. Shaq.
This is a whole segment of the show right here. Like that's not something that you could that you could talk about in like
Shaq still.
That's an off-season conversation. That's what
that is. That's what that is.
When we get to the off-season, Steph has ring number 5 and he better than LeBron. These are the type.
What if Steph wins the chip and Jimmy wins Finals MVP?
Then Steph makes his teammates better. He's still better. That's 5 champions. That's 5 championships. A dynasty in LeBron's era. Less time to do it. Come on, man.
Yo, Black Moon, to answer your question, give me Shaq.
So Bron could just play 22 years and have 4 chips, but Steph having 5. We can't have the conversation. Okay.
Why? What I'm trying to make sense of is why are we even like? Why we got to wait till he win it again? Like, what would a championship matter? Like, you already think that anyway.
Most rings from this generation.
Okay, you already think that anyway, though. You already think he better. So, I mean, you're not an accolades guy anyway, Mars, are you?
I can have the conversation.
You don't care about it. You don't care about it.
I can have the conversation right now.
Okay, let's have even if we did have the conversation, the reality is you're not an accolades guy. You're not. You don't care about accolades.
It's solidified
because you don't care about accolades. So if you don't care about accolades, him winning his 5th championship shouldn't matter whether or not he's better than James. He should already be better than him.
He wins that 5th.
Chill, don't let Mars raise your blood pressure.
He not.
I mean, yeah, we got to get out of it. Go ahead, Ron.
Yeah, chill. It's not worth it on this.
We'll be back. We'll be back in June when the Warriors have a 5th championship.
Back. Estiman RNDM said, "There you go. Penn hating on a player just to bring up Scotty Barnes in the convo strikes again. Barnes ain't that great. I wish my wife loves and doesn't give up on me like you love and don't give up on Barnes."
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I like Scotty Barnes. I definitely don't see what Penn sees, but I like Scotty Barnes.
He's going to be a great, very, very high level role player on a championship team.
Too bad we don't got time to get into that, Pin. But my man Pimp named Slickback did say the best team has almost always won. We've seen Jordan and LeBron go crazy and get crushed versus better teams. Yes, role players are better now, but the best team with top 10-ish beats best players with bums.
I mean,
agreed?
LeBron, early, mid 2000s would disagree, but sure.
Yeah, he lost. He never won the championships.
Okay, but he got to the finals.
I lost.
Beating a lot of quote unquote better teams.
What?
Because he was the best player.
All right,
fellas, I gotta bounce. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Peace, Joe.
Right. Wait, who were the
Wizards and the Nets? That's what we're praising.
Yeah, who were the better teams he was beating?
The Pistons. I would say the Pistons were a better team. Yeah,
maybe with no Ben Wallace. Yeah, but okay,
they were more even than people would give it credit for. But
yeah, who else?
That's fine. Yeah, we could say that was the one better team he beat.
Yeah,
the Wizards.
He did also, in fairness, beat the 73-win Warriors. So I mean,
he did. But you go into that series and what you see.
But you said the mid 2000s.
Yeah, well, yeah, you did say that. But what you see is that when you look at the 73-win Warriors. Going into that series, before the Cavs went down 3-1, people viewed that series as quite evenly matched. People viewed that series as LeBron's the best player. People viewed that series as Steph's the second best player. And then people viewed that series as Kyrie was the next best player.
When has LeBron not been the best player in a series through his prime? He's always
he I'm saying going into that series, those teams were seen as quite evenly matched. The reason that win gets glorified is because they came back from down 3-1. But going into that series, it was quite even in terms of how people viewed who was going to win, especially when you factor in the fact that Steph Curry was very clearly compromised.
I really want to look at the betting odds for the finals because I don't believe that they were evenly viewed. But sure,
The betting ones had the 15 Cavs over the Warriors. But I'm talking about the conversation around that series was that it could go either way. That was the conversation. Because
I don't remember.
Because if you remember correctly, the big talking point was if the Cavs were healthy in 15, they would have won. And this year, the Cavs were healthy with Kyrie and Kevin Love. That was the conversation. It's like, okay, Bron has Kyrie and Kevin Love now. This is what he would have done to the Warriors last year. That was the conversation. That's what it was.
Yeah, but I still do think like after.
And I'm not saying that means it was a 50-50 series. I'm saying it wasn't viewed as lopsided as, oh my God, the Warriors are going to destroy.
Yeah, it wasn't, oh my God. Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, that's not what it was
built. But the Warriors still were they were.
Yeah, they were the favorites, but I'm talking about it wasn't
pre-series. It was plus 180.
I don't know what that means.
That means the Warriors were heavy favorites.
Okay.
It wasn't marginal. It wasn't close.
The conversations were not the same as the betting ones.
Yeah, but the betting odds reflect like a lot of prediction, analysis, math, etc. Like the betting odds are not. Well, I'm just saying like the Cavaliers were favored to. The Warriors were favored to win going away. And like after Game 4. It was crazy how much they were favored to win.
But they were up 3-1. Yes.
Yes, I understand that. But I'm saying pre-series, they were favored to win. After game 1, they were favored to win.
Yeah,
they were favored to win.
I said the conversation wasn't. It was a foregone conclusion.
I'm telling you, after game 6, the Warriors were still favored to win.
As they should have. In game 7, they were favored to win. They had game 7 at home.
Right.
I said the conversation around the series was not that it was a foregone conclusion.
The betting odds kind of really don't matter because it's
I said the people
LeBron was the best player.
They didn't consider
the Warriors were the better
They didn't
team.
consider it clearly inferior. They didn't consider it that way. The betting on sure, but I'm talking about the conversation was not that the Warriors were just by far and away the better team and were going to win. The conversation was the fact that the Cavs were finally healthy after last year and that LeBron could get it done with this Cavs team that they should have beat the Warriors last year, and that LeBron was better than Steph Curry, and that Kyrie was the third best player in the series, and that these teams weren't too far apart. That was the conversation. Shout out to the Cavs for winning that series.
All right, chat. I'm running a poll right now. Who's coming to Cancun tonight? Y'all see where I'm at, and if I am the tour guide for every team that's coming to Cancun, so I get to show them around. I get to take them to the spots where I believe that they'll like it, and all of that good stuff. I'm teaching them the ins and outs and the tricks and the tips that they need to know here in Cancun, greeting them to their hotels and all that good stuff. But who's gonna come down to Cancun with me tonight? The Pistons, the Bucks, or the Magic? Y'all go or all of them.
The last time you was in Mexico, some crazy shit happened on the stream.
Hey. Some shit gonna happen on the stream tonight too. If we on playback,
please not like that. Please, like
the Magic and the Bucks are coming down to join you tonight, Ron.
All right, y'all go vote on the poll though, and let me know how you feel, chat. Speaking of which, Hunter from the chat sent through a super chat, and this is how he feels. He said, 1, who do y'all think has the best game in the playoffs so far? 2, what are y'all biggest takeaways from the Nuggets versus Clippers so far?
Jalen Green game 2.
No, Kawhi game 2.
I would agree with that, Pen. But my biggest takeaway of the Nuggets Clippers is Swiper switching up. I'm never gonna let him live on that one. I'm never gonna let him live on that one.
4 playable players.
It's okay if they win tonight. What happens? What happens to Swiper? What did he say? What does he say?
We'll have to see.
Well,
who has the best game though?
Well, he can't say Clippers in 6 anymore because it would be mathematically impossible.
So he would say Clippers in 7?
I think just to spite you, he would say Clippers in 7.
I think despite all of this thing, that's a trap he's been setting for y'all. He's been very disingenuous to y'all. He just wants to say, because come with a lot of heat. When you're a fan of a team and they lose, some people just talk crazy shit to you.
Not that I want to psychoanalyze Swiper at all. He's not here. But the reality is, like, I think he just sort of wants to protect Jokic.
I agree too.
I think by sort of setting the groundwork of, hey, the Clippers are this
Sky
way
Blue.
better team, and they're going to win in 6. Now it's kind of like a win-win for Jokic, right? Because if Jokic loses, it's like, okay, well, he was supposed to lose. They're a better team. It doesn't really matter. And if Jokic wins, well, then, oh my God, he's so great. He beat the better team. So
exactly.
With 4 unplayable players.
Yeah, with 4 playable players. They don't even have a starting 5 they throw out there, Jordan. They got 4 niggas.
That's what I'm saying. So,
all right, fellas. The next super chat I got is from Pitt named Slickback. Apparently, he's clapping back for something. He said, Pin, the point is to win. The point is to win a title. You need to be the best team, not just the best player. That's why the Celtics swept Jordan. 2014 Spurs beat LeBron. Exceptions don't make the rules, but best team is better than the best player.
The Celtics beating the Bulls. I mean, you could argue Larry Bird was at least in the conversation with Michael Jordan back then. Just saying.
I know.
If you're the best player, it shouldn't be that hard to put the best team around you. If it's that hard to build the best team around you, you're probably not that good.
I feel like hyper individualizing a team sport is probably what's wrong with basketball discourse, because it's always going to be the better team, man. The better team is always going to win every time.
That's what makes Jason Tatum so good. It's easy to build a great team around him because he's that good.
Jason Tatum is probably one of the easiest players to build around, for sure.
That's why he's one of the best.
Is the most portable player the best player?
I mean, if the goal of the game is to win, and you can be able to win in the most amount of circumstances, it's probably more valuable than someone who can be great in this one circumstance. But the moment you don't have all the perfect pieces, you can't win. It's another reason why Steph's better than LeBron. But
that's why I said Sabonis's value wouldn't be super high, because I just can't think of a lot of teams that are willing to park away that much cap space for a player that you have to put so much of your offense around, and then a player that you have to hide so much defensively. Like, he doesn't protect the rim, right? So if Jokic wasn't as great as he was, he would be in the same boat. Like, just a crazy difficult player to build around because of the rim protection stuff, right?
He is crazy difficult to build around.
I don't think he's difficult to build around because he's just so great offensively that, it kind of like weighs out whatever he's taken away defensively, he makes up for as a rebounder.
Who's the 4 that you would like to see with Jokic been ideally?
4 players I would like to see with
I'm
Jokic.
saying like the 4, his power forward. Like
the power forward.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, ideally his power forward would be someone like Jaren Jackson.
So like a DPOI candidate, because there's like hella.
Yeah, like a weak side shot blocker, and they kind of compensate for each other, right? Like, I mean, I honestly, I think Aaron Gordon is fantastic next to him anyway.
So then who?
A little bit better.
Okay, Triple J at the 4. Who would you want as his let's say his 2 guard? Because they're gonna keep Jamal Murray because nobody's trading for JamalUrray, right? Because he's making.
So Jamal at the 1.
Jamal's the 1. Who would you ideally want at the 2 guard spot?
Would it be crazy for me to say RJ Barrett? Why?
RJ Barrett.
I don't think anyone expected that.
I wasn't expecting that one. But why RJ?
I think he's just really great with dribble handoffs, really good, getting into the paint. It just really helps. He's a good cutter. He's getting better as a cutter.
Hey, I didn't mean to derail y'all conversation, but Ron, I only came to address one super chat. So if you don't mind getting to it, I don't mind addressing it because I gotta go. Do something. I don't know what super chat that is. Go ahead. You don't see it in there? It's something about a girl. If somebody put in pounds. Yeah. Just came to address one super chat. Go ahead and read that for me.
One Havoc 27. This is my cousin. Shout out to One Havoc.
Yeah.
One Havoc 27 said, Jordan, did D Mitch take your girl or something?
Let's assume he did. Let's assume D Mitch took my girl. You know what I would do?
Crazy way to start.
You know what I would do? Just get another one. He didn't take my girl, he took our girl, apparently. Just get another one. It ain't that serious for me to be hating on the dude because he took my girl. I ain't never hated on nobody who took my girl. You took what belonged to us. I just no longer want her. So for you to crash out because somebody took your girl, I know how you feel. So since then, if that's the case, Send her my Instagram. I'll talk to her for you. It is what it is. That's the super chat I want to address. Since people think stuff like that matters.
Dub D Mitch.
Yep. Dub D Mitch for taking my girl.
All right, I got another super chat for you, Jordan. Toast the GOAT said, I want to hear Jordan cry. Draymond wasn't supposed to get that first tech. That's why he stayed in the game.
He got the first tech. They didn't give him the second tech. He should have got the second tech. He did less the first tech than he did the second one. So, whatever. I ain't crying about that. I'm not one of the ones that's going to cry about Draymond not being in the game. I actually wanted him to be in the game. I wanted Jimmy in the game. I wanted Steph in the game. So, I want to say the Rockets beat them bum-ass Warriors fair and square. So, we lost. It is what it is. We just lost. I ain't got no issue with that.
All right.
I ain't going to cry about it.
Shout out to Tyrone Winston. He became a YouTube member today. If you're not a YouTube member, be like Tyrone Winston. Also, shout out to Hank. He sent through a members chat. He said, the Cavs so good, we boring to watch. See y'all in the Eastern Conference Finals.
That series is boring to watch. I'm going to love if the Pacers do manage to beat the Bucks, which they won't, but if they did, I'm going to love to watch that series. Cavs Pacers. That'll be some good basketball.
I think Cavs win, but
probably. But it'll be some good basketball.
Tyrone Winston said, get Jalen the hell out of my city.
Facts, Tyrone.
Damn, y'all trying to evict him from the city?
Yeah, I'm sick of Around, man. Goddamn.
Man, my man has one off game, and y'all want to get him up out of there.
Three off games.
We don't got time to get into semantics. We don't got time to get into all of that, but Jalen, don't worry. You're not going nowhere. Western 742 sent through a members chat and said, why was Draymond not ejected?
Good question.
Because in Golden State, the prisoner runs the asylum.
Draymond was going through all that altercation and looking at his fingernail just like a psychopath.
Draymond could commit once Draymond gets his first tech, he is now officially allowed to commit crimes in the arena.
Yeah.
And
until he starts fighting, that's the only time you get him thrown out. I don't know why Tari Eason just ain't take one for the team and just start catching off on him while he was on the ground. That's what he should have just did. He should have just, start just doing that. Because all I'm saying is you kick me in the head like that after you just tackle me on the I gotta do something about that. Because it seems like it was unintentional. It wasn't unintentional. He knew exactly what he was doing.
No, he definitely did.
Yeah, he knew exactly what he was doing. You first of all, you got ripped and you got pissed off, so you tackled his ass, and then you knew your leg was on him and you did it hard as hell, and then you keep your leg on his shoulder while he getting up, and then he throws it
on his head at first.
Yeah, and then you keep it on bro. You knew exactly what you was doing, bro.
And then you grab his jersey.
Yeah, you knew exactly.
And then his knee on the way.
Yeah, you trying to help yourself up.
Oh my goodness, bro!
Like how you trying to help yourself up with my leg? So it is what it is.
Okay. War V Room sent through a super chat and said, this may sound crazy, but my favorite part of the playoffs is after my team gets eliminated and I can enjoy the games with no stress.
I don't know what that's like because OKC not getting eliminated. So.
They're your team now?
That sounds like a fan of a
ring.
That sounds like a fan
we'll cross that. Then we Warriors that see when that happens.
Mars is bipolar, man. Look,
Steph win that fifth ring, man. I've been a lifelong Warriors fan.
The fifth ring.
I mean, I've been a lifelong Warriors fan. So I came on this show a Warriors fan. So
Mars is worse than me. He's setting it up so he can never be wrong. Period.
No, I'm setting it up so I can win regardless. That's what. Right or wrong is irrelevant. My team gonna win.
Mars is a wallow.
My team gonna win.
My Lakers.
I'm rooting for 4 teams.
Yeah,
in the playoffs because my team didn't make the playoffs. But if my team had made the playoffs, even if they made it in the play-in, I wouldn't be rooting for any.
I'm rooting for 14 right now. All
right,
14
so OG,
yeah.
OG team said hilarious how Jordan talks about Brunson foul baiting when he endorses James Harden. Hilarious. Brunson is in a physical tool disadvantage every time. Physical tool disadvantage every time.
Bro, James Harden and Jalen Brunson were doing 2 different things, bro. Brunson just be flopping his big ass head if you run next to him. It's like, bro, that shit is annoying.
He got a bobblehead. He can't help himself.
Bro, that shit is super annoying, bro. But I mean, I
Yeah,
guess
you
don't
don't
wanna
think
push that
Harden, like when Harden was
James
doing it,
Harden is an
Harden
S tier
making-
grifter. That's what he's an S tier grifter.
Yeah, like come on, Jordan.
Yeah,
He's
that's
an
fine,
all-time-
but not
Harden
like
in his prime was nasty, bro.
not like
He still
Jalen
does it
Brunson.
now.
Jalen Brunson
Nah.
is worse, bro.
No,
Jalen
he's
Brunson
not,
is
bro.
worse.
no, nah, Jordan.
Yes,
Nah,
Jalen
he's
Brunson
not.
is worse just running up the
Hell
court.
No, bro.
It ain't even with the ball.
James Harden might be the GOAT.
No, it's Brunson.
He might be.
Yeah, because he did it long. But I'm just saying, bro. James Harden did it a lot with the ball. Brunson do it a lot without the ball. It's just like you put your arm there. He slapped your arm and hit his head back. He be like,
James Harden used to climb on
Hook.
people's backs to draw fouls.
Harden would hook your arm
James
on
Harden
his
also
drive.
in the foul
And
and
then
stuff.
go
You know,
up.
yeah,
you know gonna do with
you
vision
put
is
your arm in the
history.
basket.
James Harden was doing all types of shenanigans.
James was disgusting.
Hey,
That's
And
it.
on
I'm
top of that,
I'm not finished.
it makes it even worse for James. Because, dude, you 6'5", damn near 240, 230. Like, James is strong as hell. And Jalen Brunson's strong as hell, too. But James Harden, you are legitimately built like
All right, how about
astounding, bro.
this? How about this, OG? I don't care right now. I'm just talking about Brunson. I just don't care. How about that?
That's a better angle to take. Not the Brunson's worst.
Yeah, not
Just
defending
down.
hard. Yeah.
Just say you don't care.
It was amazing to watch Harden play basketball. This shit is not amazing for me to watch Brunson play. I'm sorry,
Because
it's not.
he's not in a Rockets jersey.
No, that shit
Yeah,
is
that's
just
crazy,
annoying. I
bro.
don't want him to be in a Rockets jersey. This shit is just annoying. It's like, bro, can I just enjoy a basketball game?
All right,
You wouldn't
Jordan,
want to turn Jalen Green into Jalen Brunson?
For the sake of this, no. Fuck it. No.
Well,
No,
speaking
I'll just
speaking
stick
of not
with Jalen.
wanting speaking of not wanting people to be in a Rockets jersey, Jamal Thomas with yet another super chat. He said number 4 can't be back in Houston. Chill, stop it. He's a negative on both sides of the court. Not a winning player. Should have prioritized Bari's development.
I'm not very high on the ceiling of Jabari Smith either, but to play devil's advocate and defend Jalen Green a little
All
bit.
right, Jordan.
Merry Christmas, Jordan. It's not a great situation for a half court scorer. I will say that. I think he's very flawed. I do think his flaws are emphasized with the limitations the roster also has.
What's a good roster for him? What's a team where you could put him on as his current role and he'd be like way better?
Way better than he is?
Mhm. More efficient, more consistent.
Indiana, he'd be way better in Indiana.
In place of who? So in place of like Benedict Mathurin?
Sure. Yeah,
Sure.
I guess. He'd be. I mean,
Could he be
he'd be
Ty
way better.
Jerome?
He'd be way better than he is if you put him in like Cleveland. But the team would obviously
could
be
he
way
be
worse.
Ty Jerome? Yeah.
But like he'd be way better than he is. A team with spacing and decision makers and guys who can shoot the ball would benefit him a lot. But I'm not saying that would make him an all-star. I'm just saying he would look better than he currently does. Which
Could
is
it be
bad.
B-Pods and go to state?
Golden State requires too much decision making. He'd probably not even be in a rotation in Golden State.
If Kuminga's not in the rotation, he wouldn't be in the rotation.
He's better than Kuminga, but yeah, I still agree with that. sentiment.
Marginally, if
Yeah, I still agree with it. He wouldn't play. Moody would be ahead of him. Pods would
I
be
mean,
ahead of him.
dude, like Kuminga was their second leading scorer last year after, shoot, like, and Kuminga's a better defender, better athlete, bigger. I don't think it's that far between those two.
Neither one
Alright.
would play. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
The next super chat is from SMN RN DM. SMN said, Pin, when you're a fan of a team, you take being wrong over your team going home. I guarantee you Swipe are going to celebrate over being wrong about this series.
That's a fact.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he won't be wrong. He'll be right. So that's
Nah,
So
if Jokic that guy, he'll be wrong.
Cozy Newton said, do y'all think Jalen Green is better suited for a J.R. Smith / Jordan Clarkson 6-man spark plug role in the future?
yes. Forget the future. Make it happen now.
I don't know. He just needs to improve a lot. Fast.
There you go.
He's making 30 million next year. Like this year, it's like you can kind of look past it. He's still on his rookie contract. Next year, he's making 33. Like he's got to improve quick.
Jalen Green is gonna do the. He's gonna do the. I'm gonna start next year off cold gimmick, and then I'm gonna fall for it again. I already know. It's fine. It's fine. It's
No,
fine.
because the highs be so entertaining.
Shout out Jalen Green, man. Nixon6 said, "What's stopping Towns and Brunson from going crazy versus the Celtics and us beating them in 6?"
The Detroit Pistons are stopping that from happening.
And the fact, I mean, y'all don't beat the Celtics. Like, let's be honest, bro.
All right. We have another super chat from Where You At, Will. Will said, How you all feel if the 1 and 2 seeds only needed 3 games to win that round against play-in teams for round 1?"
So best of 5. Just the play-in should be the play-in should be situation. That's where I stand. If the 9 and 10 seed aren't even remotely close to 7 or 8, there's no play-in. If they are within like a game or 2, have a play-in. Like, that's where I stand. But
I would go 5 games. I think 1 or 2 maybe a bit. But if it's past 5 games, if it's more than 5 game gap, then
yeah.
Naptown sent through a super chat and said, "Cleveland Cavalier, Pap Smear, drink a beer, Pacers in 6."
Shout out to Shannon Sharp, man.
Oh,
to Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, no.
That's good.
No. Not right now. Definitely not. We good on that.
Hey, man. Shannon going through it.
We got another members chat or super chat from MP13. He said, "I wish I could be as positive in life as Chill. Talking about a 37 and 45 team that got beat by 55 is one piece away. I respect the optimism."
Yeah,
absolutely, yo.
There's such a large gap between Miami and Cleveland, OKC, Boston. No, but they're not one piece away from being in Cleveland, OKC, and Boston's tier. They're just not. They're one piece away from being. That's what Chill was talking about, being contenders. He said they were one piece away from being contenders. They're not. They're one piece away.
But what do you call like contending?
They're one piece away from being like the Pistons.
No, they could be better than the Pistons with
That's
the
their group, the Pistons. They're not in that contending group. They're not.
Okay, are the Warriors contenders? Do we consider the Warriors contenders?
They're second-rate contenders.
Okay,
they're like Minnesota Timberwolves contenders.
Okay, so why can't
the Minnesota Timberwolves are first-rate contenders?
Because I do think with the right piece, no, they aren't Cleveland or Boston, but I do think they are still like clearly.
They're one piece away from being
the Pistons,
the Knicks and Pacers.
I think they're better than the Knicks with the right piece.
Is that piece even realistic to attain?
How available is LaMelo?
That piece makes them as good as the Knicks, Pacers, etc. In your opinion?
With LaMelo, and if Khalil Ware is as good as I think he is, yeah.
They a problem with LaMelo.
Yeah, we're further away.
They really a problem with LaMelo.
Yeah, we're further away.
You're not just getting LaMelo. You're gonna have to trade a lot.
True.
We're further away in our evaluation of where the Heat stand right now.
How much
this team is not a LaMelo.
Assume that you would have to trade at least Khalil Ware and Tyler Hero. And probably a couple first-round picks.
Wait, Tyler and Khalil? That's 2 of 5.
Why not? I mean, LaMelo worth more than Tyler, right?
They're gonna have to give it up.
Yeah, you're not getting LaMelo for Nikola Jovic and Jaime.
Man, they better like Nikola, Jaime.
Real talk is a Lakers fan. He played his whole life on easy mode. He's like, yo, Jaime Jaquez for LaMelo.
If they get LaMelo for nothing, yes, they're better. I still don't think they're as good as the Pacers.
I think I'm starting. Okay, let me just say it like this: a starting 5 of LaMelo, Tyler, Wiggins, Bam, Khalil that's a really good 5. That's a really good 5.
Yeah, we just
end up on your hypothetical team.
We ignore it. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, the bench would be trash.
No, they still got a solid bench.
Hayward Highsmith?
Yeah, Hayward, Jaime, like that's solid bench.
How are they getting LaMelo and keeping everyone?
Well, they're not. we're just hypothetically saying.
Thank you.
Like they're not doing like they're.
Well, then they're very obvious. Like Orlando is a team I would say is probably closer to being one piece away than Miami.
Yeah.
Is.
and Orlando actually can make something shake.
But anyway, we'll talk about Miami again in the offseason. No more Miami talks. We good on that.
Have fun and kick. Miami, I'll see you guys when I get off the panel. I actually got to run over to you guys' hotels and give you guys the itinerary for this weekend. So I'll holler at y'all soon. It's Hack Ira said, building a team around Jalen Green is like building a team around Norman Powell. What is Houston doing?
Why are
wish
we
Jalen Green could
dragging
shoot like
Norman
Norman
Powell?
Yeah, I wish Jalen Green could shoot like Norman
42%
Powell.
3-point shooter. What are we doing here? Norman Powell is the beacon of efficiency for
I
like the
will
last
say,
7
if
years.
Jalen Green takes the Anthony Edwards pull-up 3-point shooting league,
That is
He'd be
kind
a-
of like
he'd be a good player. He'd
It's
be a
low
good
key
player.
like Jalen Green like peak though.
Yeah, he
like
take
a
the
Norman Powell
Anthony Edwards
type
pull-up
player.
3-point shooting league. He become a 40% pull-up 3-point shooter. Yeah, you
But
might have a
also,
solid little player.
Houston's not building this team around Jalen Green. He just happened to be a number 2 overall pick, and then they got multiple picks after him.
So they're
He's
building
just-
around
he's-
Alfie.
They're building
they're
around
build- they're
defense
building
and
around their
rebounding.
picks.
They're building around
He
defense
was
and
one of
rebounding.
their picks.
Whoever stands out is whoever
You know,
stands out. But they're
I'll
building
tell
around
you
defense,
this.
rebounding, and identity.
I'll tell you this right now. They should trade Jalen Green for Devin Booker, and they should add as many picks as it's required to make it happen. If the Suns agree to it, that immediately launches you into good conversation next year. I mean, I don't know.
I would do that trade. I don't know if Suns-
Maybe bring back Fred VanVleet for, like 15, 20 million. I don't know, something like that.
I would do that trade if it was.
Hey, he was hooping last night before that final
He
shot.
did. He did. He had his one good game of the series.
I told you I was
Same-
coming. Didn't I tell
Jalen
you?
Green and Fred
Green only
VanVleet
had
have
one good
Yeah,
game.
Jalen
too.
Green and Fred VanVleet have had the same amount of good games in the series, but
I
one's
said
getting
that-
traded.
I said they're both going to have 2 games. So
But
You guys
Fred
both owe me one.
but Fred isn't selling on defense.
Fred's making 40 million and Jalen's making 12.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jalen also hasn't been terrible defensively like this series either.
on ball, yeah. Off ball, he hasn't.
Yeah,
Been. But
like,
on ball, yeah.
Steph is hitting some ridiculous shit on Jalen Green. It's
Knicks
Don't worry
in
about his
6 said, Jordan, I promise you that the Celtics are afraid of Brunson this next series. That man ready to put up Jordan numbers on them. I promise you.
Yeah,
Well,
14
I mean,
free throws a game. I can see.
With that being said, I just read a stat that Jalen Brunson is the last person since Michael Jordan to score 40 points in the first 4 games of a series. So, hey, we might be looking at Jalen Jordan
When
or
did he do that?
Michael Brunson.
I think that was probably last year.
In the
Probably
first
like-
4 games?
I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm assuming
Against
that
who,
would have
Indiana?
to be- or Philly.
It
I
wasn't
don't
Philly
know.
because he started that series at 8
Oh
to
yeah, he did
27.
start.
I
Yeah,
remember.
so
It
maybe,
wasn't
I
the
don't know,
first 4
maybe
games.
Indiana. I don't know.
So it would have to be Indy.
Oh.
Or Ron read the stat wrong, which I'm probably putting
Yeah.
more money on that.
It might have been some. He hasn't had 30 in the first 4 games of the series.
Oh,
I said
30?
30.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought
30.
you said 40.
You
You
said
said-
40.
you did
at
say
first.
40.
You said 40 at first.
Did I
Oh,
say
so you
40?
read the stat wrong. Okay. You read the stat wrong. Okay.
Did I say 40?
You did.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, it's 30.
Oh, okay.
Jalen Brunson
Shout out
is
to
one
Jalen
of the best scoring point guards I've ever seen in my life, though. Like,
Especially for his size as well.
34,
like,
37, 30, and
6'1"
32. That's
at
crazy.
best.
And
He's
by the
be-
way,
he's better than some people, but I'm not going to have that.
oh,
Yeah,
by the
yeah.
way, he's
He's
doing this
better.
against Detroit, yo. He's doing this against a really good defense.
Yeah.
Detroit is
Man,
an
it's
incredible
Like
defense.
fourth quarter time, it's like he's unguardable. Like, bro, it's crazy, bro. He
Is
can post
Jalen-
up bigger players. He can, bro. He got crazy touch around the basket. He can hit pull up threes. The midi game there, like
I
bro,
didn't know he
Jalen
was
is
averaging
cold,
33 in the playoffs. I didn't know.
Jalen is
Yeah, it's
cold.
Jalen Jeffrey Brunson. I better get it straight.
that. Okay.
Jeremiah Colin said, I believe the exact reason the Cavs are so good this season is because they have specialists, which a lot of people have said didn't exist anymore.
I'd argue they have what, one specialist? Sam Merrill? Maybe Max Strus, which I can accept Max Strus.
You could say, I mean, you could kind of say that like Darius Garland, he's a specialist in the fact that he's a distributor.
He's definitely not
You
a
could
specialist.
you could say that Evan Mobley's a defensive specialist, kind of, I guess. I don't.
These are all around players.
No, they are, but I'm
Maybe
saying
Jared Allen is
specialist-
like a
specialist
What
player,
he's the DeAndre Jordan archetype?
Yeah, it's like a rebound, lob threat,
No,
I guess if we're calling
defender.
guys like Jarrett Allen specialists to fit that mold to
that's
say
crazy.
that,
No,
then
that's not it.
I feel like that's a disservice to the term specialist. But
What is a specialist to me is where I'd say 60 to 70% of your value comes from one play type. Like you're a spot up corner shooter or spot up shooter, or like just defense. Like
AJ
70%.
Green is a specialist.
Sure, yeah,
That's a specialist.
that's.
I
a
But Penn, even with your definition, like a lot of like Jared Allen's offense is what coming as a role man.
Sure. I just don't think he's a specialist because he's providing two-way impact. Sure, he's a role player. He's like a supercharged role player, but I don't think he's a specialist.
It's like calling Derek White a specialist in my mind.
Exactly.
I'm not.
Yeah.
You know what he is.
Like Duncan Robinson's a specialist.
Ridiculous.
Even he's upgraded his game a little bit, but yeah.
All right, I got another super chat from Mike the Champ. Y'all know the face. Well, y'all don't know the face, but y'all know the name.
Oh, I know the face. I know the face.
This is Mike. And this is what he had to say. He said Ant is a better three-point shooter than prime Klay Thompson. Do y'all agree?
He win a championship this year? I'll agree.
It is amazing.
I mean,
that,
he's not, but
shooting this
okay.
Well, I did not see Ant being holy shit.
Klay ain't never shot with this level of difficulty from three.
Do you know the
or
game?
off the dribble?
Yeah, so I'm win a chip doing this 40%. Yeah, he got it.
Would this season be better than any Damian Lillard shooting season?
Hell no. You see 2023?
How many games did he play in 23?
I don't know. We're not gonna forget prime Damian Lillard. Now that I think it's fair to assume his prime is over. We're not gonna forget prime Damian Lillard.
His prime was
2023 Damian Lillard. I know he shot 37%.
Last year he averaged 32.
Yeah, that Damian Lillard, the one right before he went to the Bucks. That's a top 10 level player. Like he was. Whew.
I mean, I will remind you. A lot of people take away from Wilt's 100-point game because he played all 48 minutes. The only player who's even come close, if I recall correctly, to touching 100 points per 48 minutes is Klay Thompson when he scored 60. He scored more points per minute that game than Kobe did in his 81-point game. Just to give you an idea.
He'd average more points per minute for a whole year
than 100?
No, I'm saying on a per minute basis, did he not average more points than minutes played? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, that wasn't my point. I'm saying like for a single game, the scoring rate per 48 minutes, Klay's was higher than any one of Kobe's big games.
Makes sense, but
Yeah,
that wasn't me rebutting what you said. That was me genuinely just curious if Joel Embiid had averaged more points than minutes.
I'm pretty sure he has.
I was combating what you were saying. That wasn't the intention.
Shout out Embiid, man. And also shout out Jamal Thomas. He sent through another super chat. And he said 4 years is enough time.
My goodness.
4 years is enough time.
About this.
And he has the best team around him. Where all he has to do is be a volume scorer, and he can't be that career. 6-man now.
I mean, he was their leading scorer, to be fair. Yeah. He was their leading scorer in the regular season. He did do that. I think he led them in scoring.
They're not guarding Amin Thompson. Like
I'm telling you, he's very obviously flawed. But I do think a lot of his flaws are overstated because of the roster and what he's asked to do. Like, I genuinely believe that.
All right, y'all. The next super chat we got is from MP13. MP13 said Ant is making a top 5 case. D-Mitch isn't in these talks. Let this playmaking and pull-up shooting be real. We are having some nasty offseason.
I think we're at the point where the pull-up shooting is just real. Like, it's been a whole year at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
We're at that point.
I think they're close. I think Anthony Edwards and Donovan Mitchell are close.
If Ant's a 40% pull-up 3-point shooter, then that does put him in new conversation. And if he can pass the ball also. Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, I'm running a poll right now. Who's a better 3-point shooter, Ant-Man or Klay Thompson? Y'all go vote and let me know who you got. Mike said that he cooked on that. So you guys let me know if he cooked on that. Shout out Sauce the Dawn. He became a YouTube member today. You go ahead and join up as well. Like the video, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Brent Bovia sent through a super chat and said, Did y'all see that chart with regular season free throw rate versus playoffs? Free Harden from the ref agenda.
No,
You know what he's talking about?
No, I don't think so. I don't think
I'm assuming free throw rate is down.
that's what I'd assume too. Mainly for James Harden, since he said free Harden. But I don't know.
Tough when you build your whole game around grifting.
Jimmy Butler does it and gets top 10 in the
That
world.
is true. That is very.
He's like the biggest grifter who doesn't get enough
yeah.
talk about it because he only averages at 21.
Kyle Martinez said, put Cam in the game to oblique kick both Draymond's knees.
How the hell do you do that? How do you oblique kick knees?
The knees is crazy.
I don't know how that's possible.
Basically, he's saying put him in just to fuck him up. All right. I get what you're saying, Martinez. Anthony sent through another super chat and said, as a Celtics fan, do you guys think we have ended the process in Philly? Maybe Jimmy's run from Miami.
Made Jimmy run
from Miami and made Giannis and the Bucks completely obsolete.
So what you're saying is the Celtics have destroyed the rest of the Eastern Conference contenders and blown up their rosters. That's what
I think the East kind of destroyed itself, but okay.
This is the same East that Bron got credit for running through, by the way. Step out to do it in the West. Just point out there.
Not the same, actually. It's actually kind of crazy that as soon as LeBron left, that would have been the most competitive East.
He ran to the West when the East was finally leveling up.
Here we go.
The Baller Shot Caller 1999 said, if Luka would have stayed with the Mavs, do y'all think they would have gone far again?
Yes, assuming Kyrie doesn't tear his ACL. Yes. Well, it's a fine far. If they would have met OKC in round 2, they would have lost. But they were probably the second best team in the West.
Estiman RNDM said, when Penn got an opinion I agree with, that's when I know I've been wrong this whole time. and I got to rethink my life choices.
It's always good to rethink your life choices.
Tell him,
I agree with that. I don't think Penn's always wrong.
I think Penn's always right.
I don't think anyone's always right.
I mean, shit. Right. I came on here on Wednesday last week when I think it was 1-1 Lakers, Minnesota, and I gave you a long soliloquy about why I didn't think the Lakers could go win in Minnesota.
And what
was right. Yeah, he was right.
And I was right.
Cooked y'all. Yeah. Well, y'all said he was wrong.
Why are you saying y'all? It was you.
If you said that JJ was going to run.
Yes. Haven't seen John D since. Interesting. Well, I have seen John D, but up here he hasn't been.
Is he all right? He's good.
Yeah.
Little less enthusiastic, little less.
He's surviving. I wouldn't say he's thriving, but surviving.
Win tonight, or what is it tonight?
Tomorrow.
Win tomorrow, and there's suddenly
it's Lakers in 7. He's gonna be back when the Lakers get to
John D. We win a game 5, John D. Now past that,
bro, they win a game 5, 6, and 7.
I don't know, but we win a game 5.
Watch.
All right, y'all. All I know is tonight I'm gonna be parlay watching for the love of the game, and you should do it too. Download the Prize Picks app, use promo code PANEL, and we will see you guys tomorrow when we here talking about all the games that happen tonight. In the meantime, in between time, y'all be easy.
Merry Christmas.
Peace, guys.
Peace.